Hi! Hello. Yes, I know, I have impeccable timing. And, if you haven't noticed, it echoes! Echo! Sort of. But it does echo in here a little. So I apologize. It's not the mic or anything else. It's just the room. And I can't do anything about it because we took the bed out. So we have tons of freaking room. Look, so much room in here. Oh my gosh, as you can tell. Okay, so let me tell you guys what happened this weekend because it was annoying. So, I wanted to go to IKEA and get like a new bed and get like a little chest of drawers for under this desk so I can put my makeup in it and, you know, get stuff and get rid of that this weekend. But we tried to go to Goodwill. It was fucking closed. We went to another Goodwill. It was also fucking closed, so we gave up. We tried to go to IKEA. They were sold out of everything. We tried to figure out how long it would take to get it shipped. It wouldn't be here at the earliest until mid-October. So yeah, that wasn't happening. So then I got really frustrated, gave up on all of that, came back, and then tried desperately to find a place to get a bed from that would get it here this week that wasn't Amazon. Because I don't want to fucking buy from Amazon. But I had to fucking buy from Amazon. Because it was the only place that would get it here this week. And by this week, I mean Friday. So, yeah, we're not getting a new bed till Friday. So that's annoying. I am getting my little chest of drawers hopefully this week though. Because the one from IKEA I wanted gets back in stock this week. So at least the chest of drawers is easy, but the bed, not so much. But yeah, so hopefully we can get rid of the desk sometime this week as well. Hopefully Goodwill is open. Thank you, dickhead. Happy Monday. Yeah, happy Monday, guys. Here, I should give the pups a snacky. A pup snacky. Come to mommy. Okay. Floppy. Lazy boy. It's right behind you, Mopsy. You can do it, Fluff. Yeah, so. Yes. So I'm gonna find us something to listen to, and then I'm going to that pile behind this pile, this giant pile. That's what we're going through today. So should be fun. I'm probably gonna bring us down onto the floor again because there's way more space, but I wanted to bring a chair in here so I could say hi. So yeah, I don't know what's up with all the supply chains recently. I feel like it's multiple places I've noticed that like seem to be having an issue with that, and just rip to that whole issue. It sucks. Oh well. Especially because like I like buying from IKEA because it's like, as far as any of the like cheap flat shipping furniture places go, like I feel like theirs is the best quality. It's not always great quality, don't get me wrong, but as far as comparing it to Amazon, it's like amazing quality. So it's like grr. Anyway, let me stop bitching. Oh my god, wait, on a separate note, I got my adventure rank up to 50 in Genshin. We're level 50 now. And I got my traveler to level 90. She's maxed out. So, guess you can call me an epic gamer. Ah, hot. Immediately burns myself on my coffee. Fuck. And by the way, I am actually drinking coffee today because I'm gonna fucking need to. First of all, why is... I'm just like going through my YouTube to see if I can find a thing for us to listen to, but why is there a video? I was looking at people like touring apartments in New York for some reason, but this one, the thumbnail says it's $125,000 a month. It's in LA. Of course it's in LA. But like, what? That's fucking ridiculous and insane. Who and how and why? Why? Who would pay that much? Who? Who would do this? I need to speak with them. Why? For why? Anyway, where's Mr. Reddit? Found you, bitch.
Hey there, Mr. Reddit here. Welcome back to another episode of r/entitled parent stories. Today we have a very special episode for you.
Is that a good volume?
Of some of the greatest entitled
right? Like, I'm not okay. I'm like triggered by the fact that anything should cost anywhere near. Who the? I hope that means that's the mortgage.
Sharon assured me.
I mean, even then, but like, I hope that's the mortgage and not like the rent price, because who the fuck would rent?
And if you're new, subscribe and turn on notifications for new stories from Reddit every single day. And become an official member of the...
I know, right? Like, why do they have everything just be all gold and shit? Like, I'm sorry, but if I was super rich, it would be marble, concrete.
I have worked there from July to October.
Actually, I don't need to be rich to use concrete, but like, it just is, it's such a good like material to break up the area. And then like, maybe birchwood or something. I feel like those all go together well. And I like that color scheme, as you can tell by my room. But, or maybe like some dark oak or something like that. I don't know. Something along those lines would be nice. But why? They cover everything in gold and that horrible... Hold on, I need to pause. I need to pause and bitch about... I need to bitch about mansions really quick. Why the fuck? Why the fuck do they always have that ugly orange wood? I need to pull up a picture of an example. Mansion kitchen. Let's find one of these ugly motherfuckers. Yeah, there you go. Ew, I hate it. Okay, I'll show you. It's gonna cover my face. Oh, maybe not. Look at that. Ew. Ew. What is this? I hate this color of wood so fucking much. And every single, like, nice, quote-unquote, house has it. Why? It's ugly. Especially with, like, this dark stone. It, like, all blends together. It's like, are you trying to have a camo house? What is this? Get out of my face. I fucking hate it. Goodbye. I fucking cannot stand. I hate it. I hate it. It's so gross. I just, like, also there's like a variant of that where it's like they have like the redder wood. I like cool toned woods or like really dark wood. That's my taste. You know, like, if you're gonna have it be, like, a warmer color, I want it to be dark, like my floors. Like, this is a good color of wood. This isn't actually wood, it's fake. But, which, honestly, I kind of like better than wood, because wood splinters. Doesn't matter how nice you keep it. You have to fucking fucking seal that shit on, like, fucking every 2 years for you to not get splinters. My parents' house has real wood floors and fuck that shit. Oh my god. Oh, do we have a child in here? Stop swearing. Fuck off. Here, I'll show you guys an actually good, nice mansion kitchen that I actually like. Here, I'll show you guys what my taste is more like. Where are you, bitch? Find me one that looks good. Damn, I'm picky. They're all just kind of like... There's gotta be something here. Why are they all ugly? Please. I'm practically begging at this point. Please, give me something not ugly. They all have that fucking wood. Why? They all have that wood, or they're like completely white. Why? I don't want it to be completely white. Break it up a little, bitch. Come on, we can find something nice. Where's a good kitchen? Oh, here. This is nice. This is what I like. Yes, there we go. That's this here. Here we go. I show you. Here, this is nice. Look at that. Look at that. Nice marble, some nice dark wood in there. I like the gray cabinets a lot. Giant window. Always have the giant windows. Fuck tiny windows. I like that they have a TV right there so you can watch it while you're cooking. I like the bar. I like the island. I like the marble. This is nice. I like the gold touches on the, what's that called? The hardware of the fucking cabinets. You know what I mean. Anyway, that's what I like. I like that shit better. Yeah. Hey, Chuckles. I'm glad you're sleeping at least. I'm sorry I wasn't able to chat with you yesterday. I was so fucking busy running around and doing stuff. I cleaned out my entire fucking, like my normal closet, not my costume closet, but like my actual closet. I cleaned out the entire thing. I got rid of 5 trash bags worth of clothes, so. I think it depends. Pancakes are sometimes better, but also waffles can sometimes be better. It depends. Because like bubble waffles, ooh, top tier. And then crepes, which are technically a pancake, also top tier. Fluffy pancakes from Japan, top tier. Eggos, also top tier. So it's like, I feel like you can't really choose. It depends. Let me go back to the beginning of this Mr. Reddit video though.
An upcoming video.
So we can actually hear it. And let me post the link.
I got all the staff to side with me over our boss. This is about my summer job. I have worked there from July to October for 4 years now, and I actually really enjoyed it up until this year. So this job is a seasonal restaurant that opens up from May to
should
October,
be it.
with June to September being its main season.
There you go.
It's a great place for high school and university.
Oh, you're
students to
fine.
work
You're
there over
fine.
the summer break.
No worries.
We're a team of 7 waitresses and a boss lady who is in charge of us, makes our schedules, etc.
How does one become a mod? I don't really need any more mods, so I guess you don't.
This is important.
But you have to be like a regular, and like a regular, and a regular that understands how I like to run things with my hyper-specific ways I do shit.
She always said I'd get them off. Well,
interesting. Butter only on your waffles. I have a question, and I know this is gonna upset every single Canadian in the chat. Do you guys like real maple syrup, or do you like Mrs. Butterworth and shit, because I like Miss Butterworth. Because listen, a lot of people... I gotta pause it again. Fuck, I gotta pause it again. Because, like, a lot of people are like, well, the whole reason you're, like, there's no flavor, there's no maple flavor in the Miss Butterworth or whatever, but, like, bitch, I'm not using it to flavor my waffles maple. I'm using it to sweeten them. It is for sugar. And also, real maple syrup, why did I say it like that? Real maple syrup is always so fucking watery. I hate it. Why? I am much like Rick, where I like the syrup and butter to be on top of my pancake and waffle before it soaks into it. There is a crucial moment, and real maple syrup just doesn't allow for it. And it's upsetting. And I don't like it. And no. Ooh, strawberry syrup is good though. Fuck yeah. That's good. What is it like to live here? Half of the time it feels like you're in a sitcom. I feel like that's the best way to describe it. Feels like you're gonna get punked at any moment. Right? It's so thin! Bruh. Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one. Maple water raspberry flavor? Have you ever had raspberry on your, like, raspberry syrup on your waffles and pancakes though? Ooh, that's so good. So fucking good. How did I come up with this username? It's my name. Indigo is my name. Well, technically, I think maple syrup's mostly a Canadian thing, but, I mean, we definitely use it a lot here, too. It's yummy. It's definitely yummy. If you've ever had, like, corn syrup, it tastes a lot like that, but maple flavored. At least that's what Miss Butterworth tastes like. Real maple syrup tastes... It almost, I don't know how to describe real maple syrup. It tastes like the earth. I don't know. Yes, this is a great Elastigirl poster. Thank you, Shad. You like Cheerios? Cheerios are good. Oh yeah, I bet the UK uses maple syrup a lot. I bet. I think it's mostly just like a European country. I'm counting the US and Canada as European countries because they were settled by them. I think it's mostly that type of a culture to use maple syrup, unless there's other cultures that use it that I'm not aware of, which honestly can probably incorporate it into the food in more interesting ways than just pouring it on shit. Actually, Canadians do something interesting when it snows. They pour it in the snow and then roll it up on a popsicle stick and let it freeze. That shit's yummy. I've done that. Really good. Do you want out, doggy? Do you want to leave me already? But we just started, Bubbles. Come to mommy, Bubbles. Be my friend. Come be my friend. Be my friend. Be my friend. Come. Sorry. Sorry. Can you see her yet? No, you can't. Come here. Come here. Come to mommy. Come here. Come here, son. Come here, son. Come here. Come, Soli. What's this? What's this? What's this? You want to find out what's in mommy's hand? What's in the mommy hand? Is it a pillow? Oh, bubbles. It's a pillow. Oh, bubbles. Oh, bubbles. Oh, bubbles. Come here. Hey, come here. You stole? No, you come here. Yes. Come to mommy. I got you. You're trapped. You're trapped. You're not leaving. You're not leaving yet. You're not leaving us yet. yet, silly dog. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Silly. You silly. Don't leave us. Don't leave us. We just started, Popos. Okay. I'm gonna start this now and fucking actually listen to it. Okay. I'm gonna shut up. We're gonna listen to this actually for real now, and I'm gonna start going through the Bible.
Give you a shout out in an upcoming video.
And I'm gonna smoke.
Entitled parents. How I got all the staff to side with
guys.
me over our boss.
Fuck, okay.
This is
Hold on,
about
pause
my
it.
summer job. I have worked there.
Yeah, okay, pausing before I have to restart it again. Before we start, I'm trying something new. I like how this says not for food use on it, but I like am clearly using it for food anyway. Fuck you. Fuck you and your rules. Anyway, so I've decided I'm going to try and use edibles more instead of just smoking. So I got myself a bunch. There's a bunch of different ones in here. I just kind of shoved them all in this jar. Anyway, I have some like what are these called? Candy rope thingies. They're apple flavored. They're goodish. They're kind of sour though, so I don't know how many of these I can eat. They're all 100 milligrams, by the way. And then I have malt balls, also 100 milligrams each, which I haven't tried the malt balls yet. And then I have these orange creamsicle candies, which are so fucking good. So yeah. And then I also still have the chocolate that I had last time. So yeah. Because I feel like my tolerance has gone down enough that I can feel it a little bit. Like, it gets me the equivalent of, like, buzzed. So, yeah. Why did that just fly out? But yeah, so anytime you guys tip $4.20, I'm gonna eat one of these for every tip. Because I have a high tolerance, so I can literally I could probably eat like a handful of these and I'd still be fine. So we're gonna test that. We're gonna see how it goes. You can specify which one, I guess. I've got chocolate bars, the chocolate malts, the orange creamsicles, and then the apple rope thingy. So yeah. I don't drink. I don't like how alcohol makes me feel. So I smoke. Which I'm gonna clear this bowl before we start because it's pretty much dead. And then we're gonna do it. Oh shit! And then I'm gonna eat one of the thingies, I guess. Which one should I eat, Vincent? You tell me. Play, bitch.
From July to October for 4 years now, and I actually really enjoyed it up until this year. So this job is a seasonal restaurant that opens up from May to October, with June to September being its main season. It's a great place for high school and university students to work there over the summer break. We are a team of 7 waitresses and a boss lady who is in charge of us, makes our schedules, etc. Every year, they struggle to get enough waitresses, even though most of us come back year after year. This is important later. So this summer, there were 2 days I wanted to get off. One for a
yes, the bed is gone because we're getting a new one.
I wrote it into the calendar.
I know, I need to clean it.
The week before each.
I need to clean it over the weekend, but I was so busy cleaning my closet, I didn't get around to it.
My schedule, and I'm apparently working that day. I call her. She is super sorry, but she needs me that day. Okay, so I said
the Russian hackers started making you post.
I did my schedule, and I'm working that day.
Started posting Fortnite tutorials.
And she tells me I didn't tell her.
All right. Orange creamsicle it is. Let me just find one. Where are you at, bitch? Ah, I see you.
Some friends have bought train tickets to visit, and I'm also celebrating with a friend, so I can't just cancel. She said it's not her fault, and that is my problem. I was crying hard that day, so I made a plan to switch with my colleague, then called boss lady.
Okay, so
she got angry because I didn't ask her first, which I did, and told me we weren't allowed to. We still switched shifts. I got to my party in time, and it was great. Next day I get to work, and some of my coworkers tell me that boss lady has been talking crap about how I didn't tell her I needed the day off, and then just switched. How rude that is. I decided then to quit after that season for good, and not to come back next year.
so good.
I also made sure to be really nice to the other staff members, waitresses, janitors, everyone for my remaining time there. I brought cake or pizza or made coffee for everyone every day. I worked super hard to get in more money than any of my colleagues.
Thank you.
Which I recognized
They have drawn me before, but
if I was well liked
I appreciate it
I
more.
was loved now. So the season ends, and as usual, people ask if I'm
I like
coming
his
back
voice.
next year. I say
It's
no,
unique.
and tell them it's because of boss lady. I cry a little.
It reminds me
because
of
I
another
upset.
YouTuber, but I still can't place it.
Her talking crap, blah blah blah, and everyone starts to
Who
hate
is
her.
it?
So I begin to hear that all other waitresses also won't be coming back because they stand.
What
with
YouTuber
me.
does he sound
And
like?
now they will not have any waitresses coming back next year. They will be in huge trouble finding
I keep
enough
wanting to say
staff.
Q-Star, but it's
Even
not.
some of
It's
the
someone who makes
non-service
content
staff
like him,
said they
though.
wouldn't come back. Last thing I heard is that boss lady's boss was super angry with her, and that she is just a normal waitress now, and that the nice secretary
Okay,
lady.
I'm gonna move the bed, or the chair, not the bed. The chair out of the way, so we can see what we're doing.
Mom demands free cake. Satisfying ending. So when I was around at 18, I worked at a large grocery chain. Our particular store was very mismanaged, with new bosses coming in every other month. I worked at the bakery and deli, so I have plenty of stories.
Right? It
Tell
sounds
me if
so
you want
familiar. Who does
I
he
was
sound
fairly
like?
new when this happened. Now you need to know, my bakery manager was a force to be reckoned with. She was 55 and done with people. She was hilarious and nice to me, but a real jerk to customers. I'm the opposite. I'm naturally very mild-mannered and sweet. I can soothe most angry customers with ease.
You are a
Now,
good
it
baby.
was difficult to be nice at this
You're
bakery.
a good dog.
It was a complete disaster. We had one very elderly cake
He's a good
decorator
doggy.
who left super early.
He's a good
I was left
doggy.
alone most time when she was gone, unless PM was around. Now I'm new, and I have no experience writing on cakes. And even if I did,
So
the icing we used was old and stiff, and very difficult to write with. So, 99% of the time, I had to deal with customers who wanted writing on cakes that I either had to tell them it would be a very crappy job, or they
It might
had
look
to
like
come
I'm
back
hitting her, but I'm
tomorrow.
just fanning her.
Most people were very cool about it. Another issue was we could only take like 4 orders
Oh,
before we
boys.
got
Do you
back
like
up.
that, boys?
We had to
You
refuse
like
to eat
that?
the cakes because our single cake decorator couldn't be
Yes.
overloaded.
Come
We
here.
also needed
Come
a
here.
3-day notice to make
Come
an
here.
order. This is where entitlement
I'm trying to
comes
teach her
in.
how to lay down.
This woman walks
She
up
doesn't
to
know.
the counter.
She doesn't
I
get
was in
it
the
yet.
freezer, and BM was on break.
Yes.
Even through the metal door,
Do you think
I
you
could
have
hear
meat?
her violent and
Do
very
you need-
annoying, whiny style. Hello. I hop out of the freezer and greet her. She was a young, tall brunette.
The little
with a
head
kid
pops
about
up.
6 beside her, looking at the display
Okay, you gotta
cakes.
come over here, though.
We offer free sugar
You gotta
cookies
come over
to
here,
kids,
and you
so
gotta
I
show
assumed
them.
That's what she
You gotta
was here
show them.
for. Hello, ma'am. Sorry about
Can you
that.
sit?
Would your son
And
like
then
a
we're
cookie?
gonna lay down.
I
You down?
need a cake.
Can you down?
Okay,
Down.
no problem.
Down.
What
You
day
down?
would you?
So,
She stared
down.
blankly
You
with a
down.
stern face. Her son is now
Down.
jumping up and down,
There you
excited
go.
for a
Good
cookie.
girl.
She waves
Good
along and says,
girl. Good
"Well,
girl.
give
Here you
him a
go.
cookie." I give her an
Good job.
irritated but polite
Good
smile.
job. You
The
did it.
kid was sweet
You
and
did
hugged
it.
me after I gave him his cookie.
We'll get there.
Just one.
We'll get there, Bubbles. Don't
Sorry,
worry.
we can
We'll
only
learn.
give out 1 per kid. Well, that's not very fair.
She'll get there
He deserves
eventually.
more. The kid seemed okay. Before I could even open my mouth, she started up again.
Oh,
It's
she
his
always does.
birthday tomorrow at 9 a.m. I need.
I'm gonna move these little bitches out of the way.
Oh, I'm so sorry, ma'am. We
Put
can't
these
take
with my
orders
other
that
paintings.
early. We need at least a 3-day notice for a cake that large. We also do not carry that character. We have a book of character and theme cakes if you'd like to order a cake past future date. I have never seen a face turn so red. I am a nurse. I save lives. My baby needs a cake for his birthday tomorrow.
Okay, then you should have thought about that sooner, bitch. What the fuck?
I'm a soft person, and I could feel my tear ducts.
There's something in this. I'm gonna move you guys down here.
Up from head,
Also.
BM walks up from her break. BM, what's wrong? She says bluntly, with no smile to the woman. Entitled Mom, I need a cake, and this little jerk says I can't have a cake. I am a nurse. I provide a service to you. I demand a cake for my son tomorrow. It should be free for my trouble. BM, I don't care that you're
Right.
a nurse.
They
You're
gave me
not better than
rights.
me or my employee. You're not getting a cake.
The amount of shit that they gave me last
If
year,
you want one after
staggering.
this day, then we can do it. Entitled Mom was in a state of shock. Her mouth agape like a fish. I am a nurse. BM, I don't
Okay,
care.
so we've got lights.
BM is my
I don't know if I
hero.
want these.
And I'm just eating the sugar cookie and enjoying the show. Entitled Mom
I don't know if I
starts
need-
reaching at
Like, I
BM
like
about
that
how
they
she
did that,
deserves
but
the best
also,
for saving lives, as if
unless
that's
I
going
am
to
thinking
make
of
the
doing a
cake
photo
appear
shoot with
out
them,
of
I
BM's
definitely
life.
don't need
BM
orange
just
Christmas
waits out
lights.
her tantrum. BM, you can take one of our pre-made cakes and we'll write on
I
it.
got my
Take it or
hat
leave it.
from the award show.
Entitled Mom huffs and still red in the face says, Fine, I'll take this one. Write happy
Another
birthday kid in
hat.
cursive and hurry it up.
I should
You're
wear this one
wasting
this
my
year.
time. BM has the ability to write on cakes a lot better than me. She smirks and looks to me. I smile back. I proceed to write the most cracked, wobbly, ineligible lettering as possible, which was easy enough. Entitled
And then they gave me a
explodes
cute
when
little
she
Christmas
sees the
card
cake. This looks
and
like
called me a
crap.
hoe.
Sorry, ma'am. I'm not the cake decorator. She grabs the cake and storms off. I felt
Oh,
bad
water
for the
bottle.
kid,
Actually, I should
as he
use
gives me a
this.
little goodbye wave as he's
This would be
dragged away
good
by
for me to
his
get
mom.
my water
BM
intake
gives
cup.
me my break, and I head to the break.
I'm gonna make this my
with a smile
streaming
on my
water bottle.
face.
That's a good idea.
Next we've got
This,
three
I'll
things
just do
to the
that.
tune of over $50,000.
Oh, now you want to
on
leave,
owner
Mr.
who
Boy?
wrongfully fired me.
Now you want to leave?
This
Do
story
you need
happened to
puppy
me
attention,
around
maybe?
6 years ago.
You maybe
I
need
applied for a
attention,
job
Waxy
as a
Waxy?
bar manager at a new resto bar that
You need
opened
my
up in my
attention?
area, Ontario, Canada. The owner of this bar had some
Ontario.
issues with her liquor license being revoked
No,
at a
Mommy.
previous establishment,
Oopsie!
and there was some sort of stipulation.
Are we not
This
friends?
part I'm not clear on,
No.
where she was required
Be
to
my friend.
not be on
Meatballs.
site or involved in the business in
Why you
any
need-
capacity for any reason.
Oopsie.
She was a prohibited person,
Do you not
and I
love mommy?
believe she made her
I love
husband
you,
the
Mom.
owner on paper, but
I
for
love
this
you,
story,
Mommy.
she is referred to as the owner. And hire a manager with over 5
Hold
years
on, I'm gonna move the
experience
camera so you guys
and
can
a
see the
smart
pulps.
serve certificate
There.
to run and be responsible for the bar. After a short interview process,
tiny
I was
pulps.
offered the job and was told of these terms. I accepted them,
Do you want to sit down,
despite
Mama?
the already apparent red
Sit down,
flags.
Sit.
I was a very poor student. When the restaurant slash
Good boy.
bar opened,
Good
everything
boy.
quickly fell apart. Despite
There
the
you go.
owner not
There
being
you
allowed to
go.
be on premises, she
Good
proceeded to
baby.
micromanage both the
That's a
kitchen
good
and front of
boy.
house. She stopped scheduling kitchen staff
Are
to
you
save
jealous?
money and was
you
working in the
jealous?
kitchen herself. Food quality plummeted. Customers became irate at how long of a wait it was, and word spread quickly in the small town. Eventually, a select few regulars became our only customers.
Get it, boss.
More hours got cut. Waitresses
Don't hurt
and
yourself.
kitchen staff were let
Don't
go.
hurt yourself.
The owner was now drinking at the bar, and at the same time was waitressing and cooking.
You're gonna ruin
This
the
was
hat.
all
Don't,
in the matter
please.
of a month.
Don't ruin it.
One night that month, it was exceptionally
Bubbles'
nice
hat
out,
now.
and we had a lot of boaters in our area. We had a pier near the bar where boats could
Cute
dock and
boy.
walk into the restaurant.
You are such
A
a
large
cute
group
boy,
had walked in on
Meatballs.
this night, and they were very clearly not old enough to be drinking, but had been. I immediately cut them off, to which they made a
You're
very
such a good
large stink
boy.
about it. Enough that
You're
the
so
owner's
good.
husband came over to ask what happened.
Meatballs.
I explained that I had cut the group
Meatballs,
off
you're
and wasn't
boy.
going to serve them, to which the owner's husband
Meatballs.
decided to take their drink orders and serve them anyways. Obviously, money was tight, so they didn't care about the rules. The next day, the owner pulled me
Alright,
into
should
the
I open
office
the door for you
and
guys? Do you want
accused me
out?
of stealing $50 out of the till the previous
Oh,
night.
you want to steal my hat? Is that what's happening?
A lie that could be
Look at
easily
that!
disproven
What is
because
happening
there's a
now?
camera located
What is
directly
this?
above the till that
What
saves
is
the time
this?
on the POS.
You just both are stealing my hat? Was that the
100%
end
believe
goal?
This was because
Were you
I was
guys working in
refusing to
tandem
serve
to distract
the
me and
customers
then get the
and
hat?
thereby damaging their bottom line.
Yeah,
I was
that's what
really mad
happened.
to be accused of doing something I didn't
These
do.
little
And more
monsters.
upset that she used this lie she made up as an excuse to fire me. Because the stipulation of her having her license was me working at the bar as manager, I emailed the board when I got home and informed them of the rules being broken.
I'm gonna just crack the door, maybe they'll just run in and
later
out.
that week and took a statement. He then paid a surprise visit to the bar and was able to witness all of the things that I informed him, including the owner being both on
Now
site
they can run
and
in
being
and out
involved
if they
in the
want
business
to.
and breaking the rules.
Hopefully it's
The
not too
license
loud.
inspector slapped them with a very large fine.
Okay,
Worth of $50,000.
well, so
Their license was
my
suspended,
idea for
and the
these
owner was too
is I'm
rude
gonna
to pay the
use
fine
these to
and was
store
forced to close the restaurant. I
things
received threats from her for a while
that are in the
after
closet.
that, but the revenge
I'm gonna
was
do that off
absolutely
camera though,
frightening.
obviously. Or maybe for
Next we got
Snapchat.
Factory worker me, mistaken for a convenience store worker. We've got
Okay.
me, and we've got Karen. So let's start off by saying filthy is an understatement. I work in a foundry that takes huge 2-ton slabs of aluminum and turns them into cardboards. I do one part of the inspection where they get dipped in acid green goo that glows under a black light. I am covered in green goo, black marker, and tons of rust stains, ripped up jeans, nasty steel-toe boots that look like they belong to the Swamp Thing, a very tattered gray hoodie, hair in shambles and falling from my messy bun. I probably also smell awful. I'm sent blind to that place now, but I remember it turning my stomach when I first
I
started.
think this one's already
The
empty.
workers here wear black dress pants, nice quality black polos
Yeah.
with the store logo neatly
Already
embroidered in bright
empty.
yellow, and large yellow name tags. I stopped by the store for some tape to wrap some more Xmas gifts, texting with my husband as I sent him a picture of the single rolls of name brand tape that cost $2.95. How in the world? That's the price of convenience, I guess. As I'm snapping the picture, I heard a grunt and a loud road clearing. I figure I was in the way and stand off to the side as I send the text. When I finish and look up, however, this smartly dressed, middle-aged, bottle blonde lady is glaring at me, arms crossed.
Is
What's
tape
happening?
really that
You
expensive?
work here, right? You look like you
I don't think
work
I've ever
here.
looked at the price of tape before.
No, I look like I work in a swamp, but it's a factory actually. Thank you. I proceed to just walk away, as my phone chirps in hand to let me know my husband had replied. I look and see he reminded me they probably
Ooh,
have a
I'm gonna
holiday
pull up
section.
chat on my
Maybe I
phone.
could find some cheaper tape. So I wander about a bit looking. And yes, some off-brand tape for $1. I'll take 3. I grab them and turn around.
Yes. Now I can read chat. Okay.
Karen, don't just walk away from me.
It does look
Here
like
is
another
your
room, doesn't
manager.
it?
You're being very rude. I'll pay your paycheck. Your job is to help me. What kind of store lets employees
Okay.
play on their phones?
Let's see. Oh,
I'm
you
actually
just
laughing
drooled
at
on this,
point,
huh?
and I'm not a
You
fan of
drooled?
confrontation.
You drooly
Just
baby?
shake my head and walk
Are you
away
drooly
again.
baby?
Up to the register. She follows on my heels,
Hey, Pop.
mumbling and huffing. She
Oh, yeah?
shouted over my shoulder at the girl on register to get her manager
Silly.
immediately. Well, manager was just around the corner,
Silly.
luckily, and quickly swooped in.
Doggy pets.
Manager, what can I help you
Doggy
ladies with
pets.
today? I guess since she was standing in my personal bubble, we looked to
Is
be
it a
shopping
dog?
together. Karen lost
And
it.
then we have a flowers.
It's just me.
A
She
tiny
won't
flowers?
help me. You need to write this lazy, rude girl up. She wouldn't help me.
Good boy.
Screeching and whining like a toddler. Manager, meanwhile,
Can you
just
see
looks
what's in here,
baffled
huh?
and
What's
asks
in
for
here?
some clarity. Did she meet the girl behind the register? Or
Nothing.
filthy, obviously not in dress code me? Me, of course.
That's the box
I
the
just
award
took her
came in.
attention being turned to the manager for the moment to have the cashier ring me up. Turned around and said, "Don't worry,
Box
lady.
is so fucking
As of
big.
this moment, I quit."
Probably keeps your
You win.
phone and stuff.
She
And you
just
need to
stared at me, slack-jawed in
transport.
rage and confusion. I was surprised she kept her hands to herself, but then again, I am filthy, so maybe not too surprised. Next we've got, I don't work here, Goose. Years ago, when I was working opening shift at a restaurant, most days going home because everyone else was in,
What should I put
but
in
I
this
stayed a
box?
little later on
Get it,
weekends
Mopsy.
so I could work brunch. Other
Yes,
than
enjoy
opening,
the
most
tissue
of my
paper,
job
Floppy.
was making
Tear it up.
breakfast specials and brunch specials. My walk to work
Hi,
passed
Phil.
right by a local farmer's market, so I could stop and pick
Ugh.
up whatever was nice and put it on the restaurant tab. Sometimes I would order a bunch more stuff than I could carry, and they would deliver after noon when they were on their way home. So anyway, I had stopped at the market before work and got some nice farm fresh eggs, some fancy hand-rolled croissants, and big fat leeks. As I was walking down by the bay, a goose ran out at me. I don't know where he was coming from, but I pulled my sacks out of his way and spun myself out of his path. The goose honked and dodged around me, then ran in the door of a restaurant that was open for early customers to be able to see they were open and had coffee. Me. Stop, Goose. You can't just do whatever you want. The goose, a big fat male goose, just ran right into the cafe and went to grab some baguettes they had leaning out towards customers for easy grabbing.
I don't know what I'm gonna do with this box yet.
Also in range of the goose. The goose honked at me and lunged for the baguettes. The goose
Dang, I better stop winning awards. I'm gonna run out of room.
And tried to wrangle the goose. Me. Hey there, Goose. You can't take that bread. Drop that right now. The goose bolted past me, dodging under my bag as it bolted back across the street towards the bay, where I assume it must have come from. Bewildered,
I'm sorry,
employee walks up to me. I shrug as the employee
is the entitled person in this the goose?
Making good his escape.
Is the goose the entitled one?
Face when our shared moment was interrupted. A woman walks up to me, angry look on her face. Why didn't you stop him? I needed to buy one of those. Admittedly, the baguettes the goose had not nabbed had been strewn
Thank
across
you,
the ground,
Ray.
but I was a little disbelieving that she thought I should have been able to stop the
Nice.
goose. Me.
I love getting my eyebrows waxed. It always feels so good after.
It was on a mission, it seems.
And then it hurts because I have sensitive skin.
Well, what are you gonna do about it? You should give me a discount. Me. Whoa, I'm sorry that I'm not some sort of expert goose wrangler, but I can't give you a discount. I don't even work here, lady.
Sit there.
Employee. I don't think I can give you a
It's
discount.
true, these are really
This was an
entitled.
act of goose. Sorry. but
Oh
this
yeah,
lady
guys, did I
was
show you yet?
Angry lady, completely ignoring employee and getting angry with me. Don't try to lie to me and get out of trouble.
Pretty
I
boggers.
saw you talking to the goose.
We're gonna do that on stream at
Now
some
I'm
point,
Very confused.
but
You saw me what?
we gotta finish this
What are you
first.
talking about? Sorry, I don't have time for
Okay.
this. I have to get to work. I turned and walked away quickly down the street. I could hear the lady shouting at me, and the employee unsuccessfully trying to calm her down.
Have to actually
As
get
I
rid of
turned the
stuff. This is
corner
gonna be
and
super
walked in
hard.
the door of my own
Look.
restaurant. I was safe at last. I don't know if the lady ever got a baguette or a discount.
Okay, I should
I
find
didn't see
another. I
anything,
need to
so
find
I have no
another
way of knowing.
donation
Next
pile.
we've got entitled
Let's
and
make
of
a
the
donation
year.
pile.
So, growing
We'll
up,
start
I
with
got to
the-
witness the growth
these I
of
wanna
a
get rid of.
severely entitled human, my aunt. Her name for the small collection of events that make
I'm
her
gonna put it on the
entitled
desk.
will be Brenda. So Brenda has a kid. Her kid for this story will be called Nice Cousin. A little backstory. When I was 11, my father passed. Lovely man. But he was the only thing preventing Brenda from controlling my mother. Brenda was one of 7 kids. She was always in trouble growing up. Be it with teachers,
Okay, I might actually move you
cops,
guys back
local
up here,
grocery stores.
'cause
She took stuff
I'm gonna
from
be
all
moving
weekly
around
basis.
quite a bit.
You know, normal Brenda.
And it makes more sense
In
for you guys
high
to be
school,
further
the
back.
expansion program they had, she did a nursing degree without any compassion.
Okay,
and
I've got
patience, until she went on
body
a
pillow
bridesmaid vacation with one of her
of
friends
myself.
and came back pregnant from a guy in Puerto Rico during the late 90s.
Who wants it?
She decided to keep the boy. Named him after the
I'm
baby.
gonna require
Just gonna call him Nice Cousin.
you
Now, Brenda, an entitled person, proceeded
at
to
least
find
give
herself
me
on
$100
that
for this
support
one.
her,
because
even
this is
though
the
she was
last
a
one of
registered nurse,
these,
and had by then got
there
a
are no
full-time
more.
position in an ER.
and I don't think
She
I'm
met
making
some guy
any
at
more.
R.
So
Let's call him R. So R helped
of this
Brenda
one
raise
at least.
licenses
I might make more
and
body
things
pillows in the
went
future.
smoothly.
Just
R got
of this
paid
one
behind closed
specifically.
doors, gave 90% of the money he made to Brenda to help buy things for Nice Cousin, which Nice Cousin never got. Puerto Rico dad sent monthly money for Nice Cousin every month until he was 22. So just recently, Brenda
You want that
never
one,
spent
dickhead?
time on Nice Cousin. Nice Cousin always wore hand-me-down clothing from the family. Even when
yeah, I think the nominations happen sometime in
Brenda was
October.
not. Brenda
Or at least
assaulted
that's what it
Nice
was
Cousin on
the last few
everything,
years. October,
calling his
November
art,
type
his hobbies,
time.
his designs, and even his decorating, all terrible. His papers for school had to be rewritten at least 8 to 9 times for each
Yeah, that
week.
was actually one that I'd kept for
Brenda didn't like
myself
the
to
way
take
things
pictures
were
of
written.
and
He
stuff.
almost always got D's on his
So that one
papers
was never for
because of
sale.
Brenda. He was held back in
All of
fifth
the
grade
other ones are
because
gone.
Brenda couldn't let her kid pass and be smarter than her because he knew fractions and she didn't. He almost failed. until he finally stepped up and said things. But no,
Okay.
that's not the end. We went camping, and my mother decided that it was okay to invite Brenda. Brenda convinced us into spending $200 on
Okay, here's the
passes
sheets for the
me and my
bed.
mother
I
to
guess
a
I'll just
small
set these
theme park.
aside.
I was all for it, because we're going to be in the area for a week and a half. Of course, that means we'll go like almost
More
every day,
bed sheets.
including the reason we went, my birthday, right?
Pillowcase.
Why else would you spend the cost of a ton of days worth of tickets for what we inevitably did? We went once, one time, a $200
Blanket?
season pass for a $20 ticket entry for one day. We spent almost every day of the trip in the camping area.
Body
with
pillow
Brenda
number
sleeping in
one.
her tent, and nice
Not
cousin
showing
Brenda,
you the other
because
side.
Brenda kept insisting he wasn't gluten intolerant. Spoiler alert, he is very
Where do I
gluten
put
intolerant.
you?
But of course, Brenda doesn't care and insulted her kid,
Next
saying
to
he was
this.
faking
Okay.
it,
Well, this is
resulting in his
where the
anxiety
body pillows
getting
go, I
in
guess.
Nice cousin slept with a bucket outside the tent ground tonight. So
This one is
almost
bad
every
on
year
both
that we went
sides.
Camping in this faraway location
Sorry.
from my normal home, Brenda and nice cousin and R had to come with us. They ruined 8 birthdays, destroyed 4 of them by knocking me into the water of the
Hello.
lake where we were camping. I still have only photos of those trips because the memories have been blocked by the lack of oxygen to my brain and their refusal to rescue me. A random person, not a lifeguard, got into the lake to rescue me because Brenda told R not to help me, saying I was faking it.
I'm gonna start
This
going through
cousin
the
is
clothes. I'm
awesome.
gonna throw them
He's a
this
brave
way.
kid. He makes his own art, he designs, he buys and sells shoes. He's got 4 ongoing jobs. But Brenda doesn't see it that way.
A lot of this is clothes I got rid of from my normal closet, and I'm like, okay, either they're gonna be work clothes or I'm getting rid of them.
Nice cousin is now grown. He moved out after her for the umpteenth time, threatening to kick him out because there is a sock on the floor. She's got severe OCD and vacuums the floor at least 4 times a day. He got his own apartment, his own jobs, does art on the side, works 2 full-time jobs to support himself, and on top of that is an Uber driver. He is doing what he feels he needs to survive. He's always hated how manipulative she was, and was always too much of a baby to talk back to her about much of anything. But that doesn't matter to Brenda. She sees that her son isn't staying home every day, and isn't paying for their low-income housing on his own anymore, because he doesn't live there. Oh, I'm going to have to move because nice cousin ain't here anymore, and I can't afford the rent increase. Yet, she still gets roughly $1,000 from R every week, and blows it on new clothing in her closet that's too full, and unneeded toys and clothing for the dead dog.
Start
Of
going
whom
through
she's
this.
using this nice cousin at Target, yelling at the dog. There's one thing that I haven't mentioned about Brenda. She also happens to have MS, multiple sclerosis, so she blames all of her negative actions over the years on back pain. And, oh, don't you know I'm sick?
Alright, now moving you back down.
She also smokes. But it's not okay to have put your kid through heck and misery and still demand money from him even when he's not living with you. She makes sure to try and guilt him into giving her money for paying the bills you owe me for raising you. He's even taken on all of his own
That's not how
debts.
any of this works.
His name is now on his car's title, he pays the bill, he owns the insurance. And
I hate when parents think that you owe them for them fucking up and not using a condom.
But she still tries to control his every single action and tries to make him call her on a daily basis. But he just said, I don't have time for this. I've got work, and hangs up. I'm so proud of nice cousin for being brave enough to push his entitled mother, who thinks of him as property, away. I'm so proud that
I
nice
have to
cousin
get rid
has
of
grown
shit.
into a fun young man and
So
embraced
do
who
not
he
try to
is.
talk me into keeping anything.
Even if he doesn't
Only
have
talk
all
me
the
out of
pieces,
keeping shit.
He's mostly there.
Okay?
I feel bad that I couldn't have helped him more when I was younger because I didn't realize half of what he was putting up with. My coworker tried to guilt me into working Thanksgiving for her. I'm in the casino business. This, of course, means that major holidays
Hello
are just
Kitty
another
sweater.
day for us, and requests off are limited for
I
holidays,
like it,
if even allowed at all.
but
For
unless I
background,
can think of
I'm
like a
35,
character or something that it
single,
makes
and I
sense
have
to
no
wear it
kids.
for, I don't think
I've
I
been
should keep
passed
it.
over on schedule rebids for weekends off because it's easier for you since you don't have any kids. This, of course, gives me the midweek, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday as my days off every week. I'm scheduled to work Friday to Monday. Since I have no family,
My phone over
I
here is
usually
like
trade
my chat
Thanksgiving
still.
and Christmas if they fall during the week. so other dealers with
I'm gonna put
families
this
can
in
spend time with their kids.
the
This
maybe
year,
pile, I
elected
guess.
not to. My best friend is going to randomly be in my city this week. His wife's cousin or something like that
I'm gonna
recently moved
do the
here,
get rid of
and he will
pile
be spending the holiday at her house. This, of
right
course,
there.
means that since I'm off Tuesday through Thursday, I'll be able to
Okay.
go out for some drinks Wednesday night with Ryan. And I have an
These
invite to Turkey Day for the first
I'm
time
gonna
since
keep
I moved to
because
the
these
city.
are classic
One
for
of my
winter
coworkers,
to take
let's
pics
call
in.
her Karen, has been working
Those
for
go in
this
the
place
closet.
way less time than me. She beat me out of another
Shorts.
schedule rebid
I
recently
wore these
because she has 3 kids.
for what
and
character?
having weekends off to spend time with them is so important.
I don't remember. I think a few
Anyway,
characters.
Karen didn't so much ask as made a comment to me on schedule day. Karen, so I let the boss know that you were working Thursday for
Maybe.
me. Sorry, I can't trade anyone
Shorts.
this year.
Mickey
I
Mouse
actually have plans.
shorts.
Karen scoffs. Well,
These do look
it's not
really
like
good on
you
my
have
booty.
a family. You need to do the right thing and let those of us
Suka
with
buyout
ones
shirt,
spend
of
the holiday
course.
with
Keep
them.
it.
Me. Well, I'm sure
Little
you get to
devil
spend a lot of time
horns.
with them
Hoodie.
every weekend
Keep it.
while I'm here dealing cards. She just grumbled and walked away. Later on in
Pajamas.
the EDR, about 5 of us, including Karen, were eating lunch. We were talking about the holiday and everyone's
I
plans.
think I'm gonna get rid of
Karen
these
made
because
a
I've had
snide
them for a
remark
while.
about how I refused to trade her shift. Karen,
Chicken
all
nuggets
he's gonna
hoodie.
do is get
Keeping.
drunk and watch football. He won't let me have the holiday off with my family. Me.
Tutu.
Yep, that's exactly
Keeping.
what I'm gonna do. Remember, you told our boss that you needed weekends off for family time.
My
So
merch.
really, I'm doing you a favor
Keeping,
by
obviously.
working my normal days so you can have all weekend off with your kids. You're
Another
welcome.
pajama set.
I put on my best grin I
I'm
could.
gonna keep this
Just
one
looked
because
at
I
her.
like this one.
She was visibly displeased, but said nothing
The
else.
shorts that
My
go with the
coworkers told me that she
pajamas.
whined to them about what a jerk I am after I left.
Ah,
Oh well.
this.
Next we've got entitled
Pajamas.
parent doesn't
I've had
want
this
to pay to go in
forever.
a petting zoo.
So I think I'm
used
gonna get
to
rid of
work
it because I've
a
had it
petting
for
zoo
so
that
long.
allows visitors to be within the enclosures with the animals, and needless to say, I experienced a lot.
I've got a bunch of
When I first started
panties.
reading this up, this was the story that first came to mind.
I think
To
I'll
set the scene, this was a location where it cost about $2 US for
I'm gonna
entry
get
to
rid of
the
that
zoo
pair.
and additional money.
It says
if you
older
wanted
men
food.
on it.
If a kid is under
Keeping
6,
this pair
they need
because
an
it's
adult
for a
to accompany
tail.
them for safety reasons. And in that instance, the adult gets in free with the kid's
Keeping
admission.
that one.
If your kid is 6 and up, we assume they can listen to the staff inside
Swimsuit.
and respect the animal space.
I think I'm gonna get rid of this swimsuit because
We've
I
got
had it for a
entitled
while
parent.
and
We've
it's
got
a
entitled
little
parent's
small
husband.
on me.
We've got problematic Goose, and we've got myself.
But
the
it's
zoo
from
crew.
San Lorenzo, so it's
the
nice.
summer at a big
It's a
state
nice
fair. The
swimsuit.
petting zoo is of average to below average attendance. I end up at the front of the zoo while someone is on break. which
Santa's
means
favorite
I'm in charge
hoe
of admission
undies.
and money. Most people don't complain because
I'll
$2
keep
US
those. Those are
is a
good for
great deal
Christmas.
to come and hang out with
Cloud
really cool
undies.
and mostly sweet animals for as long as you want.
I like these, but they're
Like,
kind of too
actually,
small
as
for
long as you
them.
want. Stay for hours. We don't care. This particular
Ah,
round,
these
we had problematic
classic
Goose,
ruffly
who was young
panties.
and still learning manners. But for the
I'll keep
most
those.
part, as with 98% of animals, if you respected their space, they respected yours. Because this is a location that people have to pay to get in, we do have a spot for parents to watch their kids from right up against the fence if they don't want to go in. And the kids are old enough. No one's allowed up against the fence in other locations.
Skirt.
Food is
I just
$1
got this,
at the
so
gate,
obviously I'm keeping
and
it.
it's a cone and pellets. Usually more expensive, but it's cut for them having to pay their way in.
Pajama
And there's quarter machines
onesie.
inside.
Hmm.
Enter an entitled parent who comes in with a girl who is about 7 to
I
8.
think I'll keep this one.
I
I think this
verify
one.
the age with
I
entitled
like that
parent,
one.
and I let them know that it will be 2 admissions, and that they can buy food to feed the animals if they'd like.
The
Entitled
sheepy
parent.
shorts.
What
I like
do
to
you
call
mean?
these sheepy
I
shorts.
have
I'm
to
keeping
pay
these.
too.
I think I'm gonna get rid
My
of
best
this.
retail voice.
This one
Yes,
though.
it's $2,
The
but you
blue.
guys can hang out there as long as you want. And there's quarter machines
It's
for
fun.
food too, if you don't want to buy it
Where are
here.
the shorts?
I can't let her
Oh,
go
there's shorts
in
to go
alone.
with this. I'm gonna get rid of
You
this.
don't have to. She's old enough to go in alone if you'd like her to. But if you want to go with her,
Another
it's
pair of
$2.
panties that are
If
too
not,
small for my
There's a
butt.
parent-only area right against the fence on the side, so you can keep
That
an eye.
one I'm gonna keep.
Entitled
It's
parent
good for
seeming to be
videos. These are
mostly
too
frustrated
small.
over the cost.
I think my butt's gotten
She
bigger
can
recently
go,
or
though.
something because a lot of stuff
Entitled
is just
parent
like.
leaves. I let her daughter
Does
know
not
the rules
fit.
and send her on our way. oblivious to what was going to unfold. About 20 minutes later, a built gentleman in summer attire comes up to me fuming.
These are cute.
Admittedly, he held it together pretty well. And
The
wasn't
CC
yelling,
panties
but obviously
keeping.
frustrated.
Still of those.
Husband, you need
This
to
little
let mothers
panty
in
set
there with their
keeping.
kids. Suspecting exactly who
This
this
is
was,
the-
but
no,
not
it doesn't
entirely
look
sure. I put on my best
Keeping.
retail voice of confusion. It wasn't
Keeping.
the first time an unwitting,
Keeping.
poorly informed husband was sent to intimidate me.
Keeping.
Me. I'm sorry. Everyone is allowed in.
Keeping.
Husband, now gesturing to the
Keeping.
familiar girl who is now red-faced
Keeping.
from crying and holding her finger not far behind him. My
Hmm.
daughter got bit by problematic
Yeah.
Goose in there, and
Keeping.
you need to allow parents in. I'm sorry to hear that, sir.
Why
But
is
I told
this
your wife
second
it
story
was
about a
only an
goose?
additional $2 to go into the zoo with your daughter, and she sent her in alone. I had never seen such a look of realization
Keeping.
before in an intimidation attack like this before. The husband turned on his heel and led his daughter away.
Okay, I'm gonna get rid of this one because I already have the other net set and I like the other one better.
And when her kid didn't follow the rules,
And I can
she
always
sent
get
her
a new
husband to
pair
cause
if I
a
want.
scene. Backfired, satisfied.
Fishnets!
Next we found
Keeping because I just got these.
This happened a good decade ago when I was about 20. But you know how some memories stand out so vividly? This is definitely one of those. I was a newly graduated veterinary nurse
yes.
working in a busy little
These shorts
small
with the
animal
buckles on
clinic
them.
based in a
Keeping
well-known
these,
horse racing town.
obviously.
On that particular
This is
day,
the one that I think
we
I'm gonna
had
get
a
rid
volume
of.
surgeries, and I had just spent a good 6 hours solid doing anesthetics, hunched up and concentrating hard, and
Yeah.
was so very ready to
They
stretch
have
my
the pink
legs
one. I'm gonna
and
get rid of
eat
this
an
one.
overdue lunch. We finally wrap up the last surgery. All went
Gwen
well.
leggings.
No animals were harmed in the making of this story. I am very ready to devour calories.
Another pajama set. I think I might
initially
toss
whenever
this
I leave the
one.
clinic, I would change my
I
nurse's
think I'm gonna get
tunic
rid
for
of
something
the
more
baby
casual.
one.
But as
I
we've
wore
been
it in
busy,
the,
and I was 2 hours past my
Scream
usual
video.
lunchtime, I didn't bother to change. And in fact, I didn't even
Corset
de-accessorize.
that I just
So I
got
had a full
for
bottle
a
green tunic and trousers,
cosplay.
fob watch, name badge with job title, and to top it all off, a
Pajamas.
stethoscope around my neck. Full on, knackered nurse chick.
I grabbed
was in a
these
rush
ones
to
just
get to my coveted
because
sandwich. Dang it. Point is, everything about my look screamed medical.
they're
worker.
older, so I'm not
I
gonna
decided to
keep
pop
them
into
in
the
my
local
normal
Marks
closet,
and
but I feel like they
Spencer's
would be
and
good
get
for
my
a video.
sandwich. Anyone from outside
They're
the
definitely
UK,
good
Marks
for
and Spencer's
a
is
stepsis
department store
video.
that is fairly
So
fancy.
keeping
Not
those
super duper
pajamas,
posh, but not exactly an everyday
keeping
shop
the
either.
crop sweater,
This branch was a clothes store up front with a food
another
section at the back.
Santa panties.
Getting lunch
I
from
think
here
I'm gonna
was
get
a
rid of this.
special treat. So
I don't
I
need
get
multiple.
there. Have picked myself a drool-worthy sandwich, ham hock and chutney.
Yes.
Yum.
The other
And I've
merch,
decided, heck with it. I'm gonna get me a dessert too. In for a penny,
the other
in for a
cropped
pound.
hoodie.
I trotted to the fresh cake section and am salivating over cheesecakes and macaroons.
This
when
shirt
along
that I
comes
still
Karen.
need to
I know
wear,
that's a cliche at this point.
but it's
but
got
seriously,
Playboy on it.
This
And
lady
it's
was the
see-through.
most caring
It's cute, but it would definitely be for a video because I can't wear that
I need to
normally.
speak to your manager. Haircut. To the Audi key rings on Cat Kidston keyring, clutched
This is
in her
from
bejeweled
a
claws.
set.
Karen stops right next to me, stares at me
This
with
I'm
eyebrows
gonna
raised,
get rid of.
then sort of
today.
huff/sighs
This
through flared
I
nostrils
think
in
I'm
my
also gonna
direction.
get rid of. This is
I
the
assume she wants something I'm standing in front
swimsuit
of.
from
so I just shuffle
multiple
along
videos I
with
did in
it and keep
Hawaii. If anyone
contemplating
wants
cakes.
this,
Cake. Karen, don't you dare walk
No,
away from me.
nope, pajamas. Those are underwear.
Pardon?
What am I talking about?
Where are the stir-fry sauces? She
The
puts her
Teddy
fingers
Chan.
up near my face as she says this.
Obviously keeping.
Stir. Fry.
Blanket.
Sausage.
Get out of my face.
At this
Anything
point,
else?
I didn't twig. She thought I worked there. As I'm wearing my name badge with Vet Clinic on it, and knew I was representing my workplace, so I tried to be polite, rather than just scoff at her rude face. Mistake. Me. Oh, I have no idea. Maybe on the end of the veg aisle? Like with the packaged salads and stuff? Karen, alarming screeching begins. What do you mean you have no idea? This is ridiculous. You should know where all the products are. How can you be so rude and stupid?
Okay.
The irony. Me, confused still, hungry, just want to eat my dang lunch. I don't know where your sauces are. I don't come in here much. Excuse me. I start walking away. Karen puts her arm out.
Oh, you should say you don't work here.
I can't believe this. You rude child. They will hire anyone these days.
The
This shop
awards
is supposed to have
honey.
standards.
Also
I
going
don't
into
care
the
if this isn't
closet.
your department. You should know this.
Shorts.
Shop layout
Goodbye.
is basic knowledge. Did you even listen during training?
Ugh, I love
Who's
this
your
corset
manager?
so much.
All said in one enormous breath. Kinda impressive. Me, bewildered.
The
Still
bunny
hungry,
corset.
really struggling to connect that she actually
Well,
thinks
actually,
I
there's
work
lambs
here.
on a hand, buddies.
I don't work here. Gesturing with sandwich and uniform. Karen, even higher level
Cosplay.
of screeching. Dogs back at the clinic likely start howling in response.
Another
Face alarmingly
cosplay.
red. Don't get jerky with me. Tell me
Keeping
where the stir-fry sauces are right now. You are going to be in so much trouble, young lady. You might even be fired for your cheek.
rep.
Me, so done at this point.
What part of
Stomach
don't work here do
growling,
you not get?
sandwich calling. I don't work here. I'm a veterinary nurse. I'm buying my lunch here. Please move. Karen, gears turning, eyes roaming, nursey evidence.
This dress. I feel like this would be good for cosplays.
Name of
It's a
horse
good
clinic,
underdress.
Not the vets I work at. They always have silly little
Obviously
cats
keeping the
working there.
Samus
They've
suit.
told the horse hair you're sprinkling around the place. They
Stop
shouldn't
the
let you in. It's
video.
not sanitary. I'm telling the manager.
Keeping-
You'll be banned. For your information, my tunic was spotless, as I've been wearing scrubs over it all day. But sure. Okay, Karen. Thank the lunch gods, Karen decided to storm off. I assumed to find a manager to screep in for a few hours. I grabbed a custard tart, double pack, and you're dang right, I ate them both, and purchased my lunch. I never saw Karen again, so for all I know, she's still there shouting about rude stable girls who don't know where stir-fry sauces are.
Okay.
The sandwich was delightful.
Black
Next
version
we've
of the
got-
corset that I
I met
got.
Karen at AutoZone. About 10 years ago, I worked as a delivery
Oh god, a
driver
Karen
for
at an
AutoZone.
AutoZone sounds like not a good combo.
Did my deliveries and other stuff and headed home. Realized I was out of toilet paper, so I stopped by Target on the way to pick some up. Found the toilet paper aisle and headed to get my brand. I'm picky. I was deciding between the biggest pack they had or just the 4 roll, doing the math, figuring out how much I had to spend that week. I noticed another customer had entered the aisle and was heading towards me, so I stepped forward, assuming she'd passed behind me, and went back to the big decision I had ahead of me. My concentration was broken a moment later by the distinct clearing of a throat, in that way that it's only made to get someone's attention, and not in a very polite way.
Okay,
I
these
never
shorts
considered
have a
that she thought I was an
stain on
employee,
them. I'm
and just
getting
thought
rid of
I was
those
in
ones.
her way. I looked at the
Puppy
gal and
blanket?
smiled, said, "Excuse me," stepped even closer to make room, assuming she thought I was in her way, and went back to what I was doing.
Another one
Then I hear,
is keeping that one.
"Well, are you going to help me or what?" I was completely
These
caught
little
off
things. I
guard.
think I'm gonna get
I
rid
was
of
like,
these because they're all
What is
hard.
she asking me help for? And I kind of looked around, and that way you do, just to
Rid
make
of-
sure you aren't misreading the situation.
This
That's
that
when
I
saw
didn't
the
wear
Target
because it's too
employee in that
small.
red shirt and khaki pants past the end of the aisle.
That's
When
for
it hit me,
cosplay.
I'm wearing my red shirt with a
That's
name
for
tag. I can
cosplay.
understand the confusion now. I turned back to her and
These
tried to laugh
are
it off
for
to say
workout
what I
videos.
thought would be her embarrassment for mistaking
orange
me for a
YouTube
Target
leggings.
employee, and tell her, "Sorry if my shirt confused you, but I don't work here." Thinking
Some
she'd be
other
like,
short
"Oh,
shorts.
silly me, you have a
Working
good
out.
day." And
Sheer
I'd be able to
shorts.
respond,
Getting
"No
rid
worries
of.
at all.
Okay.
You take care out there." But no.
I didn't get rid of that much
couldn't
stuff.
be how it went down. She proceeds to respond with, "Yes, you do. You just don't want to help me," with a noticeable edge in her voice and narrowing her eyes at me. At this point, I'm
I should get rid of
gobsmacked,
these.
asking myself
Just
if this is really
because
happening, because
I
it
didn't
just
get rid of
seems
that
so
much.
absurd, considering this was pre-redded for me, and I'd never heard about something like this occurring
I
to
think I need to
anyone
be
else.
harsher.
I tell her, irritated, but still
Ugh.
not really mad. "Sorry, but I work at AutoZone." She just kind of loses her temper now and says something to the effect of I'm lazy, and she wants to know the name of my manager so she can let them know why their employee is lying to customers, refusing to help them, blah blah blah. Then I uttered the line that made me laugh when I found this sub because of how true it was, and said with as much indignation and righteous fury I had, "I don't work here, lady." You. She got ready to start on me again, and I cut her off. "Look, I've got black pants. They've got tan." I unclip my name tag and hold it out, shaking AutoZone, not Target. Now go away. She starts winding up again to defend her idiocy, and by that point, I'm done. So I grab the toilet paper. Can't remember if I got the 4-pack or the big one. Sorry.
I feel like I should go
and walk
through.
away as she's squawking on behind me. Seems like she was trying to figure out which AutoZone I worked at. I can only assume so she could come by and spread some more of her mess around there, as well as probably ask to speak to some type of manager or call corporate or any of the other unfortunate normal crap we've all become accustomed to on here.
Whatever. I'm gonna make.
Yeah, that's my story with the reality of
put
how weird people are at retail.
all of the clothes we're getting rid of into a bag.
I know a couple of really great Karens, so I kind of avoid the term. But I can see why it has become so prevalent. I no longer work retail, and if the universe is kind, I never will again. But to all you retail workers getting ready for the nightmare of Black Friday and the ensuing holiday season, I wish you well, and I hope people genuinely treat you like people and appreciate you being there. I know I do. Next week up, Karen thinks I can't read. A little backstory. I worked at a high-end technology company for their retail division in a shopping mall. I worked as a technician. Our responsibilities included taking appointments to troubleshoot and resolve the customer's device, as well as scheduling appointments in store for customers walking in without booking in advance. Our appointments are very demanding, and people do have the option to book from home to make it work around their schedule. Let's go into the story. One of my coworkers was a great.
Okay, I think I'm gonna do something else for a bit and then come back to the pile. Because I feel like I want to get rid of more stuff, but I don't know what yet. So we're gonna go through my.
Scheduling an appointment for someone when Karen appears. Me. Hello. How can I assist you?
Let me
today?
look.
Karen. I have a broken mobile device. I need it fixed. Me. Okay. We can certainly get a technician to assist you. Would you like me to set up a time for you to see a technician today? What? Why isn't there anyone now? I understand that time is important, and the longer you're without your device, the more aggravating it can be. I would love to pair you with a technician, but at the moment, we have some customers waiting to be seen as well.
Should I do wigs
what
first?
I can do is set up a time for you to come back in 1 hour. We can even send you a text to
let's do
notify
wigs.
and to start making your way back. Karen, upset by this. Fine.
Hold up.
Me. Let me start by getting your first name and last name. Karen, first and last name provided. Me. Okay. Would you mind spelling out your last name? The last name was a long and complicated name. Karen, aggravated. If you can't spell, then you probably don't know how to read. Me, surprised and upset, I look at her. You know what? I'm not going to help you. I turn and walk away from Karen and the others waiting behind her. But I felt like that level of disrespect was uncalled for. I probably should have stayed there and called a manager over to take over the situation so that I could help the rest of the line. But I needed a second to recuperate. A manager eventually helped Karen, as she probably put her version of the story in her favor. As I walked back to my post, Karen, sitting and waiting for a technician,
time to go through the wigs.
Grabbed my arm and said, "I'm reporting you to corporate." I probably should have said something, because she has no right to lay a hand on me. But I just ignored her and went back to work.
I definitely need to get rid of some wigs.
Me for
if anyone wants these for cosplays or anything, Katie, if anyone wants any of these, please let me know.
Employee gets fired over turkeys. A Thanksgiving special. I'm a manager at an airport bar / restaurant for a company that subcontracts
a lot of these need to be cleaned also.
In airports in several cities.
Okay, so first we've got Tanya.
Started 2 years ago.
Obviously keeping Tanya, because we're going to cosplay her again.
And these aren't scrawny little birds either.
So we'll put the keeps right here.
Turkeys, good for 8 to 10 people. My company gives these out for free, easily knocking $50 from the Thanksgiving food budget, just as a thank you for working for the company. So picture a large freezer connected to a larger prep kitchen where pizza dough and pasta are made inside. Inside the freezer, one of the sides
I literally don't remember who this wig belongs to. I think it's a Doki Doki wig, but since I don't remember who it is, goodbye.
On the clipboard is a roster.
If I can't remember who it is, or I don't, like, it's not just like a by itself good wig, getting rid of it.
The key to this was that the turkey giveaway was based on the honor system. Company probably expected that we hired
I like
honest
this wig a
adults
lot.
who understand the 1 per employee rule. More's the pity for them. We've been giving turkeys out for the last 2 weeks and accidentally found out that someone was taking more
I like
than
this
their
wig.
fair
I think we'll
share
keep
on
this
the
one.
Friday before Thanksgiving. My boss, the terminal director,
Well,
and the executive
forgot
head
this
chef,
wig existed.
not my boss, but on the same level as the terminal director, called all the
I'm
managers
gonna
and
toss,
chefs
or
to
you
this
know, get
kitchen
rid of this
for a
one.
meeting concerning
It's like
the schedule for
rainbow
Thanksgiving
pastel-y.
week given to us
It's
by
just
the
too short
airline.
for me.
As we are about to get started, the freezer door opens and a woman comes out with 2 turkeys in her arms. She
The
looks at
02
us.
wig that I had to
Look at
cut
her. She
because
doesn't say
the
a word.
vacuum ran over it.
Why do you have 2 turkeys? The terminal
If
director
anyone
asks.
wants this
Hands
one,
on her hips, teacher
let me
style.
know, because I'm
I
definitely
was
going to get rid of it. I don't
grabbing
need
one
2 of
turkey
these.
for me and my friend. This woman replies, it's such an obvious lie. The terminal director
Okay,
asks to see the
Isabel.
badge to get her
I don't
name.
think I'm going to
Then
be
she looks up
cosplaying
her name
Isabel
on the
again,
roster.
even though that was really
Brenda,
fun.
fake name.
I think I'm going to
It
not.
seems as though you've
So if
already
anyone
got
wants the
your turkey
Isabel
next
wig,
day, and your friend
let
needs
me
to grab
know.
their own turkey. She says friend in such a condescending
I made
manner.
it myself.
I thought
so.
these were free turkeys. She starts to complain. These are free turkeys, the terminal director says, but they are 1 per employee.
Who the fuck is
Well,
this for?
if people really wanted these turkeys, they would have gotten them already.
Is this
right?
a fucking Mrs.
Because of
Incredible
course,
wig that I just
we should
never
see the
used?
logic in her
What's
idea.
happening here?
The terminal director tells Brenda
Okay,
to
whatever.
return the
Getting rid of
turkeys
that.
and asks who is her direct manager.
Ah,
Brenda's manager
one of my
identifies
favorite
himself,
wigs.
and the terminal
as you guys
director
know.
says that they are going to need to have a talk later
Love
about
this
Brenda.
one. Keeping.
We go about our meeting. I found out today that Brenda and her manager
LMAO.
had a talk with HR and the terminal director. Apparently, Brenda had taken
Okay,
6
hold
other
it.
turkeys before trying to take the 2 we caught her with.
Okay,
I
this
don't know if she admitted
is
or there was evidence that she took the 6.
for
She had tried to
multiple
play the,
characters, but I
"I'm
think
just
it's,
trying to feed
I
my
used it
kids"
for Misty.
card. But HR and the terminal director weren't having it. And because she
But
was
I'm not gonna
hired
do that
and
again,
hadn't
so
completed the
goodbye.
90 probationary period,
Plus, that's an
she
easy
could
wig
be
that I
let
can
go
get again.
at will, which she
I need
was.
to.
I don't know if
Okay,
she
this
actually was going to eat
I
the 6
got
turkeys she had, or was selling
to
/
replicate
giving them away to people she knew.
my hair,
But her
my
entitlement
own
was
like
ridiculous,
old haircut.
believing that because the turkeys
But
were free,
I'm
she
gonna
could
get rid of
take
it
more
because
than one.
I don't
On
like
a
having
Saturday
short
note,
hair.
The terminal director is considering ending the free turkey giveaway because of this. So, thanks, Brenda. Next, we've got revenge on
Okay.
the low-life landlord who first deprived
Oh,
us
hey,
of
it's my
heat
emo
and later
hair.
kept our security deposit. I was a kid back in the 80s, 2 years out of college when
It's
I
my
moved
emo
into an
hair.
apartment by the shore in New Jersey.
I'm gonna keep this
When
wig
the
just
cold
because
weather
it's
arrived, there was always a
a
few days
universally
when the
good
apartment
wig,
was cold.
although
We would tell the super, and then the
Jesus
heat would
Christ, these
start
are
arriving.
tangled.
One year, the heat
I'm
started.
gonna put this in like it needs to get cleaned pile, but keeping.
Was like in the 50s, and we had to start
Because
wearing
my
those.
god.
We told the super
Yikes.
about it, and nothing happened this time. We wrote the landlord about it, and still nothing.
This wig
So
that I've
we
literally
checked with
never
an attorney
used because it's
and
way
learned
too
about
bright.
warranty of
I got it and
habitability
didn't think it would be this
withholding
color.
rents. So yet another
But
certified
this
letter
shit's
to the
bright as
landlord,
hell if
and we
anyone
start
wants it.
withholding rents. He files a motion to evict us, and we answer with the Marini defense, depositing the withheld
Keeping this
monies
wig,
with
I
the court.
love this
The judge
wig.
finds in our favor for all
It's one of my
money withheld.
favorites.
We continue to live there because there just aren't many other options as we save for a home. Flash forward to living there for 6
My
years.
creeper
on
wig.
the last lease because
I
we're
love
about
this
to buy a
one.
home.
This
We
one
write
definitely
in a
needs to get
clause
cleaned though.
that
Oh
we
my
can break
god.
the lease with 45
But I love
days
this
notice
wig.
in writing.
This is a good one.
Similar to his 45-day clause. They don't notice it because it's slightly obscured on the top left of page 2.
Yes.
So they sign off on it and return it to me. So
My
in the
Ichigo
middle of
wig.
the lease, we give the 45-day written notice.
Which honestly
Make
I
their
love the
payments
color
and
of,
leave.
but
They
the
don't return our
haircut's just
deposit,
weird because it's
so we
just for
sue
Ichigo,
it,
so.
demanding double.
Meh,
They
and I
sue
don't play the
us for
cosplayer.
remainder of the 6 months rent.
So
and
goodbye,
we need to
Ichigo
return
wig.
our security deposit. This is no longer small claims court.
Ah,
We proceed
yes,
without
this
an
wig
attorney
I used
anyway. They're
for
expensive.
the
We
alien.
arrive at the courthouse, and court forces a round of arbitration. The arbitrator says we will lose in front
It's
of
like
the
a
judge and to pay
holographic
the
looking
rent remainder.
wig. Anyone wants
We
this?
refuse and wait for the judge. While waiting, the landlord's attorney drops by and asks why we didn't take the arbitrator's advice. So we tell him about the clause we wrote in.
One of
And he
these is
states
my
he saw
Blue's
it too,
Clues
and
wig.
that since it was crossed out, it's not.
Hello? Nani? Why did you stop?
Part of the deal. We show him
Okay.
our copy of the lease, where it's not crossed out, and his
One of
face
these is
goes
Blue's
white as a
Clues.
sheet. He makes a call to the landlord, who then offers to properly break
And then
the
one
lease
of these
with no
is the
penalty
blue
and
waffle.
return our security deposit in full.
But
We
I don't need
refuse,
either of these because they're
and we
both
show
short.
him the certified letter stating that we would have accepted that deal up until yesterday, but that if you force us to come down to court,
The Gwen
we want
wig,
double damages of
definitely
the
keeping,
improper withholding
definitely
of
needs
the
to get
security
washed.
deposit.
Holy
He
shit,
tries
yikes.
again to reach out to the landlord.
Monica!
But this time. We
Keeping
go to
the
see
Monica
judge.
wig
He looks
also
at both
needs to
leases
get fucking
and calls their
washed,
attorney to the
though. Oh my
bench.
god.
The judge takes our lease and thrusts it
02.
towards their attorney and says,
Another
"This
one
is
that
the
I'm
lease
keeping
in
but
full."
needs to fucking get
Their attorney
washed.
starts walking around the courtroom like a chick with his head cut off. while
Oh
try
yeah,
to
I
laugh
forgot
as
about this
quietly
one.
as
This is a
possible.
good
The
wig.
judge finds for us.
See, this
for
is what I
double
thought the
damages.
other pink
We
wig would be
receive
like. It's like
nothing
a
for a
darker
week,
pink.
and I go back to
Keeping
the
this
courthouse
one
where
also
the clerk
needs to get
says they
washed.
should take that judgment immediately, and tells us about Chattel execution.
Oh yeah,
and
this
gives us
wig.
that form. A couple of weeks pass, and a check
It's
appears
an
from the
oldie but a
landlord.
goodie.
Another month passes, and we get a call
Think-
from the court. We have our
I
money.
think I'll keep this
I
one.
told them the
Definitely
landlord
needs
had sent a
washing
check
now.
a while
Who is calling me? My fascia.
back, so it's all
Why
good.
is my dad calling
She
me?
tells
Hold on.
us that we should have informed the court that we got the money to stop the Chattel execution from occurring. The court sent the sheriff to their offices and confiscated office equipment and sold it at auction to satisfy the judgment.
My dad never
They said,
calls
"Don't
me during the
worry,
middle of
they
the
will
day.
return
That's
the money
weird.
to the landlord." That is the revenge. Getting the money and having them experience the abrupt seizing
Alright.
of their assets,
This one.
of their place of business,
Oh
having it
man.
sold at auction, and then having the
Who
money
remembers
returned
this
to
is
them.
an older one too?
Major pro-justice.
I'm gonna
Next
toss
we've got
this one because
Entitled
again,
man
I don't
is
like having
entitled
short hair.
girlfriend wanted
But
his mom to buy
it's
him
really
a house
cute.
that she won't be allowed to live in. My grandmother-in-law is one of the
Oh, my
sweetest
McDonald's
women on
wig.
earth. The first time I met
Keeping,
her, I
because
was
I'm gonna
incredibly
use this
nervous. I
again.
was nervous meeting my significant other's entire family.
Oh my god, this
especially since they
wig.
didn't like
I
any
hate
of
this
his
wig
exes.
because it like
But
doesn't
he
have
praises
a
his
good lace
grandmother like she
front
is
or
the sun
anything.
that
It's like
shines
really
down on us
awkward.
every
So
day.
no.
So it was a big deal.
Goodbye.
She just hugged me tight for a few minutes and said she was happy that I made
This
her grandson happy.
Is a wig I
and
still
welcomed
haven't
me to
used
the
yet,
family.
but
Her adult son,
I need to
the
finish
entitled man,
preparing
has always
it.
lived with my grandmother.
It's gonna be a sleeping beauty
He's legally
wig,
blind, and it's getting
if you
worse every
couldn't
day.
tell.
And he physically could not live alone. In the next few years, he'll lose sight completely.
Ah,
He collects disability.
another goodie,
and
but
also works
oldie, and
part-time at a
holy
bowling
shit,
alley.
does it need washing?
Bowling is his passion. And on top of the widow's pension my grandmother-in-law gets,
We have
she also
Rimuru.
gets a check for being Entitled Man's caregiver.
Rimuru.
When I first met Entitled Man, he
Keeping
seemed
needs
alright.
washing.
A little weird, but okay enough. Recently,
Ah,
my mother-in-law
this wig.
drove across state
I love
lines
this
to pick
wig.
up my grandmother-in-law,
You guys know I love
and
this
she
wig.
was going to stay
It's
with
so
my
good. I
mother-in-law
love the
through
curls.
holidays. When mother-in-law got
So
there,
poofy.
Entitled Man's girlfriend,
This wig is
who I will
perfect.
call
I love it.
Entitled
Keep
Girlfriend, met my
And it
mother-in-law
doesn't need washing,
outside, and
thankfully.
immediately started talking mad crap about my
The
grandmother-in-law.
succubus wig,
Entitled Girlfriend
definitely
said that
keeping,
grandmother-in-law was
definitely gonna wear
controlling
again.
and stole
Love
all
this
of their
wig,
money.
honestly.
Now,
Needs
Entitled
washing,
Girlfriend
though.
works part-time and is still in college,
My feel-
so
oh,
I guess
shit.
I can understand how she might feel that money is a
Yeah.
bit tight. But
My Philo wig?
grandmother-in-law does not ask for a lot of money.
You know, I could
They
use
don't
this
pay
for the
rent.
Sleeping Beauty
They
wig.
just
I'm an
pay
idiot.
$200 for groceries
Why didn't I
every
just use
month.
this for my Sleeping Beauty wig?
$200 might sound like plenty for two adults, Entitled Man and Entitled Girlfriend, for 1 month. But if you've ever done grocery shopping for yourself, you know that you really have to stretch it to make that $200 last. They give grandmother-in-law their shopping list, and if anything on the list goes over the $200 they've given her,
Hold
grandmother-in-law
up.
has to pay for it with her own money. When Entitled Girlfriend was saying all
Come
of this
here.
to mother-in-law, she kind of looked at Entitled Girlfriend and said, you know that's my mother, right? Entitled Girlfriend shrugged and said something along the lines of, yeah, but that doesn't change the fact that she's kinda just, you know, not that great of a person. My mother-in-law was at a loss for words.
Right?
And didn't
Like,
really
I should
say
just
anything
use
to
this
her
wig.
or Entitled Man when she got
I
grandmother-in-law
think it
and
fits
left.
better.
On the car ride back over state lines, my mother-in-law told grandmother-in-law about the
Damn, should I
conversation
keep you?
and asked what it was all about. Grandmother-in-law
I mean, this is still a
launched
really
into
cute
long
wig.
story
I
that
think I'm gonna
I'll try
still
to
keep it.
summarize as best I can. I don't know the exact dialogue that was passed back and forth between the two parties, so I'm just taking what grandmother-in-law told me and putting it together in a nice
I don't know.
combo format. Basically,
Yeah.
it all started when
I think
grandmother
it will, because I'm gonna get rid of a lot of my blonde wigs.
She loves the one
Like
she
this,
has
for
now,
example,
but
it's
old and
just
falling
no.
apart. So at this point, it would just be more cost effective to buy a new one.
Teddy
Entitled man wasn't
Chan
happy about
keeping
this, and
needs
he and
washing
entitled girlfriend
super
sat down
bad.
with grandmother-in-law and told her this: "We don't want you to get a new car.
Ah,
It would take away
Raven,
funds
one
for
of the
house
only
we're
short
planning to
wigs
get."
that I'm keeping
Grandmother-in-law
because
was
I'm gonna
very
use you
confused.
very
What
soon.
house? Entitled man said, "Entitled girlfriend and I want you to buy us a house."
Ah, yes.
Before grandmother-in-law
This
could
wig,
respond, entitled girlfriend interjected.
it's really
with,
good quality,
"But
but
you
I don't know. I
wouldn't be
never
allowed to
use this
decorate
color. Like,
or
I
make
never
any
wear
of the
this.
rules for the house. Frankly, we don't even really want you to live there. But we'd
It's
still
the
need you to pay for
SJW
the
wig.
mortgage." Excuse me?
Do I keep?
Grandmother-in-law couldn't believe what she was hearing. Entitled man kept
I
going.
think I keep.
"Legally, like on paper, I would still live here though. Otherwise, I would lose out on money." Entitled
The
man
CC
claims
wig.
that the check my grandmother-in-law gets for being entitled man's caregiver.
I think I have
is
enough
his
wigs
money.
that are this color
Technically,
scheme.
he's correct, but he wouldn't be losing it if he didn't live with grandmother-in-law anymore. Either she would still get it, because as a mother, she would surely still
Another
help
wig
to
that I
take care
really
of
like,
him,
but really,
or it
really,
would be
really
combined
needs
with his
washing.
already existing monthly check. Or entitled girlfriend would get it, as she'd be the only other adult in the household to claim the title as his caregiver. Entitled man
Okay.
is the youngest of grandmother-in-law's
Well, shoot.
3 kids, and though entitled man
My
isn't
dad's
her
coming to
favorite,
visit
she
me
doesn't have
spontaneously,
favorites. She
randomly,
does have a special connection
in
with him. Around the time she got pregnant
2.5 hours though. I'm gonna get off stream and hang out with my dad.
as were a lot of other people during the era. She blames herself for all of entitled man's medical problems, even though the doctors said it was a possibility that they could have been genetic, as she too had a few medical problems running in her family. While she was in labor, she almost lost entitled man due to complications. So,
Nice.
grandmother-in-law
Cool.
taught him to be her
I'm gonna hang out with
miracle
my
child.
dad.
She's never been controlling and has always
Okay.
encouraged entitled man to be independent, despite his setbacks. She never coddled him, never suffocated him under her constant love.
Okay, we've got
He's
this
actually incredibly
wig.
smart, with a genius level IQ, and at times pretty funny. When my
I think I'm actually gonna get rid of this one.
I was honestly pretty
Because,
shocked.
like, it's
I
cute
don't
and
know
everything, but I don't
entitled
feel like I
man
actually
but
have
it
that
was
many
still surprising to hear
opportunities
that
to
he was
wear it.
basically kicking grandmother-in-law to the curb. Hey
Just
mom,
kind of.
I know that you carried me in your womb, brought me into this world, and raised me and loved me. But I'm gonna need you to buy/make payments on a house
We've
for my
got my
girlfriend and I.
Yuno
Also,
Gasai
you're
wig.
not allowed to live
Keeping
there.
this one. I want to
and one
redo
more
her at
thing.
some point.
Forget
For
you.
sure.
Sure, grandmother-in-law has made some mistakes during the course of her life. Who hasn't? But she's owned up to those mistakes and has paid her dues. She's been through a lot in her life.
We've got my Shiro wig that I need to
Entitled girlfriend has been
clean
through
real
some
bad,
crap, too.
and also I need
If the
to
stories she's told
get
are
a new
true, that is.
cosplay of hers
Reaching
because the one I
/
had
overcoming
did not
obstacles in life
fit well.
doesn't give you any excuse
But
to
I
be a
need
crappy
to. I
person.
want to do her
It
so
definitely
bad.
doesn't excuse you trying to convince your boyfriend to kick his 70-year-old mother out of her own house.
Oh yeah, this is like a
Because
mermaid wig that I
don't
never
think any of this would have
used.
happened if it weren't for
I think
entitled
I'll get rid of
girlfriend.
it because it's just,
Grandmother-in-law isn't going
I don't
back
have
home
anything
until
that I
after
really want to
Christmas.
use it
But when
for.
she does,
So
you bet your butt that
feel
she's
like
getting
Katie would
herself
like
a
this.
new car and her own condo without entitled man
Oh,
and entitled
yes, I love
girlfriend.
this purple wig.
Next
Keeping
we've got
this.
Officer in an airport. This didn't happen to me personally, but to a very close friend of mine on his way home to visit. My childhood best friend was coming home to visit from the military. He's
Okay,
stationed in San Diego.
this is
He had sent
my
me a text
diva
message
wig,
confirming
but it's like
that they had gotten back from
not
their
ideal,
5-month
honestly.
deployment.
I think I'm gonna get rid of
They had
it
been
because I
approved
need
for
to
some
get a
leave
better
time,
one.
and he had just bought a plane ticket home and would be coming home the next day.
Yes.
I just so happened
My
to be home on leave
Asana
myself, and
slash
so he asked me to
Umaru
come
wig.
pick him up from the airport. My friend
Good
hadn't
shit,
told his parents
keeping-
about the trip home,
Gonna
as he
cosplay
wanted
both
to
y'all
surprise them.
again.
My friend took his first flight, if I remember correctly, to Chicago, where he had about a 4-hour
Insanely
layover.
long Raftelia wig that
He wanted to surprise
needs
his family in
to
uniform.
get
So he
washed.
decided to bring his recently pressed and cleaned dress whites in his travel garment bag. When he landed in Chicago, he knew he had time to kill. So
Black
he decided to
wig
get some lunch and find his
needs
gate so
washing.
he'd be ready for his next
Yeah.
flight. He got himself comfortable at his seat by the gate and struck up a conversation with a Marine who had just graduated boot camp from Paris Island and was on his way
Is he
home
Yuri
to
wig?
visit his family. Now, my friend has been in the Navy for about 5.5 years and is a lieutenant.
I think I could get a better one if I want to
He asked
redo
what
her.
flight the Marine would be going on and found out they were both catching a flight to Minnesota. After a short amount of time
Another
talking,
black
he
wig.
asked the young Marine if he
Let's
would
see,
wash his
is
belongings
this?
so he could get changed into his uniform. The
Yeah, I
Marine
think I just need to
agreed,
wash
and my
this
friend got
one.
changed and quickly came back to his seat. As the flight
I
approached,
just need to
the
wash
flight
it.
attendants prepared to open the gate for passengers,
Ugh.
and Fred had
Got a lot of
ready
wigs to
board.
wash.
Military, more often than not, gets to board before
My
other
original
passengers,
02
so we
wig
stood
that
close to the
definitely
front
needs washing
He
because I
notices
used
a
it on
well-dressed
the
man,
Lolly
and
02 and it
seems
has
to be
red
his
all
wife,
over it.
arguing with the flight attendant at the counter about the first class seats that were
Oh, this
available.
is
There were three
actually the
available,
original
and a couple
02
wanted to
wig
catch an earlier
that
flight.
was kind of
The
meh,
attendant said
honestly.
they had to wait until all
I'm gonna get rid of
passengers
this.
scheduled on the flight were boarded, then they could give them the seats. The man became
Okay.
very angry and began to raise his voice to the attendants. After some back and forth arguing, the wife
My
noticed my
super
friend
long
and immediately storms up to him.
white
"Lady,
wig. I
are
really
you
like
really
this
going
wig,
to
so
let
I'm
your
gonna
flight
keep
attendants
it.
treat us like this? Do people know who we are?" My friend
I'm
was
gonna get rid of
confused
this
about
white
what she
wig
was
because it's
asking
kind of
him,
cheap.
considering he was wearing an all-white
And then I'm gonna
uniform
keep
and the
this one
pilots had a
because
white
it's
top and white
my
pants.
trad wife
My
wig.
friend, "Ma'am, I can't help you."
Yay, we
I
went through
know
all
you
of the
think I am.
wigs.
The woman scoffs. "Of course I know who you are. Do you think I'm stupid? It's your plane.
Okay,
You
so I'm
decide
keeping
who
a lot
boards."
of them.
My friend,
Most of them need to
"Ma'am,
get
I'm not
washed.
a pilot, and even if I was, I don't think that's how it works." "Don't lie to me.
Maybe I'll do
I
that
know
later
you're a
today.
pilot. You're wearing the darn uniform."
To wash them, basically, I need to like fill up a bathtub with hot water and shampoo, let it
These are
soak in there
shoulder
for a
boards,
little
and
bit,
it means I'm an
add some like
officer.
fabric
It doesn't
softener,
necessarily mean I'm a pilot.
and then
At this point,
a bunch
the
of
man
conditioner, and then I
finally
gotta
gave up
like
trying to argue with the flight attendants and noticed
spray
that his wife
them
was arguing
with
my friend.
like
He
baby
realizes
powder,
that his wife is
and I
mistaking my
gotta
friend for someone he's not, and interjects
fix
into
him
the
up.
conversation, attempting to calm his wife down. This is simply making her more irate as she now starts
But for the
shouting
ones
at
that
my
I'm not
friend.
gonna wash,
My friend,
guess I'll
I
put
don't
them
know
back.
why you're getting angry at me. You initiated the conversation and made yourself look dumb. How dare you talk to me like that?
By the way, I have a hat stand. That's what I use to keep my wigs on. It works really well if you have like a fuck ton of wigs,
Man, where
because
did
you
go?
can like stack them and it
Woman.
keeps the
No,
shape.
forget
Because
you.
I used to
I'm
hang
not
them up
dressed in
and
this
it,
punk talk down to me.
they would just
What's your
lose all their
boss's name?
shape if I had like
want to know
styled
right
them
now.
or whatever.
My friend doesn't
So,
hesitate
I
to
find
pull
this
out
to be
his
the
skipper's
best.
contact card and says, "Here's the number to his office. Tell him Lieutenant says hello." By this point, she had her phone out and was dialing the number when security showed up. Security told my friend to go ahead and board so he would not miss his flight. As he walks up to the counter, the flight attendant says to him that they've upgraded his flight to first class, free of charge. My friend asked if they could do the same for the young Marine that was boarding with him.
There's only like
The
4
attendant
I'm not
agreed
washing.
and announced on the intercom
Oh,
to thank
5,
them
just
for their
me.
service and congratulate them with the upgrade to first class. My friend said the look on the woman's face was priceless as they walked through the gate. Instant karma for a horrible person. Next we've got Entitled Bus Driver. Okay, I know the title might have caught you a little off guard
I'm gonna put
because
this
normally it's the bus
Tanya on
drivers who
top
save
of
the day.
it.
But
Actually, I'm gonna use
I
reading,
think
so I'm gonna put it
today
on top of the pink
she
one.
was the enemy. Characters. We've got me. We've got
It's
Entitled
gonna
Bus
fall
Driver.
off otherwise.
We've got Chris, friend. Not
Okay.
his real name, just a nickname.
Wigs.
We've got Josh, another friend, nickname. We've got Alyssa.
Wigs
We've got
out of the
Elsie,
way.
And we've got
All
Teacher's
right.
Pet. He comes in near the end.
Hats
So, little
on
backstory.
here.
Me and my friends usually take the bus
Keychain.
home from school.
The
We
jackets. I
always
should
have the
probably
same
put the
bus driver
jackets
every time, and most of the time she's chill. But today, I
somewhere
guess it was different.
else.
Yeah, she said to tell us to keep it down and be quiet. But we're teenagers. We're gonna be loud anyways. But now into the story. It was a normal day, and
I'll think
Elsie
about
and
it.
Alyssa's stop was coming up.
I'm gonna set the jackets
So
down
Alyssa
for
got
right
up.
now.
Elsie was already standing and went towards the door. Then Elsie went behind her, and Chris was walking towards them, I believe to sit down in their spots. He then took a misstep and stumbled forwards. I grabbed him for a
I'm trying to think
moment,
of what I should
then
put the
let go
wigs in.
because I thought Josh had got him. Chris lurched forward because of the bus stopping and slammed into Elsie, who then
I wanna
had
put it-
Alyssa
Let me
causing
find a
her to fall
paper
over.
bag.
I was in shock and was hoping she was okay, and then the bus driver yelled, "Entitled Bus Driver. That's it. I'm reporting you. Transit security are going to be on the bus again on Monday. I've had it with you guys always causing trouble. Literally, just us being a bit too loud. I got it all on video too, so I
Okay.
can prove it." With
Paper bag.
just sitting there in shock. She then turned to
Putting
me
all of the wigs
and
I'm getting rid of in
"Can I have
here.
your first and last name along with your TransLink, bus service company. You know they're considering getting rid of this bus because of you. You'll all be walking home.
Because of you? Yes, you
because
specifically.
you can't shut down a whole bus route because of one little accident. I considered telling her it was an accident, but I didn't want to get into a fight and possibly kicked off the bus. And Goose was returning to the valley once more. So I'm kind of conflicted if she was entitled or just mad. Your opinion? How I became manager of my store. I started working at a cell phone store back in 2015 and quickly learned how to sell and became one of the best sellers in the company. I worked with several people at the store, one of which was the manager in question, who I will refer to as Jerk from here on out. So, Jerk could not sell to save his life. He was absolutely terrible and walked even some of the easiest sales. He also tried sabotaging a lot of my sales because I was performing and he wasn't. Some time goes by, and I was learning operations of the store and became the assistant store manager. After about a year there, another company bought them out. Authorized retailer, for those who know what that is, and cut our commission pretty hard. Several of us jumped ship and worked at a different carrier. Meanwhile, Jerk is still working for the company and slowly working his way up. He managed a couple smaller stores for a while. In this time period, I worked several different jobs, including some wireless sales and then car sales. After realizing I was making more money at a cell phone store, I was at a bad dealership. I called up the district manager and got to talking with him. At this point, there was a different but equally as terrible manager in the store. I sat down with both of them one day for lunch and hashed out what it would take for me to come back. This district manager had also promised me management before he left.
Let me see if the bathtub is empty, and I'm gonna put all these wigs in the bathtub.
For a month or two, the manager had been moved to another store, and I was the temporary manager. So after doing that for about a month, they brought in Jerk. Now,
I forgot that's the room I stored the bed in.
He is an arrogant guy whose parents pay for the majority of his bills. He is super entitled and can never be wrong. He will openly mock you on your intelligence in front of everyone because he sees himself smarter than anyone in the room, even though he was probably one of the dumbest. If you tried to correct him on a sale, he would yell at you in front of everyone. He believes he is God's gift to Earth. After they brought him in, I was still running everything in the store. I was training every new employee, doing all of the store operations, etc. I was making it well known with upper management that I was actually the one running the store and was responsible for its performance.
I don't really want to put them in a plastic bag though, because it's gonna like
paycheck,
fucking make them all
bragging how
staticky.
he is running the best store in the company and that it's all him. But over half of the numbers the store put out were mine. I was single-handed hitting the metrics for him to reach bonus. Now enter my friend. My friend can sell just as well as I can, and Jerk was very threatened because he thought we were coming
see if I
after
can make
his
room
job,
in the bathtub.
which we were, of course, because he is a jerk. So he decides he is going to try everything he can to get us fired. He was writing us up for the dumbest little things, and eventually he ended up getting my friend fired. He had all the other employees write statements for a verbal altercation my friend got in with the customer. He then was asking the other employees to try to get me to look at their statements. It was very obvious what was going on, because 3 different people were being persistent on trying to get me to read these statements. One coworker in particular was responsible for reporting my friend to HR, which got him fired, and she was now helping him go after me. Keep this in mind for later. After I refused, he just decided he was going to tell HR I did anyways. So I was pulled in the back by Jerk and my district manager and was told I was being investigated for sending my friend the confidential statements, which I didn't, of course. They spent about a good couple hours reviewing cameras, trying to catch me taking a picture of the screen, which they didn't find. So at the end of it all, I made some room, and they had no proof of me doing anything wrong. There were other little incidents that I knew were traps to try and get me in trouble, but I didn't fall for any of them. I did everything by the book. I covered my butt with every little thing I did, since I had a target on my back. I knew it was a matter of time until one of us was going to go, and I decided it was going to be him. For about 3 months, I sat and I watched every little thing he did. He didn't know it, but I had a log of every infraction he made, most of which nothing was big enough to get him fired. Then he started making some very big mistakes. He was disappearing for several hours on the clock. One day, he left for 6 hours to help his girlfriend move while still on the clock. I waited until the pay period was over to make sure he didn't submit a time adjustment. Strike one. The next was he was letting customers out the back door. We have traffic counters on our doors, and part of the way he got paid was close rate to traffic. This was now commission fraud, as his numbers were inflated. Strike two.
LMAO.
The final blow was his dumbest move yet. A customer, about 2 months prior, had ordered a phone and never picked it up. Jerk then had a business customer come into the store looking for the same phone, which was just a $60 flip phone. He told the business customer that he would just give him one for free.
What?
He gave him the other customer's phone.
What?
So now he just stole from a customer. Strike three. The setup. After Jerk got done bragging about what he just did to me, because he thinks he is smarter than everyone, I immediately went to work. I finally was able to contact the customer. The customer just so happened to be the girl mentioned earlier, who was working with him to try and get me fired. The customer came in to pick up her phone. I made sure it was a day that the three of us were there.
Oh God, okay.
Of course,
I've done
he
it.
wasn't there.
I've done
The
it.
customer was elderly. He was in the hospital for almost
I've done
2
it,
months.
guys.
He has very well done himself now. As he tried
Fuck.
to figure out what to do to get out of the situation, I am in the coworker girl's ear.
Get
On
out.
how he gave it to another customer
Yeah.
for free.
Okay.
He then asked the girl to go in half
We
with
have a
him
waffle.
to replace the phone, which upset her. I convinced
I've
her
gotten
to HR since
all the
if I
wig's
did,
gone.
It could be considered retaliation.
We have
for
some
my
more room
getting
now.
fired.
To organize.
She called HR, and I told her that she could
Let me look and see what we're doing
this
next.
Since I was there for the whole thing. About 15
Yeah.
minutes later, I get a phone call from HR. I explained the whole situation to them, and they asked me if there was anything else they needed to know. Well, since you asked, and I just went down the whole list. I had added up all the time he stole from the company, the customers out the back door, as well as some other things. Now, Jerk is being investigated. This takes quite a bit of time. In that
Alright,
time,
we're
we
gonna
have
go
to get a
through
new district manager. The district manager's
the
first day
headbands
out of
and
store
ears
was
and
to
stuff.
fire Jerk. I
Because
immediately
this
text
needs
Jerk
to
and go,
happen, as you
"Dang,
can tell.
what happened, man?
I have
You
too
got
many.
fired." As if I had no idea what happened. It then went off on me.
I have
and
more,
telling
by the
me
way. This
I'm
isn't
a
it.
jerk, and he knows I reported him, blah, blah, blah. It was so sweet to have beat this entitled jerk. I got into the new district manager's ear about the position and immediately assumed the operational responsibilities again. The best part was earlier Jerk told me there is no way I'd go from a rep to a manager at that store. Top tier store. I'd have to start at a lower store. Well, guess what? Not only did I get him fired, about 2 weeks later, I get promoted to that top tier store. Last I heard, he went and worked at some cell phone kiosk before taking a retail job at
There's more.
I later fired the girl who was trying to help Jerk get me fired. She was still trying to get me in trouble, so she put a target on her back. I was able to fire her with cause eventually. I also fired her dumb friend for theft. I was the manager there for about 2 years and finally got out after they kept lowering commissions time and time again, working at a much better place now. Next we've got, no, your kids do not get to play for free. For context, I live in New Zealand and people here tend to be pretty chill. So when this happened, it was like, what? So, background. I work a couple of part-time jobs, and one of them is at a kids' playground /
Let me see if there's
theater.
any more. There
We
might
run
be.
live shows, Muppet style, and have a custom-built
Oh.
playground outside. Now, important things to note. 1, we charge $15 for tickets to the show, and then with that, kids can play on the playground. 2, if you are not seeing a show, we charge $10 per kid to use the playground. Remembering this is a custom-built, one-of-a-kind job. Every kid that has been paid for gets a brightly colored wristband, so we know that they have been paid for. I've worked there almost since it opened in 2016, so I know the place very well. On to the story. This was a typical Saturday, and I was working the front desk selling tickets and giving out the wristbands when my colleague for the day, we'll call him Steve, walks in with the mother, entitled parent, and her 4 kids. Steve seemed a little bit stressed as he was new and quickly directed the entitled parent to me. The conversation goes as follows. Me. Hi, how can I help you today? Entitled parent. Yes, your staff here was very rude. Gesturing wildly to Steve. And he tried to stop my children playing. Me. Are you seeing our show today? Now
Yeah,
I can
found
see
more.
your kids don't have wristbands, but I'm asking anyways.
Guys.
No, we are just using the playground. Can we go now? This lady literally puts her hands on her hips
Hi, do you
and
need
glares
help?
at me as if I'm
Do you need
singularly
help?
responsible for all her problems. Me.
Goodbye.
I'm sorry. If you're just using the playground, there's a $10 charge per person. I see you have 4 kids, so would you like to purchase 4 bands? Entitled parent, gasping like a fish. What do you mean there's a charge for the playground? It's a playground. There are free ones down the road. Why should we pay? Me. At this point, I'm a little stunned. I'm sorry you feel that way. Our park is one of a kind, and some of our pieces took years to build. Well, I came here when it opened, and there wasn't any charge, so you should honor that. Okay, 2 things. 1, it has never been free here. 2, even if it was, that doesn't mean you get free after a
Okay, I
price
think I
is
got
changed.
everything.
Like, that ain't how business works.
Ooh.
Now, I know I said I was
I got
there
them all.
from the very beginning, but she didn't know that. That's strange. I've worked here since we opened, and there's always been a charge. Maybe you just forgot you paid. No, we didn't pay then, so we are not paying now. Do you understand? Then the entitled parent reaches across my counter and tries to grab a bunch of bands from my stock, which I quickly move out of the way. She then proceeds to shout in my face a whole bunch of stuff not worth repeating. But my favorite part was when she tried to act like I didn't speak English.
That's the most
I've
important
been
thing.
speaking with you for over 5 minutes in a very Kiwi accent. Like,
See,
what?
do I need this?
Anyways, it gets to the point
I don't
where
think
I'm
so.
done.
These are easy to
And
find
I'm
more
very
of,
run out
so.
of things to say.
Goodbye.
And I now have a line of parents and
to
kids
that one.
waiting to purchase wristbands like normal people.
These
Me.
this
In
bunny
that case,
ears
if you're
that I
not going to
made.
be buying any tickets? No, we are not. Me. I'm sorry we couldn't be of help. I say very cheerfully
Think I'm gonna
and
toss
with a
them?
big
'Cause
smile. Because soon, hopefully, she'll be
I've
gone.
never had a
I
chance
hope your
to
kids have
use them.
fun at one of the other parks you were talking about. The entitled parent splutters around for a bit when my
Antlers.
manager,
Don't
who had
need
been listening in
these.
from his office,
I've
sits behind
already
my
used
desk,
them.
customers can't see it, walks out. Entitled parent sees this as an
Same with
opportunity,
these antlers.
and I
I've
have
already
never
used
seen anyone
them.
get taken down so fast. My
I
manager
haven't
has
used these
terrible
though, so
customer
maybe I will
service
keep
skills,
these for this
so
year.
he usually leaves all of that to me, but clearly had had enough. Entitled parent. Your
Alright, I'll keep
staff has
these.
been. My manager loudly cuts in. I'm sorry. My staff has clearly explained everything to you
Bo
and has been treating
from
you with
Disney.
far more respect than
Keeping
you
these
deserve.
because I collect
You've
Disney
stated your
ears.
intention not to purchase anything from us, so I am now asking you
My
to not
ears
harass my staff
from my
anymore,
deer
and that you leave
video
the
I
site
did.
immediately.
I'm probably
Then
not
you
going
walked
to
out
be
again.
redoing
A
it,
little
so
annoyed.
gonna
He
get
just
rid of
laughed,
these.
But you can't win at everything.
But they were
Entitled
fun.
parents
They're
flutters
kind
for
of
a
falling
moment,
apart
then
though.
sees that Steve, who I might add is a big guy, has come back over
More
just
bow
in time for
ears.
the last part and is waiting arms
This is my
crossed for her
favorite.
to leave. She sends another glare and a few choice words about customer service and her
Keeping that one,
rights,
because
etc.
those the
But
costume.
eventually leaves.
Then we
Thank
have
God.
the ear or
Anyways,
the
I
eyes
was
for the
glad she
alien.
left. The next week,
from
I'm
the,
checking emails and stuff, and see that an anonymous
whatever
person
it's
sent
called.
a scathing email meant to be given to management that was about me and my
But yeah.
manager's inexcusable behavior. Clearly the entitled parent. But I'm in
Ears
charge of
that I
emails,
made.
so delete it.
Gonna get rid
Hopefully
of these
I'll never hear from
because
her
I
again.
like to
Next we've got
use
entitled mom drops
better
her kids
ears
off
than
on
this.
us at 2 a.m. This happened literally just last night, and I'm not mad, just kind of confused.
Okay, ears I will be keeping. The Dalmatian ears. I love these.
Since it was not even the crack of dawn.
These that I haven't I haven't gotten to wear for anything yet, but like,
This entitled
look at
mother
these.
is
These
our
are the
landlord's
coolest thing
explanation.
ever.
By
I'm
our,
very
I
excited
mean
to
my
do something
family.
with these.
Me, I'm 15. My sister, who's 17, and my mom, and 2
My
roommates.
Reptilia
She's still
ears,
hanging
obviously
around
not getting
because
rid of
the divorce papers
these.
still haven't gone completely through after a year, and now she wants
My
to
little
take everything of his.
Blue wolf
She has 2 kids.
fox
One's
ears.
a toddler, and the other is like 6. The
I
kids
love
didn't
these
actually
ones
come in the
too.
house, and we're just waiting.
I need to
in the
do a
car the
cosplay
whole
with
time.
those still.
2. The person she wanted to have
Some
babysitter
bunny
kids
ears.
was our basement roommate, who has been having
Some
manic
actually good
episodes for
bunny
days.
ears.
She's a vet with PTSD and was finally taken to the
Ah, it's making me
hospital
want
by
to
the
sneeze.
cops some 10
Yeah.
hours beforehand. We've got entitled
More
Mom.
wolf
We've got Mama.
wolf pup
We've
ears.
got roommate 1. Super nice dude, by the way. We've got
All the
roommate
good
2.
ears.
Hospitalized. And we've got
We've
the
got
So we
some
were all blissfully woken up by super loud knocking at the
horns.
front door at, when I checked my phone, 2 a.m. I knew my mom would go open the door and see what the heck
I'm
was
pretty
going
sure
on.
these are for.
So I just stayed in bed, not wanting to get involved, and tried to go back
Actually,
to
what
sleep.
cosplay are these for? I don't
Mom,
remember who
when
these
she
are like
opened the door,
actually for.
Hey, what's wrong?
But I got them because I
Come
figured
on
I could
inside.
do something with
Entitled
these, and I like
I
these
can't get
horns,
a hold of
so
Landlord. I've been
definitely
calling
keep
him,
the
but
horns.
not getting an answer. Is roommate 2 here?
The St. Patty's
Mom,
Day hat.
No, she's in the hospital. But let me see if
I
roommate
think I might get rid
1's
of this one. I can get a
Mom
new
went to
St.
knock
Patty's Day
on
hat.
roommate 1's door, and entitled Mom had followed directly
Cow
behind
ears.
her without letting her
I
know.
kind of want to
He's
get a better
banging
pair
on
of
his
these,
door.
but until then, I want
Roommate
to
1,
keep it.
what's going on? Mom.
Ooh, these
Entitled
bunny
Mom's
ears I
trying to
actually
get a
really
hold of
like
the
because they're
landlord.
like,
Roommate 1
they've
turning
got
to
the
entitled
bow
Mom.
and stuff. They're
Don't
really
you have his
cute.
phone
I
number?
like these.
Yeah, but I've called over and
Same
over
with these
and haven't
ones.
gotten an answer. Can
Even
you
though they're
call
not
him
super
for me?
realistic, these are good bunny
Roommate tried
ears.
to call him on his phone, but
Yeah.
got no answer. Maybe because it was 2 in the
Some
morning.
headphones that
Just
are
to get
dead.
home. Entitled Mom.
Getting
Well,
rid of.
can you guys watch my kids? I have to catch a flight, and I can't take
The
them with
classic
me.
e-girl cat ears.
No, I'm sorry. Why not? My
Oh, I
kids
got
are
one of
waiting
those.
in the car. Mom and roommate 1 shook their heads. All entitled Mom had to do was
Did you
look
come
around and see that the house was not fit for kids at all. Sharp edges and corners. The stairs leading to the basement were steeper than the plummeting rates of my cell. Barely safe for even a grown human. Plus, it was all too sudden. Entitled Mom. Well, what about roommate 2? Is she here? Roommate 1. No, she's in the hospital. It's just me, Mom, and her kids. Well, is she coming home tonight? I don't know if she's ever coming back. Landlord doesn't want her to come back on account of property damage. During her manic episodes, she
Alright.
got violent and broke a lot
We
of
have the
things.
CC
Entitled
ears.
Mom asks for the details about how she went to the hospital, and roommate
Keeping
1
these
and Mom
guys.
give them to her. Well, just so
Ah.
you know,
My
Landlord
little
is having an
Halloween
affair
cat
with roommate
ears
2.
that I still need to
This was really
do.
random. Not
Maybe
sure
I'll
why
do
she
this
said
this
it.
year.
Maybe to make roommate 2 look bad. I'm also 99% sure
Do
they
they have these
weren't in a
little
relationship.
fuzzy ones?
Roommate 2 said some pretty bad things
I
about
don't know if I
Landlord
want to
during
keep
her
those.
episodes.
I'm gonna put those in the maybe.
Mom, why does it matter to you?
Ooh, these little
You're
devil
getting a
horns.
divorce.
I love these
Now,
little
could you be
devil
a little
horns.
quieter?
These are
My
good.
kids are sleeping. She insisted so
The
hard that we
02
babysit
horns,
our kids,
keeping.
and Mom and roommate 1 kept
A
trying to
little
pound some common sense into
nurse
her brain.
hat.
Until I guess she
Keeping.
finally realized it wasn't happening. and gave
Okay.
up.
All
Huffing
of
out the house.
these
I'm still not sure what entitled Mom was
flower
thinking.
crowns.
Showing up at someone's
Gonna
house
get rid
at
of.
2 a.m. with no warning and expecting them to gladly babysit your 2 kids for an indefinite amount of time and barely accept no as an answer. I'm just seriously confused, not even angry. And was she jealous of roommate
Doggy's
2
barking.
having a relationship with the man she was divorcing? Entitled Moms, honestly, just all kinds of wag.
Goodbye,
Next
flower
we've got,
crowns.
I want to file a complaint against her.
Okay.
So yesterday at work, it got pretty busy.
Another
I'm
pair
only
of
part-time,
ears that
so I
I'm
was only there
keeping.
for 5 hours, but I still have to take a 10-minute
Another
break,
pair of
no
ears
matter
that
how
I'm
busy it is.
keeping.
I'll stay to help get the line down if there is one, but once I clock out for my break, there's nothing I can do until it's over.
This is like
It gets to be
Rudolph
about
ears,
an
but
hour
they're
and a
like
half
from
before I
Dyso,
get
so
home.
they're really cheap
My
and new.
manager, who was my backup cashier, and I both had a line, but she told me to cut my
Some
line,
fox
finish the line
ears
I
that are
had,
kind of
and take my
meh.
break. Now, we have to clock out for our breaks, and to do that, we just
Some
put
devil
in our
horns that
user
are kind of
ID,
meh.
password, hit tab 5 times, then enter. Takes 10, maybe 15 seconds
I
to
have to
do.
fucking sneeze
I
again.
finish
What?
the last customer in
Why?
line and clock out. As soon as I hit enter, this dude rushes
No,
up to
door.
my register,
Or window.
throws his basket down, and starts to unload it. I say, I'm sorry, sir, but I just clocked out for my break. I can't help you. He gets all upset and throws his hands up. Come on, man. I just got over here. I was helping someone with balloons. But you're just going away like that? I apologize, and he walks away. I thought maybe he was just having a bad day. I go to the restroom, come back, and she still got quite the line. I felt bad about that, but what could I do? I was still on break. I jokingly asked, where'd all these people come from? And
Fuck.
that same dude
This shit's so
shouts,
dusty.
they came from you being on break.
Because it's all
I
fur.
laughed it off,
I guess it's not
which
dusty, it's
admittedly
just fur, but
may have
meh.
just upset him even more. Went to the
Some Tigger ears from Disney. Obviously keeping these. I love these.
3.5 hours by then.
Little bunny thing.
I was
No.
feeling well, and I had little sleep the night before. I then hear, "Where's your manager?" Lo and behold,
This little
it's
witch
that
hat.
same guy.
I think I'm gonna get rid
He
of.
then goes on to complain
They've
to my
already used
manager
it.
and say I'm unprofessional for turning him away and not checking him out. He then said, "And how do you feel with her sticking you with this
Bunny
line?"
ears.
Like, first of all,
Gonna
sir,
get rid of
it was
these.
slowish when I went on break. Secondly, I can't control how busy the store gets when I go
More
on said
bunny
break.
ears.
He just kept going on and on about how unprofessional I was. The whole situation was just absurd.
More bunny
Because, let's
ears.
be real, this guy was complaining to my manager and calling me unprofessional because I wouldn't bend the rules and bring
More
him
bunny
while off the
ears.
clock. How dare I make him wait in the line like literally everyone else in the store has to do. The best part? My break was over like 2
Rudolph
maybe
ears.
4 minutes after he left. Remember, my break was 10 minutes. When I went out
Red
there
bunny
to do
ears,
my
which I
job,
will actually be
got some
keeping
customers
because I
through
like
that
these
had seen
ones.
the whole thing. What did they have to say about it? Don't let jerks like that get you down. He made a
More
fool
bunny
of himself by
ears.
complaining because everyone else knew my register was closed. My light was off.
More
and none
bunny
of the other
ears.
customers had tried to come to my register.
I have too many
had
bunny
heard my
ears.
manager tell me to take my break. When he came to my register, he lost his place in line. Remember when I said my break
4th of
was
July
over
bow.
like 2 to 4 minutes after he left? Yeah, he would have been out of
Slytherin
there much
headband.
quicker had he just been patient
think I'll
and
keep
waited
this
in
one.
line, like literally everyone else in the store had to do.
Might redo that.
I didn't get in trouble because why would I? I did nothing wrong. My manager just told me to not let people like that
some
get to me,
just
which is sometimes easier said than
normal
done. But in this
e-girl cat
situation,
ears again.
given how odd it
Meh.
was, I found it pretty easy to just laugh it off. That's the first
Unicorn
genuinely rude
horn.
customer I've dealt with. The first complaint I've had, and of course, it was on
Cupid
Black Friday. Edit. A lot of people are concerned by me saying I have to clock out for my 10-minute
Little Bo
break.
Peep Bo,
Just
keeping
wanted to
that.
clarify that I do get paid for them. I just have to clock out for documentation purposes,
More
so they
Bo
can verify that I took my
something,
break.
I don't know.
Every employee has to do it, even the managers.
Maid
Entitlement
headband.
yanks my mom's prosthetic arm off. So this story takes
More maid
place somewhere in
headbands.
the late
Keeping all the
90s,
maid
early
headbands
2000s.
because they go with
Backstory.
cosplays.
My mom was in an accident when she was 14
Minnie
and lost
Mouse
her right arm.
ears.
She has about 1/4 of that arm
More
left
Minnie
that
Mouse
she
ears.
calls her stub. And to be honest,
Giraffe
the loss
ears.
hasn't done much to derail her. She
More
drives.
Minnie Mouse
She has
ears.
a joystick-esque thing, which
And
sticks out
the
the
exact
which
same
she turns
pair
on
of
when
Minnie
she's
Mouse
steering
ears.
the ship.
Another one.
She
I'm gonna
calls
get
it
rid of
her
this one
knob,
because I have
loudly and in
2.
public. She worked for a long time until she started having issues with the arm she does have, and she's generally been the person in the
Why is
family
there so much
to host
dirt
/ prepare
from this?
all events and do
Why?
all of the labor. Honestly, she's
Why?
my hero.
Okay.
You're here for the story.
Let me think.
So
Should I
here
keep
goes.
any of these?
Mom and I go to the supermarket at the
I
busy
think-
hours on the weekend because
if
we can't make our
anything-
usual after-school weekday trip when things were less
I want to
crazy.
keep these ones because
We
they
go
look like
around
teddy
the
bear
whole
ears.
parking lot twice, as do a row of cars behind us.
And then
And
maybe
we finally managed to
the
nab
white
a
ones.
disabled spot right by the entrance because someone was leaving as we
Yeah, we'll
approached.
do that.
Now, my mother rarely uses the disabled parking,
Okay.
even though she's permitted.
I think we got rid of like over half of that. I have to sneeze again. Oh my god.
But again, she is permitted, and
Why?
there weren't any other spaces. After we get out, we hear a car honk, followed by an "Excuse me," as a woman runs up from behind, catching us just before the entrance.
Bro,
to the
so many
store.
feathers and
This
shit.
woman literally left her car running in the middle of a busy parking lot, causing a
I'm
massive pileup. So, Karen, that's her name now,
Okay.
catches our attention with her shouting, and when we turn around, we're greeted with her "Can I speak to your manager?" haircut. 90s
Okay,
edition.
let's see.
And
I'm gonna
about
organize
half a
these
dozen
slightly.
kids
So we've got,
ranging
I'm gonna
from
put all the
tweens
Mickey
to a
bows in
toddler
an area.
Karen
separate
then goes on
area.
to explain how the spot my
Mickey
mom just parked in
bow.
is for disabled people
That
in an
one.
accusatory tone. My
That
mom was wearing her prosthetic arm underneath her long sleeve denim coat, overly big,
Okay.
so the
So
fingertips
this
of her
is the
prosthetic were barely
Mickey
visible.
ears.
So it was an honest mistake. Even though it was a little odd the way she had abandoned her car and ran up to us with her entire litter. Still, my mom smiles and proclaims,
Put all the
"Don't
maid
worry, I'm allowed to park
nurse
there." And
hat
we turned back
things.
around. That answer wasn't good enough for Karen. Suddenly, Karen and her
Things that
kids
go
are in
with
front of
specific
us, and she's
cosplays.
giving the toddler to another one of her kids, just so she can fold her arms and pout. "As you can see," she gestures towards her kids. I have a lot going on, and I need that spot more than you do. You only have one kid. Now, I must have only been 6 or 7, but even I know the difference between disabled parking and those spaces reserved for parents with a bunch of kids. I said something along the lines of, you need a disabled badge to park there. It doesn't matter how many kids you have. In my 6 or 7-year-old lingo, and this woman took major offense. She goes off on a major rant about how being a mother of all her kids was hard, how she was having an awful day / week /
Bitch,
month,
and we're supposed to care
and how
why?
it's unfair that my mom, who looked perfectly fine, had tricked the government into getting a badge that lets her park in a spot that Karen should obviously have instead. As she rambles about this, she looks around, garnering the attention of other shoppers, and is doing that "don't you agree with me" thing that people do to validate themselves, but never gave anyone a chance to respond, because she was already on to the next person. My mom grabs my hand and tries to lead me around Karen, ignoring her entirely.
Okay.
But Karen keeps stepping in front of my mom, demanding her spot. She's
I
getting
see.
incredibly annoyed / loud. I remember asking my mom several times if I had done something wrong, because my response seemed to have triggered this rant. But she kept reassuring me it was fine, and that I should just ignore her, which annoyed Karen even more. This goes on for about 5 minutes, a very long 5 minutes, before my mom finally snaps. I have one arm, silencing Karen mid-sentence. I used to wonder why she didn't just tell Karen the specifics earlier, but as I've grown up, I've come to realize that it wasn't anyone else's business, and I can see why my mom wouldn't want to take her jacket off, which is kind of a chore for her. And pop the
No, that'd be
prosthetic
so
just to
funny
prove
if she just
something.
pulled her arm
So
off.
we begin to walk
She has
around
like a
Karen
prosthetic
again,
and she's just
but
like,
barely make it 5 feet before we
prove
hear
to
her
me
name.
now that I'm not
Yes.
disabled.
What happens next is seared into my brain. Karen storms up to my mother and tries to grab her jacket, and
Oh
is
God,
just
is she-
shaking, calling my mother a liar, and my mother goes into full fight mode because physical altercations are obviously more intense / scary for her. She starts scratching, flailing, kicking, and even tries landing a headbutt on Karen.
Hell
And
yeah.
as she does this, one of Karen's kids attempts to jump in and help their mom,
Fuck
which
no.
leads to me jumping in to help mine, and suddenly I'm brawling with her kids. This couldn't have lasted longer than 30 seconds. It was enough time for people to stop and
Oh
gather,
my God, it's so
but not
funny.
enough for anyone to react / put a stop
Okay,
to it.
let's see.
I can't imagine what it must have looked like. 2 women in their 30s fighting as their kids do the same by them. But it all came to a stop when, somehow, Karen manages to yank my mom's denim jacket from her, and off pops her prosthetic with it, crashing to the ground
I was
and
waiting for
resulting
that.
in a universal gasp that shook the entire parking lot. Okay, exaggeration.
Alright, I'm gonna
But
hang
it
these
was
guys up.
definitely a moment. All that's left on my mom's arm at that point is the suction pad and sharp nail-like hook that slots into the prosthetic. It looks like a blade stretching out of her stub, and without missing a beat, my mom raises it to Karen, and in a sarcastic tone goes, "Come on, Ben." I wish I was old enough at the time to realize how hilarious that was. A woman from the crowd that had gathered around us stormed into our little fight circle and picked up my mom's arm and handed it to her, before going off on Karen, who looked smaller than 7-year-old me at that point. People start shouting to get security, etc., and Karen rallies her spawn, and they all run for her car. I still remember her kids yelling for me not to leave them, because only her oldest could keep up with her running away as the rest trailed behind. My mom was visibly shaken by the incident, but wanted to save face for me / the crowd that was suddenly hounding us. She insists she's fine, doesn't want the police, doesn't want the fuss,
Girl,
and
no,
we
call
go
the
about our
cops.
shop. When we go to the checkout about 20 to 30 minutes later, a few of the people that had witnessed the whole thing had gathered and insisted they pay for my mom's shop, which she reluctantly accepted. Then they helped us take all the groceries out to the car, and when we get home, my mom tells me she doesn't want me getting into any fights ever again. Then she lets me have way too many donuts. P.S. To clarify, my mom absolutely cannot stand having her one arm restrained in any way. Grabbing her wrist or hand is a huge no-no. It freaks her out, and all logic goes out the window. Please don't think too poorly of her getting quick to anger in this situation, because she honestly is the most level-headed
fuck would
and
think
sweetest
poorly
person
of her in that
any other
situation?
circumstance. Questions. Did Karen get arrested? No, the police were never called. Why didn't your mom hit her with the prosthetic? Probably didn't think of it at the moment. This was 20 years ago. She's perfectly fine and never wears a prosthetic anymore. I love your mom. Me too, Reddit. Me too. Next we've got Disowning Entitled Mom. Hey y'all, it has been one hot second, or a few months, since I posted an update with the entitled mom situation. So here
I've changed my mind. I don't want to hang them where I was hanging them. I feel like it's not really the best thought. Let me hold it.
We've got sister, dad, and an entitled mom. My dad finally laid it down to entitled mom that he's filing for divorce. She's not happy at all. She's been fighting it and fighting it, and really, I'm just done with it all. So here's some of the things entitled mom has done that have made me want to punch the wall like JD and Heather's multiple times.
I'm just bringing the whole
entitled mom has refused,
whole
and I
drawer
mean
out here.
refused to pay for anything anymore.
This is the tail
She'll only
drawer.
buy food for herself and won't spend a dime on anyone else. Not
We're
my
gonna
other
use it
sister,
for everything.
who is honest to God trying to keep entitled mom.
Let's go
in
through
her
the
life,
tails.
but is pretty much done with entitled mom.
We have the tail
Entitled mom will
for
steal our food
the
that my
wolf
dad buys
ears.
for us and him because, well, I still live here, so what can you do? My aunt, bless her soul, is entitled mom's sister. Yes, she can be an entitled aunt sometimes, but she's working on being better than her sister. Entitled mom has told my aunt that her job is to bow her head and say yes ma'am to
Other
entitled
kitty
mom.
tail.
Let me repeat, my aunt, entitled mom's sister, should
Bunny
bow her
tail
head
that
to
I don't
entitled mom
like.
and
Bunny
take what
tail
she
that
gives
I
her.
do like.
What the heck? Not cool.
Piggy tail.
Entitled mom lied to my dad and told him that
Deer-
my sister told
deer
her that
tail
she
that
wants
goes with the
entitled mom
ears.
to have full custody of her. Why? Entitled mom wants child
Kitty
support.
tail.
My dad has told her on multiple occasions that he will
Another
not
kitty
be paying
tail.
her for 2 decades any sort of alimony or child support.
Wolf tail.
On that note, entitled mom believes she deserves alimony
Fox tail
because
that goes with the
she
ears.
gave up her schooling to have kids, which is just insane.
A bonnet.
That's a
I don't need a
sacrifice
bonnet.
you decide to make when you marry and want kids.
Bunny
You don't
tail.
go claiming your kids
Bunny
for it,
tail.
but she has
Bunny
multiple
tail.
times. She also
Cow
believes
tail.
she's entitled to alimony
Tights?
because, well, she's
Weird.
poor and needs the help. Newsflash: she makes 40 grand a year. She's not poor. She's greedy and selfish. Entitled mom tried to tell my dad that he has to control me. A 19-year-old who has done nothing wrong.
Okay.
Why did she tell him this? Because I was trying to
Alright, so I'm gonna pull all the
that if
tails
she didn't
and
get her
everything that I'm
paperwork
keeping
that
in
proves
this drawer.
she's taking her classes for the divorce, she could be fined a lot of money. And she didn't like it that I tried to warn her. She's crazy. Entitled mom tried to tell me that if I ate any cookies that my maternal grandmother had made for me, I owed her a hug. So I, being fed up with her BS, told her,
What?
no, I won't. Why? Because I don't consider you a mother. Real mothers wouldn't do what you were doing to us. So now you're going to leave me alone and respect my boundaries. And surprisingly, she did. I was shocked too. Entitled mom wanted to claim my sister for taxes this year and next. With the agreement, she gets next year while my dad gets this year. My
What?
dad told her multiple times that he wouldn't give it to her. Finally, it got through her thick skull that whatever he gets back in taxes is going to a China trip that my sister gets to go on. She left him alone after that. I have heard entitled mom tell my dad she loves him and cares about him while mocking him in the same setting. I wanted to vomit too. It's okay. The last thing that is worth noting is entitled mom has been stealing from my dad and I. How is this possible, you may ask? OP, why are you accusing entitled mom of such? Well, my dear and fellow Redditors, let me explain everything. Entitled mom told my dad that she had gotten her own car insurance and was paying accordingly. Just a few weeks ago, did my dad find out that
All of the normal ones are in there. I think I am gonna hang these on the wall, but I need to get more hooks for
she's
them.
also been withholding rent money from him, which half belongs to him. When he points it out, she waves it off
I'll
as,
just put them on top
that's
for
how I
now.
am able to pay my portion of the bills. Shut up. Now you may be wondering, OP, but how is entitled mom stealing from you? Well, when I first started driving and got my own car, entitled mom told me my car insurance was X amount of dollars. So for nearly 2 years, I was paying X amount of dollars.
Why was she the
When
one
my dad
paying your
went to
car
look at the car
insurance?
insurance, he noticed something. My car insurance was less than what I had been told. Entitled mom had told me that my insurance was X amount, and I had never questioned it because she said something
Why?
about it being new drivers cost more. So I didn't pause to question it. No, it turns out she's a greedy little jerk. who just wanted to steal from
Did
her
you
own
not already
daughter's
know
hard-earned
this
money
information?
because she has an extravagant lifestyle. But thankfully, my dad is an honest man who won't steal or take money without good reason, and he'll genuinely pay me back when he can. Entitled mom is just entitled, and it's okay because she's going to be moving out this month. Yippee. As a final note, I've disowned her. To me, I call and refer to her, and have done so to her face by her first name. I refuse to acknowledge her as my mother, and when I talk about her, I'll often refer to her as either entitled mom, her first name, my dad's soon-to-be ex-wife, or my biological mother.
Okay, let me
Thanks
grab
for
another
reading,
box of
if you did.
tissues
Next
and
we've got, you don't need 3 laptops. So, this
we'll
is
put
my
these
first
in
time
another
hosting
bag.
here, because I usually stay inside and avoid middle-aged men and women at any cost to avoid BS. This Friday, though, I had to man Black Friday because my family decided that my staying in the state and celebrate Thanksgiving with my significant other after a full shift at home meant I had to do their chores to make up for my lack of love towards them. Even though they don't celebrate Thanksgiving, and we're going to celebrate 2 of my brother's belated birthdays. So, on to Black Friday. The oldest of my brothers turned 12 and wants a laptop for his birthday.
Okay.
Mom asked me to look into, then asked me to go to Black Friday shopping and pick one out for her because she's out of state. Fine, whatever. I need one anyway. I busted my last one and it seemed like a good idea. So I kiss my significant other goodbye Friday morning and head off to Best Buy. Holy crap, guys, I had never seen a store so packed. I made my way to the laptops,
Not for Flopsy.
prices and specs with my limited knowledge and whatnot. Eventually, I found a laptop for $160.
Okay,
It
run
seemed
away with
like
it
it
though.
would be good for its weight. So I FaceTimed Mom and showed her the one on display because I had grabbed the very last one. She was iffy about
Let me clean the
and told
floor
me
really
she'd
quick.
sell me the money. So I took it as an opportunity to look for mine. I found a huge stack of Lenovo Chromebooks a few feet away for just $10 more. And I was like, heck yeah. I FaceTimed my mom and showed her those. While I waited for her to pick up, some lady came up to me and asked, did you already buy that? Remember, I had the very last one in my arms and may or may not even take it. So I figured I'll tell her not yet. She walked away and Mom picked up. She seemed content with the Chromebook, and my stepdad asked me to grab the first one for one of his other kids. I say okay, and now have 3 laptops in my arms. Once I pay, I grab my stuff and head for the door. The lady saw me and stepped in front of me and asked if I had ended up leaving the laptop and where. I let her know I actually took it, apologized, and walked away. Once outside, I realized the lady was following me. This isn't word for word, but basically, excuse me? Yes? Did you buy 3 laptops? Yeah. Nobody needs that many. I know, but sometimes I want to watch shows on one, listen to music on another, and on the third I do homework. She didn't like this, and I just wanted to catch her off guard long enough to get to my car. I'm looking for one for my kid.
Talk
There's a couple
shit,
Chromebooks
cunt.
left in there. If you hurry, you'll be able to get one. No, I wanted the blue one. His favorite color is blue, and I want to give it to him for Christmas.
Again, tough
Well,
shit.
I bought it, and I'm giving it to my stepdad, and the other is for my little brother, and I really do need the third one for school, so I can't see myself returning any of them for you to buy. Sorry. Just tell your stepdad you couldn't get it. Give it to me.
Bitch, it's already been bought.
He opened it with me and he knows I already paid for it. He had it, but I needed her off my back. You have no proof it's yours if I take it. Besides, my son needs it more than you do.
So loud.
Yes I do. They're under my Best Buy credit card. Not to mention, the warranty is under my name. And you don't know how much I need it. I'm trying to finish my degree and have a full-time job. I'm not out there trying to take other people's stuff because I'm too entitled to work for it. She huffed and went back inside, and finally I made it to my car. A bit anticlimactic, but it was my first time dealing with someone who thought that I had to give them something of mine just because. Next we've got, knowing the cashier doesn't mean I work here, lady. For a little background, I used to work in
I
fast
feel
food
like I want
at
to
Golden
meet a
Inn
Karen in
for
real
a few
life.
years before taking on
I would have
my
such a
office
fun
job.
time.
During my 4 years at the Golden Inn, I worked with a guy who I'll call James, not his real name. James worked in the kitchen while I was in the drive-thru. He and I got along great as coworkers and friends until he left for a better fast food place. The Way of the Submarine. At my local hospital about a year before I left the Golden Inn myself. My girlfriend and I went to the hospital to visit her sick mother. After some good quality time, I called the taxi to pick us up. I figured it would be about 20 minutes before they arrived, so I might as well grab a sandwich for dinner to save the cooking. What happened was a sight to behold. Seeing there is only one customer ahead of me, that meant that I should have plenty of time to get my sandwich made, paid for, and be outside waiting for the cab with a good amount of time to spare. My girlfriend wasn't hungry, so she decided to wait for the cab, just in case it showed up while I was still inside. As I start thinking about my order, I notice that it's James working tonight. I give a mental sigh with relief, as I know I'll get my sandwich right with him making it. James spots me walking in. Hey, OP. Me. Hey, James. The usual? You got it. Sure thing. Just let me finish with this customer, and I'll be right with you. Me. Take your time. I've got a taxi to wait for anyway. Things start to go smoothly. The one customer ahead of me, a lady who was in her early 40s, being called Karen for obvious reasons to come, is just about to pay for her order when she tells James about a survey offer she has on her phone as a screenshot to get something for free. I didn't fully hear what it was, but I think it was a soda. Hearing it was on her phone, I could already tell where this was going. I know I didn't work at the Way of the Submarine before, but I had seen similar issues come up at the Golden Inn before, and figured the concept there was similar. Turns out I was right. James. Well, do you have the physical copy of the receipt with the survey code? No, I don't. That's why I have the screenshot from the survey on the site. At this point, when I hear her voice, I felt it was vaguely familiar, but couldn't figure where at that moment. James. I'm sorry, I can't accept that survey code without the physical receipt. Store policy. That's not true. I was able to do it before without the receipt. I'm sorry for the confusion. However, whoever accepted that survey code without receipt wasn't supposed to do that. That is ridiculous. I did the survey, and I decided for my free soda. Ma'am, perhaps you might still have the receipt in your purse or wallet. If you have it with you, I'll be glad to ring in your free soda. Without it, my hands are
Remind
tied.
me to check my phone again around in like an hour so I can hang out with my dad.
Hearing this and being a full witness to this ridiculousness, I give James a subtle nod. I wasn't sure if he caught it until I saw the slight smile. James proceeded to write down my cell number and gave it to her. There you go. Now then, was there anything else you'd like, ma'am? Yes, the free soda that you owe me. James. Ma'am, again, I cannot do that without the receipt. Why the heck not? Me, wanting to give James a break from the crazy. Hey James, want me to explain? James gives me a smile. By all means. Me. Ma'am, he needs the physical copy for his records. It also ensures that the code is only used once. Taking a picture of the receipt doesn't change the fact that the receipt could have been used before. James nods in agreement to confirm. Are you trying to say I'm trying to cheat the survey to get an extra soda?
Yes.
She was getting very angry, and I then recognized her as one of my problematic customers from the Golden Inn. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just giving you a hypothetical scenario. Given you know so much, and how you two know each other, you must be the manager. I want him dealt with right now. Me. Ma'am, I'm not the manager. I don't even work here. Also, he's my close friend, so of course we know each other. Then why do you know all of this? I worked at the Golden Inn and had a similar policy. Fine. I'll be calling your manager and getting you in trouble at your work.
Bitch.
Me. By all means, go for it. Feel free to ask them if they miss me there. Miss you? You just said you worked there. Right. I worked there. I don't anymore. Then tell me where you work. Right now. I don't feel comfortable with telling you that. James. Ma'am, if you keep harassing them, I'm going to have to ask you to leave the store. Karen takes off in a huff, paying for her sandwich and leaving the hospital. I sighed softly and turned to James, who also sighed, though his sigh was with relief, while mine was annoyance.
Okay.
Sorry you got roped into that.
Let's go through
No
the
worries,
props.
I don't mind. About the number though, please tell me you don't mind. James, you know it. The two of us had a good laugh at this. I told him that should the actual manager get a call, I'm more than willing to be a witness to defend him. He appreciated it and started to make my sub. Unfortunately for me, it was at that
Yo, I
moment
found
the
more
taxi
wigs.
arrived. I didn't
Shit.
get my sub, but I managed to help my
Fuck, I
friend
found more
out of the
wigs.
jam. And
Oh,
that's
God damn
more
it.
important. Next we've got Great Aunt Katie, was not so great. Great-grandma developed Alzheimer's and a slew of other health issues, and as she lived near only a few family members, her daughter Katie was with her care. Katie was always super entitled growing up, and even in her 50s, acted like more of a kid than I did at 10 to 12. She let Gigi live with her for a short period before telling the family she's getting too hard to care for, so I'm going to set up a nursing program, which we later found out meant she was pawning her off on a nursing home. Gigi had a pretty decent amount of wealth compared to the rest of the family, as we were barely middle class.
I hope YouTube doesn't get mad at me for all my fake weapons.
Katie had her sign of power.
I'm gonna try to not just brandish them, but this is they're fake, okay? Every single thing here is fake.
She also had a farm and a few different assets that totaled like $800,000. Katie was super helpful, or so we thought, by taking note of all Gigi's wishes for their belongings, since she was getting worse so fast, and she wanted to be sure everything went where she wanted it. She began sending out things to her kids and herself, alongside a few of her favorite family members. She then began moving money to bank accounts and spending a lot for things Gigi needs at her home for when she was healthy enough to leave the nursing program. Obviously, that never happened. While the whole family is trying to get funds to fly out in turns to help take care of Gigi and say her goodbyes before it was too late, Katie was saying her goodbyes to all of Gigi's belongings. As she pawned or stole them, she drained Gigi's bank accounts and started taking spa trips to handle the stress of watching Gigi pass and just generally living the high life.
The sword that I fought a child for?
The house was barren and her accounts matched pretty well. Gigi was so glad to see her family and said that she hasn't seen Katie. She didn't remember Katie's name, but called her something, I don't remember what. She kept saying she was lonely and just wanted to go home to her husband, who's no longer alive. Siblings call each other, and Katie says Gigi was just forgetting her, and she came every 2 or 3 days to visit.
I'm gonna leave the super real looking guns
she had a lot
in the
nicer
closet
things than she should have based on her minimal income, and got suspicious. The next few weeks were a crap storm.
Let me pull up
The
YouTube
siblings
so I can
called
see
to
chat.
cancel the credit cards / bank cards and found them nearly empty or maxed out. The farm had been listed for 2 weeks, but didn't have money offers yet and wasn't sold. Katie ran for it. She hasn't been to visit Gigi in months for anything but to trick her into giving power of attorney and to give her access to her bank and stuff. She pilfered
Do I have
all
a
her
nice
jewelry
video
and
stream?
everything of value. She then disappeared into the night, probably knowing the family wouldn't
aside from
hesitate
the
to
ones
press
that are
charges.
currently there.
A police report was filed, but nobody saw
We
her
have
family again. Gigi
our
found out what happened
first
when one of the kids,
combat helmet.
slipped up, and she was
I don't know
heartbroken.
why I'm a
Not only
giant
did
sucker
Katie
for
betray
combat
her, but the
helmets.
knickknacks she spent
Why are
most
they
of
so
her life
attractive
collecting
to me?
didn't get to the family members
I have a
she
problem.
wanted them to go to.
Anyway,
She passed away a few
camo
weeks later
version.
and wept every day from what she found out. Sadly, nobody ever caught Aunt Katie.
Tactical
and Gigi never got
version.
justice. But I hope somewhere out there she is suffering alone like she deserves.
Also, these are real, by the way. These are actually from military supply stores.
Gigi revoked power of attorney and cut Katie out.
This is not, though.
That Katie made her sign along with.
But I love gas masks,
Gigi
too.
left me like $1,500. I used it the same year to buy my immediate family Christmas presents that year because we were broke.
I love my military gear. It's so fun. Anyway.
My dad's work burned down, and his inheritance went to
Oh,
keep
yeah.
us clothed, fed, and homed. Last
This
bit
fucking
was
corset.
unrelated, but I
It's
wanted
really
to be sure
cute.
to show not everyone is like
Look,
so
it's
great
super
Aunt
fucking
Katie.
cute, but also look.
Entitled Mom and Dad don't know movie theater etiquette.
Look how
This
tiny.
story begins at my
I
local
am really
movie
small.
theater.
Who the
I've been
fuck
working
fits
at
in
movie
this?
theater for almost 2 years, and I've
Is
had
this
my
for a
fair share of
child?
entitled
No, I'd hope
etiquette.
not.
Unfortunately, this
Anyway,
story will
getting rid of
include
that.
a couple with 5 kids. Let's begin.
I have extra
I
random
was in
hair
the
extension.
shift,
Can
and
I get
was
rid of
working
that?
as Super
Wait.
Usher.
Ooh.
As Super Usher, I have to check
I
every
think
theater
this
to make sure
is-
the movie is playing fine and everybody is being nice and quiet. Soon I enter our second largest theater
What wig is
and
this
Frozen
for?
2 is playing.
I don't know.
Any
There's a brand new wig,
movie
so
to kids
this is for
is gonna be
Miku.
messy and loud no matter what. There was
This-
a complaint that a certain family was being louder than usual. I head in there expecting
I
excited
don't know what I
kids
was getting those
and
wigs
have to
for. They're
ask
for
the
something.
parents/guardians to calm them
This
down.
wig,
Not
it's
this
just like a
lovely
hat
bunch.
wig.
We've got entitled dad,
So I can, like-
entitled mom, And the kids will
Put a hat on and it has hair in it.
along with me.
Quick disguise.
Me whispering towards the family. Hi, I'm gonna ask you to calm down your kids. They're being a tad too loud.
It's like a purple and pink wig.
Come on. Everyone else is being loud and rowdy.
Oh, this is a wig I was gonna use for Rimuru, but then it was not what I wanted. It's the wrong color. But I really like it still. And then this is just random like clip-in extensions from when I had dark hair and G'day.
If you have to take them out of the theater for a second to
Don't
calm
need
them down,
you.
entitled Dad. Listen,
Okay.
tell us how to control our kids. They are perfectly fine as is.
These wigs, I guess,
I'll
I'll just...
now.
Actually, I'll take them out.
Not
Not the house, I'll leave that one. But I'm gonna take these guys out of their
I don't think you are
nets
understanding me.
and
You
hang
have
them
to
up.
calm your kids down, or I will ask you to leave. They are being too distracting to the rest of the people.
It's also
in
too
the
short for
theater,
a room.
and it is a problem. This is your last warning. After saying this, the oldest kid, boy number 5 in this case, grabs rat number 1 from standing on the seat, trying to calm them down. What the parents should have done in the first place. Entitled Dad didn't like that I threatened them with removal of the
Ooh,
auditorium.
it's like a split dye. Ooh, this one's cool.
If you even try
What?
to keep me
This
or
is
my
super
family
cool
out,
looking. Wait,
I'll
what the
get you
fuck? I need
fired
to
within
use
one
this.
day. Alright, then. I leave the theater to go fetch
Look
our
at this
police
wig!
officer on
This is
duty.
super
For
pretty!
reference, the officer at the theater is an
Ooh,
absolute tank of a
fun.
human being, but has a heart of gold. I tell him about the family and
Ah,
the overly
I like
aggressive
it a
dad.
lot.
His response is,
Okay.
what kind of person causes trouble at a Disney movie? And walks with me back to the theater. Just when I'm about to point out the family from around the corner, everyone's crying. Loud. Like crying in agony. The police
Wait,
officer
caps.
walks up the stairs and gets the family
Those are always
situated to
good
come
to
inside.
have.
My manager, that heard the conversation earlier.
Alright, let's find
and
out what
I
these
waited
black
for all
ones
of
are.
them to come out. Entitled Mom and Entitled Dad look mad. Numbers 1 through
Is
4
this just
look
like a
upset.
black wig
Number
or
5
what?
looked relieved to get out of there. Without missing a beat, Entitled Mom
Oh
states
no,
her
this is a new.
disappointment.
I think I was trying to get a new diva wig.
That's unacceptable. Entitled Dad. I don't have
Yeah,
time for this.
yeah,
I've
this is for
spent too much
diva.
money for
I was
this
trying to get a
crap
new one.
happen.
Oh, this is
Officer,
nice. It's kind of too
there have
dark
been multiple
though.
complaints that your kids have been a bit
It's a really
loud
nice
during the
wig.
movie.
Feels
While I was
really
entering,
good.
Your littlest one was crying super loud. She was upset because the singing stopped.
It looks black. It's really
Whatever the
dark
case
brown
may be,
though.
you did not take any responsibility for your kids.
I don't
and
know. I like
everything.
it.
Therefore, you all have to leave.
I'm gonna leave the hot steaming Nephew one wrapped up because it's gonna get tangled really quick.
Does that include our concessions?
Okay, what is
as well?
this?
No,
Oh, this is
because
gray.
you only bought and ate 4 personal pizzas, jerk.
Okay.
We walked into the box office, and both parents kept complaining
Really
through
long
the entire
gray
process.
wig. Oh,
Entitled
is
Mom
there more
threatening
in
with
here?
bad reviews, and Entitled
Oh.
Dad threatening with
Hello.
calling corporate. I gave a free movie
Oh,
pass to
this
the
is
oldest
pretty.
kid because I felt bad for them and their dysfunctional family. The rest of that day was
Look
chill.
at this.
There's always a speck of crap in your chocolate.
It was pretty.
pudding. Next we've got
It's really long.
Entitled Mom enraged over having to
What
pay
is
for
this?
cake and coffee. So as usual, a
It
bit
is
of
clips.
background. I live in Bavaria, Germany, and during Advent it is very common for cities and villages to hold a Christmas market over at least one weekend, and so did my hometown. It is held at our local school.
I see.
10
We have
plus
pigtails
outside
to go with
classrooms,
this
and
one.
is joined with the annual cribs exhibition,
Okay.
which are made out of wood
Let's see.
almost entirely. It was held Saturday and Sunday, and my mom was one of the people baking one of the over 25 different cakes and pies that were sold during these 2 days. The place was packed on both days, and there was a reservation from a fresh mother that had her kid's baptism just an
I'm
hour
into it.
before the market
All
would
right,
open
they're all
on
different
Sunday.
enough.
They called in before the
Let's
weekend
go.
and said they would be around 20 to 25 people coming in. This mom is the entitled mom of the story.
Obviously,
Let's
I
meet
haven't
the
like
cast.
styled or
We've
cut
got entitled
any of
mom.
them, but
We've
whatever.
got my mom. We've got co-workers of my mom. And we've got the craftsman. On to the story. Around 2 p.m. the market opens. The people start pouring in, and it was getting clear quite fast that it would be a full house. A mother with a baby, maybe 1.5 months old, was entering the seating area where my mom and some other women would serve coffee and cake. Following her is a group of over 20 people, clearly more than 20. She asks for the reserved places, and one of my mom's co-workers shows them to their area on the tables. And then it started. Where is the menu? Co-worker. cake. Coworker, you can come over to the cake buffet and pick out any cake or pie, as well as your choice of coffee at our buffet table. Wait, so I have to get up again if I want my cake? That is not what I used to.
Let's see, am I gonna redo Rimmer and Cheer?
Except reserving the seats. Entitled mom gets up anyway.
I don't think so. Plus these would be easy enough to get again.
She looks for not even a minute. Where is my cake? My mom.
I can get rid of
Looking
those.
for? Or do you want a pie? The cake I wanted.
My sword,
You should have it.
obviously not getting rid of.
Nothing for
Love
it
my
other
sword.
than the seats. Mom, we only have what you
Same
see on
with my
display.
baseball bat.
Goes over the kinds of cakes
This is
we
the
have.
home defense.
Prices are printed here.
This is actually
Some
not
with
fake.
coffee.
This is a real.
Mom, what
This
do
is
you
a real
mean
steel
prices?
baseball bat.
It should be for free.
Could kill a
Ma'am,
motherfucker.
We have baked these cakes
Why
for
did I say
market, not for you. And no one said you would get free
We
cake
have
or
my
coffee.
katana,
But it's my baby's baptism.
which
I deserve to get a free cake for that
oh, it's
celebration.
fucking
Miss,
like why is it
if
gonna
you
happen?
won't buy, please move
Which is
on.
also
Someone else
real,
can buy
I
cake and
guess.
coffee.
This is real.
No.
I mean, no,
want
it's
to
not.
speak to the one
That
in
is a
charge
lie.
of this. Now,
is fake.
my mom was the one who
Definitely
happened to
not
take the
real.
reservation, and therefore
Definitely
is in charge
doesn't
of
have
this. Mom,
two
that
throwing
would be me.
knives.
I am also the one who took
This is
your
also
reservation,
fake.
which we normally would
Alright.
not even do, due
Both
to
are
the
fake.
fact that we are quite well visited, as you can see. By that point, the gym was so full of visitors, they could only walk in lines. One line
Which is all very
entering
fake.
and one line exiting the gym halls. This
Obviously.
made entitled mom use that bit of a brain she
I'm like,
has,
did I cut myself
but
on
I guess
accident?
capacities are very limited for her.
Then we
Entitled
have
mom,
this,
okay, then I'll have this
which
cake and a coffee.
is extremely
Very
fake because
well.
it does.
Mom fills a cup while another coworker hands her the piece of cake after she paid.
It doesn't even kind
Enjoy
of
your
sound like a
stay.
gun.
I could
Yeah,
if you people
I love
wouldn't
this,
allow
though.
these abominations
I
to be
decorated this
displayed
one
here.
myself. This was a lot of fun.
She shouted that last part. This got the attention of the crate makers. Obviously, she was bad-mouthing them.
We have my
before
Asuna
she
sword,
came to the buffet table, as half
which
of
is
them,
all
still 10 to 12 people,
also is
stood
real.
up from their seats
This
and
is,
walked over to the counter. These guys
it's
are
not
all
sharp,
craftsmen and quite
but
skilled
it is
and
real.
proud of their work.
And I
Craftsmen,
could sharpen it,
listen,
and it would become
we held our mouths
very
during your
real.
initial talk about our cribs. But if you
It's
think you can
extremely
also order
heavy.
us to take down our work, you
Obvi-
can find your face on the donkeys
Obviously,
and
this
boxes
is
of our
real.
cribs next year.
I
Now,
have a
don't
death
speak to
scythe,
me like that.
obviously.
Do you know who
This
I
is not
am?
fake.
Craftsman. God bless I don't. How
Um,
dare you speak the name of the Lord in such a manner? You should burn
Yes.
with your ugly
I'm keeping
statues
this.
in
I
hand.
might paint this actually.
Craftsman,
Should I
leave
paint this? I feel like I
now,
should paint
or
this.
we see you out. Cue a lot of hateful language for what the Lord
Also
would be
real.
ashamed to hear while they threw her and her
Gotta
family out. The poor
Mine.
baby did start to cry from
Gotta
all
mine
emotion,
some
where the father was
redstone
angry
and shit.
about her, but he followed up. I also got,
I
by
love
some
this.
miracle, some pieces of cake.
A
I
diamond
really liked.
pickaxe.
Apple pie, if you want to know, and served with this story. It tasted all the
My
world
diva
better.
gun.
Next we've got
I love this guy
Landlord
too.
wants to sue us
This
for
one's
hurricane
fun.
damages. I lived briefly in
Obviously
Florida
real.
about a decade ago, which is where I met my partner. We found a nice little 2-bedroom house that was owned by
Please
an
don't
elderly
lose the
couple that
platelets.
lived just a few blocks away.
Be wearing
Everything
shit.
was okay, but we did find some roaches after we moved in. which is quite shocking,
Throwback.
as I
Who
am
remembers
extremely
this
clean
guy?
and had never had roaches
Good shit.
before. And when we told
I
the
could probably get rid of
landlords,
this
they
one,
told
though,
us
at this
they were
point.
not roaches,
I think.
but palmetto bugs. For your information, I think
Ah,
they're the
we
same
have
thing.
the bell.
Used to have
The
next door neighbor
bells.
come in.
I
Bad
made
sign
this
number
myself.
one. Then a hurricane blew in.
I'm probably
This
gonna
was
toss it
Florida
though. It's not
after
like this was hard
It
to
was
make. I
only
can
a
just
cat
make this
one or
again if I
cat
want
two.
to.
I don't really remember, but there was substantial damage to the roof,
Wait.
and a lot of water had gotten in. Being northerners, we had no real idea how to prepare properly, and the landlords just told us to lower the hurricane shutters. So
Yay.
that is all we did.
Get rid of
It
this. I
was
don't need
long
this. I'm
after
just buy
we
this
had
next
mold
year.
growing on our walls, especially in the laundry room. Reported it to the landlords, and they told us to just wash it down
Marka,
with bleach water.
fuck yeah.
So we did, and it came right back. So it was a constant cleaning process. When we complained, we were told that was what life in Florida
Honestly,
was
super
like.
cheap American
They
flag.
also
You don't want
came
to
and
keep
took a
it.
look at the roof from the yard
I can
and
get a
told
better
us,
one.
"You two are strapping young men. You can go up there and
My
fix it.
handcuffs?
Just let us know when you're done." Yeah.
For
Then
Raptilia.
another hurricane blew through. Again,
The other
in
pair?
Category 1 or 2. But this time we had windows broken during the storm, and since our
Another
roof was still
fake-
not repaired, we furniture black mold again, but this time, not only
I love the light.
I spent the days outside with our dog, and we were sleeping in my partner's office. Landlords again told us to just
Getting toy guns and spray painting them is the best prop idea.
We didn't prepare well and had it fixed
My
the roof
Cupid's
ourselves.
bow.
So we called the city and had an inspector come by. He walked in.
I think I'm gonna keep this just because I actually really like
The
it.
carpets and walls. The roach population had a little boo. And
This
you could
one's
tell
fun to make,
while
and I
we
can
hit the
definitely
roof
use this
that it was
again.
in need of repair prior to the storm. And it still hadn't been.
Ah, this is another gun. I need to paint this one still.
When I was standing at our open door, the inspector took the man came walking up, talking about how we better have repaired the roof.
It's so funny the different noises they make.
Repairs and carpet replacements and
I
mold
should
removal,
take this
yada,
off.
yada, yada.
No, I'll
He was
just
the
paint
city
it.
worker who came around the corner and asked him if he was the owner.
My
He said
my
yes, and the inspector told him he was condemning the house because it was not habitable.
Number-
and that it was
what are
not
these
our
things called?
responsibility as tenants
My
to
mom
make
always
or
fucking
pay for the
uses these.
repairs. He also recommended that we should be released from the lease.
Anyway,
Never
office
seen an old
office
man waffle
supply.
away so fast.
Here's
Later
the good
that
American
night,
flag.
His wife called, raising high holy heck about how she was suing us for damages. How we were
Random
not
Christmas
getting any money
decor.
back,
No.
blah blah blah. She also said
Oh,
she
yeah,
would
this is
remove
a
the
rubber.
condemned/danger
This is rubber.
signage that was placed on the door because
Forgot
it
about
was
this.
embarrassing. People knew it was their property. But she made a mistake. She
Another-
wrote a strongly
another
worded
fake
letters
bitch.
about how we were taking advantage of the elderly.
Actually, this might.
How all the damages were our fault since we didn't do any repairs. How she would not release us from the lease, and how many
Is a BB
lawsuits
gun.
she was going to hit
I'm
us
like,
with.
what is this real?
After contacting the inspector who saw our house, who took another trip
More
to the
random
house to replace the
Christmas
signage,
decor.
we turned all of this in. He laughed and sighed and said he knew exactly how
Duct
to handle
tape.
it, since he saw this all the
Good.
time after hurricanes. And
Necessary.
if they actually sued,
I
he
have
would
more
testify in our favor, since what they were doing was highly illegal.
more
He then told us
pom
he was going to
poms.
pay them a little visit.
Although I think I
and
might
make
keep
sure
these
the
ones.
letters
These are
got
kind of
into the hands
nice.
of the right people, as well as how he had to replace the signs.
These are
Another
nice.
thing
I like
she
the little
admitted
handles.
in the letter.
I wish we had had these
About a
kind.
week later,
of
we got our
pom-poms
very
at
pleasant
Cheer.
call from the landlady saying we were
Ours
such
had
wonderful
the
tenants,
double-ended
and how she was
kind.
refunding our security deposit,
These ones are fun
and
though.
how she was graciously going to let us out of the lease.
I'm
and
not
pursue
gonna
any
keep these
charges
ones.
or the
These
rent
look
for
like
the last
shit.
few months, which we had refused
Like
to
they're
pay
so
since we
tiny.
had
Like
been there.
I'm sorry,
And
a
if we
single
needed help
one
finding a new place to let her
doesn't
know,
even make
and
up
she
a
would
full
refer
pom
us
Well,
to
that's the
some of our
saddest
friends
pom
who
pom
owned property
ever.
too. No,
What the hell?
we did learn,
Anyway.
because we were watching the situation, that the house had to be gutted.
My
and
godly
completely
necklace.
remodeled. We actually parked up the road with some takeout and watched a crew haul out sheetrock and carpet. They could have saved themselves thousands if they
Okay.
had just called a roofer and
Cool.
told someone to clean up the mold.
That's good
instead
for
of
that.
making us call
I'm
the city
happy.
and have the
We
house
didn't really
cleaned
get rid of that
and
much,
then
but
do
I don't
whatever
have
they
that
did
many
to make
props,
them
so it's
change
not the
their
end of the
minds
world.
on everything else.
Book
Still
of
wish
Holy
I could have
Hammered.
been there when they were confronted by
I don't really need this because I already have an actual
the
Bible,
first was
so
glorious. Next we've got Karen thinks she deserves
What
a
is
bonus
this?
after being 5 hours late to work. I work for a company that
Just
sells
a bunch of
products at
rope,
state
I think.
fairs. Because of the temporary nature
Yeah.
of our work, we hire a lot of
this
people
is a
off
bunch
of
of
Craigslist.
rope
Most
for
people are reasonable. Occasionally you get it done. But
climbing
this
and
nut
shit.
takes the cake.
So I'm
So
gonna.
when we hire people,
I don't. Why
we
do I
ask
have
them how
this?
many hours they want to work and what days they're available. This particular woman said she would work
Stethoscope.
any day,
Keeping this one.
except for 2 days during the 10-day fair. No problem. We schedule her for every day she's available,
Ah, random
including a long shift,
decoration.
10 hours.
Ah,
on her
my
busiest day.
wand.
Our boss cleared
My
it with her
wand
that
that
this
I
was
made.
fine. She said it was.
I'm gonna get rid of this
She started
because I've
out
already
great,
used it.
Was
But
engaging
this was
with
a fun.
customers and showed
fun
up on
wand.
time. We had mentioned to the employees that as long as they showed up for their scheduled shifts and did good work,
My
we
fake.
would reward them with a bonus.
My fake money that has
She had her
Chinese
days
writing all
off,
over
and then
it.
she
I
was
love
set
it
with a
so
long
much.
shift on the
So I
busy
use
day
this for
of
the
her
Yang
next day
video.
off. She was scheduled for 11:15
My big comfy
a.m.
couch book.
and texted me around that time saying,
Blues
I'm going
Clues.
to be a little bit late. No worries. I figured traffic gets bad around the fair, and she'd be 30 minutes
Fake
tops.
fruit.
An hour goes by, and I text her to ask if she's almost there. She replied,
American
"No, I
flags.
was up
They're
until
very
3 a.m.
cheap.
last
So
night.
goodbye.
I need some sleep, so I'm coming in at 4 p.m.
This.
Also,
Gonna
the
toss
shift is too
that.
long. I can't work.
Another wand, which I'll probably keep
I
this
replied
one because it's a little bit
5
more like
hours is
flexible
not a
as far as
little
what I
bit
can do with it.
You should have been a lot clearer about that and given us much more notice. This is our busiest day, and we could have planned for someone else.
Shells that I had
And if
planned
that
to
shit was
use
too
for
long, You
mermaid.
should have told my boss or me, and we could
I
have
could
figured
still
something
do it.
out.
They fit.
Now this lady goes off the rails.
I just
She
have to
calls
figure
me
out how to
petty,
make these stick.
said that this was temporary for her and not a priority. That she was mad my boss hired more people and didn't
Oh, that
give
one's
her
kind of
more hours.
smaller.
The logic does not make sense. At this point, I'm done. I tell her we'll figure it out without her, and she can get her payment the next day.
I do want to do
She
a
then
mermaid
said,
with real
I
shells,
was
but
planning on coming in at 4 p.m. Yes, you have other plans.
meh.
Lady, I was planning on you coming in at
Magnifying
11:15
glass.
a.m. Yes, you have other plans. She then sends a rant about how everyone else we
Ah.
hired are crazy, and she
Clues.
doesn't want to work with them anyway.
Clues.
My boss
And
is
then
disorganized. She was doing this as a favor for us.
Perfect.
In
Okay.
that case, don't
Gone
bother.
through all of
I just
this.
stopped replying to her.
Let me
The
think.
next morning, she asks when she can get her money. I tell her anytime,
Okay.
and then I'll meet her at the entrance gate. She says, "Great, see you then. Also, I'm bringing my boyfriend. He's a big black guy." Now, this feels like a threat. For perspective, I'm a 5-foot-tall woman. Is this guy gonna try to fight me? I called my boss
Sorry.
to basically say I don't feel
What's
safe
happening?
meeting this psycho anymore. He tells me to bring security with me to meet
Okay,
her
I'm putting the
and keep it
smaller
posted.
things in here.
He's in another state by now. She asks how much she gets paid. I said, X amount of hours at X amount per hour. So, this amount. She replied, "What about my bonus?" I replied, "Not applicable at this time." Now she loses it even more and said she was promised a bonus. Yeah, if you show up on time, idiot. And I'm going to have to talk to her boyfriend about this. And just going off. Keep in mind, this woman is in her 50s, by the way.
I was
I
gonna say,
contact my
why?
boss again,
Her
and
boyfriend.
he says
What?
to offer her payment through PayPal. She refuses and says they're on their way. I am just over it at this point. Add her stupid bonus to her pay, just to de-escalate the situation and get it over with. I have security come with me to wait at the gate. After waiting about 15 minutes, my boss called me back and said he talked to her and sent her the payment over PayPal, and I don't have to deal with her anymore. I immediately block her number. I screenshot all the texts and sent it to my boss in case it goes further. I stayed completely calm and professional while she gets more and more aggressive. Oh, and she did not get her bonus. Next we've got this random guy
I thought you
tries
guys
to
sent her the
intimidate
bonus.
me into selling
Wait,
my
what?
car.
How does that
So my
make any
first
sense?
car is an unusual one for
Oh
someone
yeah,
in
and
the
then I
UK.
have my fake
My dad
Freddy
gave
Krueger
me
knife.
his 2.2
This is Freddy
Vauxhall
Krueger.
Astra Breton and a nice deep red. I've already done some work on it for my dad, such as an aftermarket radio, new wire
Maybe
wheels,
Jason.
etc. But
Either
to
way.
have it as my own was something else. With its age being close to 20 years at this point, since it was made in 2001, it has now started popping up with a bunch of electrical issues, which I can fix, but it takes time. The issue itself is a power leech taking power from the battery when the car is off. How I found where the issues were is where we encounter this male equivalent to Karen. We've got me, we've got male Karen, we've got male Karen's friend, and we've got my brother. So my dad drops me off at the garage. It's separate from our house, to where I see a bunch of guys around the area with opening their garages, which are basically storage units to them. They're all chatting and talking about their little hatchbacks and whatnot, but I just ignore them and go past
See
them
how
to
much
open
this I
up
can
my
actually
garage
fit
to
in
see
here.
my car.
Before the
That's
rest
when I
needs to
noticed
just be
that the
stood
group
up by
behind me
itself.
got a little quieter, and I paid no real attention. Then I set about opening the bonnet and getting my tools out to tighten any loose fittings. Then I get my multimeter to test for current and voltage across certain parts. I then go to start the car to get a full reading and to check how the car is idling. I give it a few revs and it sounds healthy. Then, once I got my head under the bonnet again, I was reaching around to get an alternator reading to when I hear a guy saying, "Oi!" I comedically smack my head against the bonnet from being jumped. Ow! Hey mate, don't jump me like that,
Bible with
especially
this?
since the engine is running. Karen. Oh, boo-hoo. How much for the car? Me. Sorry, it's not for sale. Buzz off. Well, if I say it's for
Okay.
sale, it's for sale. Me.
My other sword.
That's not how it
Add
works.
this to the
It's my
props.
car, and I'm not selling it. Let me tell
Okay.
you, you're lucky that I'm even asking to buy this piece of junk from you, and not stealing it. Me.
What?
You say it's a piece of junk, yet you want to buy it. Now you're saying I'm lucky you're not stealing it? Oi, you deaf! You know what? I will take it if you keep being a jack. Me. You can go ahead and try, but I fitted an immobilizer and a tracker, so if you do, I will know, and so I will call the police.
Why would you admit you're gonna steal it?
Now I'll be nice and offer you 100 pounds, or I will take it. At
Bitch.
this point, this guy's logic is
Bitch, what?
breaking my mind, and I can even see his friends in a bit of an awe themselves, with one of them trying to hold in laughter. Look, I've told you it's not for sale, and even if it was, the least I would go for is 2,000 pounds. Karen laughs. This thing isn't even worth 50. 100. Take it or leave it.
What? This is not how any of this works.
Me. Okay, now you're threatening to steal it. Right I am, because you're being stupid about it. Me. Trying to de-escalate the situation since his friends just want to watch. Look, just calm down and get back to whatever you were doing with your friends. Not until I get that car. At this point, I'm more confused than anything. The car itself isn't even a classic, or an icon, or even a collectible, and there are dime a dozen throughout Europe. Yet, this guy is adamant on my car that I'm not selling. On top of that, the yelling is causing the neighbors to peer out their windows and step outside to see what's going on. Me, just please calm down. If you want, I can help you find one online that's cheap, but mine is not for sale. Give me that car, or else. Now I go from de-escalation into defense. Taking note
Bitch,
of my
or else
surroundings
what?
and looking to see if this guy had a weapon on him. No, I wasn't exactly too worried, as he didn't have any weapons, and his friends were watching laughing. Also, I'm 6'1", he was around 5'3". Plus, I've been going to the gym and taking defense classes. What I was worried about is, what if his friends were going to jump in after they've had their laugh? Me. Sir, let's not escalate this. Oh yeah, tough guy? He then pushes me back onto my car. Cliche, I know, but it's what happened. Me. Sir, please don't. I'm gonna mess you up. My adrenaline then
I'll just
shoots
leave
as I'm
these in
now
the
thinking,
closet for now.
what the heck might happen?
Maybe
as
I'll
I
find a better
prepare
spot
for
for
a
them
fight.
later.
Me. Sir, stop. That's when almost on cue, my brother and friend arrive after being told by my dad if they can help me out with the car. That's when they see whatever the heck was unfolding in front of them and they rush over. Friend, what the heck's going on? Brother, back off. Gesturing to the male Karen. Karen, mind your own business. That's when my friend and brother stood next to me. Now I'm not exactly bulky, as I've only just started gym and defense classes. However, friend and brother are fully built, as they've been training in rugby for years. Seeing this makes the guy back off a little, but not without shouting at me and calling me names. That's when one of his friends finally steps in. His friend. Mate, let's leave him be. We've got a meet to go to. Fine. They then leave with one of the friends, somewhat apologizing, saying this is normal behavior of him. Then the male Karen leaves, but not without trying to toss a drink towards me and Mrs. Then the classic jerk gesture out the window. I explain what happened to my friend and brother, and then we get to work on the car after chilling for a bit. Hopefully that guy doesn't come back to try and take my car. Entitled mom buys a Christmas present that won't fit me on purpose, just so she can give it to her spoiled daughter instead.
What?
Hey, darlings. So something I saw on the subreddit recently sparked a memory, and I decided to share the story here. Last year, my entire family and some friends decided to do one big
there's
Christmas
so much
party
shit,
at
guys.
one of my uncle's houses. It was
I don't know what to do
30
next.
people I'd stay. So we decided to do Secret Santa between all the family members and friends, and we were all pretty excited. Just in case any of you don't know the concept of Secret Santa, you draw someone's name randomly and buy them a present, but they don't know it was you who bought it for them until the exchange day comes. I didn't know at the time, but my aunt had picked me when we were drawing.
Let's do
names,
hats.
and that's how the crap show began, ladies and gentlemen. Let me start by saying that my aunt has an extremely spoiled daughter. She's the type
I have an
of girl who has
insane
had
amount
so
of
much
hats.
handed to her. She thinks she's entitled to anything and everything. Oh yeah, folks. She's the type of girl to say, I'm gonna tell my dad to sue you if you cause any minor inconvenience to her. My aunt has completely turned her into a rotten person, and she's by far the least liked between all the cousins. Here's the cast. We've got entitled aunt, got entitled cousin, we've got Aunt Millie, because she's too good for abbreviations. Splendid. Let's get into it. All of you keep in mind here, by the way, entitled cousin is about a size 2, very small build, and I'm about a size 8. Entitled aunt comes over to my house very often, so she knows quite well that I am absolutely not the same size as her daughter. So the party was going amazing throughout the night. However, Entitled Aunt didn't miss a single opportunity to display all the crap she was giving Entitled Cousin that year for Christmas. Like honestly, she brought all of Entitled Cousin's gifts to the party, like 9 gifts, and just kept popping into the room throughout the night, like, "Oh, here, honey, have another gift." I mean, it kind of got tiring by the 5th gift, you know what I mean? Anyway, the icing on the cake came about an hour later when Entitled Aunt called all 40 people in the party to come outside in the super freezing weather. Welcome to Canada.
I have
This
a lot of
includes
hats,
all
I'm
the older
sorry.
folks and everything. She literally did not shut up until everyone hauled their butts outside. So we go out there, right? Lo and behold, a car. Entitled Cousin was 15 at the time, by the way, so it's not like she could drive the dang thing. Like, for real, it would be at least another year. Oh, and what kind of car, you ask? A G-Wagon. Anyway, so finally it came time for Secret Santa. Me and the other cousins were so pumped because we just watched some other girl get presents all night, and it was finally our turn. So we went around in a circle, everyone revealing who they got and giving that person the gift, yada yada. It was finally my turn, and Entitled Aunt sprung up from her seat. I was just thinking like, oh crap, just my luck. Entitled Aunt. Okay, everyone. So I got OP in the Secret Santa draw, and I think she's gonna love the gift, because it cost me quite a pretty penny. I kind of felt awkward when she said that, because that's a weird thing to say, but I brushed it off and opened the gift. It was this gorgeous shimmery dress, and it was just so breathtaking. For a brief second, I was like, damn, Entitled Aunt popped off this year, A. That quickly changed when I glanced at the dress tag and saw that it was in fact, guess what? A size 2. Size 2. As soon as Entitled Aunt saw that I noticed the size, she sprung back up from her seat, snatched the dress out of my hand, and with a very fake tone said, "Oh, no. Shoot, I had no clue. Well, we shouldn't let it go to waste." She handed the dress to her daughter and suggested
I would lose
she
my
keep it
fucking
since
shit.
It just so happened to be her size.
Hell no.
Entitled Cousin gave me a nasty smirk, which I wanted so badly to just whack her face off. But alas, this was a civil family affair. After this, we very awkwardly continued on.
Let me tell you how that would go down in my family. First of all, it wouldn't happen, because no one's that fucking rude. But second of all, if that did happen, everyone would literally just stare at them and be like, "So where's the receipt so she can go exchange it for her size?" Like, what do you mean? Like, what? That's so fucking weird. And it's so weird that no one said anything about how weird it was.
With Secret Santa until everyone had exchanged their gifts.
Like, what?
So the night came to a close.
How?
And overall, Entitled Cousin got a G-Wagon and my dress and a bunch of other
She
cool
got
stuff.
a literal
While I,
G-Wagon?
out of 40 guests, was the only one who left that night without a Christmas present. Yay. I know that you guys who've read my other posts on this subreddit about Aunt Millie want more crazy stories with her. But sadly, her role in this story was really short, but still super meaningful to me.
My god.
Aunt Millie wasn't at the party because she was spending Christmas in the Bahamas with her boyfriend.
I have my
When she
boozette.
got back, I told her the story, and she was just so upset at Entitled Aunt. She called her up and gave her an earful, including how it's sad that so much money is
I'm
being
keeping
spent
this one.
on such a little jerk like Entitled Cousin. So Aunt Millie is pretty loaded, not gonna lie. She took me out after this and said she
My
hadn't bought
Shiro
me a Christmas
crown.
gift, so she wanted to get me one now. I said I was fine with whatever she wanted to get me. I'm definitely not the type to pick expensive things when someone else is paying.
Tanya.
She told me that she'd pick the gift then, and told me to wait at a bench in the mall, and she'd be back with my gift in a sec. She came back a while later, and put it into my hands. I get excited when I remember it. A Rolex. Girl, I lost my crap for a minute. It
Good,
was
I'm
just
glad I'm
so
helping your
thankful.
commute go by.
In summary, Entitled Aunt sucks. Entitled Cousin is a little jerk, and Aunt Millie is my everything. And oh, You best believe I rub my Rolex and
Cleaning out this stuff is like a trip down memory lane, huh?
Looks like poor little old me got the one thing entitled cousin did
Got
for
my
Christmas
SWAT
next
hat.
Next we've got
The piggy.
entitled aunt lets entitled kid.
Keeping this one because I think I want to redo this SWAT out concept at some point. It's hilarious. I love it.
Happened last Christmas. Also, my English isn't perfect. I'm from Sweden. Cast. We've got entitled cousin. She's 11, by the way. We've got
This is
nice
just
cousin.
a nice hat that I
We've got
have.
nice cousin too. We've got entitled aunt.
Should put
We've
this
got
with
mom,
my normal
entitled
clothes.
uncle, nice aunt,
Not
and
dress
me.
up.
Here's a little backstory. Entitled aunt had nice cousin
Dad
with
hat.
another guy before she met entitled uncle. Entitled uncle and
I think I
entitled
can
aunt
get rid of this.
had entitled cousin together, but eventually they broke up. So having entitled uncle at Christmas was kind of awkward. He usually comes to see entitled kid at Christmas.
Military
And
hat.
nice aunt is nice cousin two's mom. Just
Keeping.
getting that out of the way. Okay, on to the story.
A
It's Christmas
classic.
morning, and entitled aunt invites me and my mom over for Christmas. It's a tradition.
A classic trucker
Entitled
hat.
grandma is cooking food.
Love this
but
one.
my
I'll
mom
probably
and nice
keep this
aunt
one.
have to leave to go get some groceries for the Christmas meal.
It's
Entitled
just
cousin
too funny.
sees the presents and immediately runs over to open them. Nice cousin
We've got the
entitled cousin. We should wait for
Soap
everyone else to
Chan.
arrive before we open the presents. Me. Yeah. We
Hat,
have to wait for the rest of the family.
which
Entitled cousin's
I
eyes
don't think
started
I'm gonna
watering,
keep this
and
one
she
because
started doubting.
it's heavy. I'm
But
not
I
gonna
took
return to
walks away.
this,
It's not my fault
etc.,
everyone's
etc.
Me.
But if anyone
Entitled
wants this
cousin,
for
just go do
posterity,
something else, like play on your tablet. Entitled uncle.
there you go.
Let her open one, then she'll stop fussing. Entitled cousin smiles deviously and grabs the first present she sees.
My
Nice
Zelda
cousin
hat,
too. Don't open it yet. We have to see who it's for.
a
Of course,
classic
it
one
had
as
to be
well.
mine.
Love that
Nice
hat.
cousin too. Oh no.
Coca-Cola
entitled
hat.
cousin. That's for Hope. But
I think I'm gonna get rid of
want
this.
it. Me. Sorry, entitled cousin, but that's for me. Nice cousin walks in. Nice cousin. Entitled cousin, stop being a brat. Just wait for everyone. Entitled uncle.
My Medicare
I said
hat.
she could open a present. Nice cousin looks at the tree and picks one up that has entitled cousin's name on it. Nice
My
cousin.
PewDiePie.
Here,
Please
entitled
be
cousin.
patient.
This one is for you. I
I'm
want
9 years
that
old.
present.
Hat.
Entitled aunt.
Keeping
walks
that
in.
one.
Entitled aunt. What's going on?
Okay.
Nice cousin too. Entitled cousin wants to
Random-
open a present early.
Random
So,
shiny hat.
let her.
I'm gonna get rid of this one. It
But
looks
she keeps
cool,
choosing
but
presents
eh.
that aren't hers. I already choose the one I want. You
My
just
Yang
won't let me have
2020
it.
hat.
By the
I'm gonna
way,
keep this
the
one
present
just
was
'cause,
from
like,
nice cousin and nice cousin
history.
too. We were basically BFFs with each other. Nice cousin too. But
The
entitled
orange YouTube
cousin, that's for
visor.
Hope. I don't care. Entitled aunt. Give her the present.
The Hello
Nice
Kitty
cousins.
visor.
No.
Which
Me
is
and nice
old
cousins
as
who spent
fuck
a lot of
now.
money
I think
on
I'm gonna get rid of the
that.
Hello
That's for
Kitty
Hope.
visor. As much as I love it, I've already used
Just
it,
give her the
and
Jane's present. You should spend money on your sister rather than friends. Nice cousin looks around
Velvet
the tree for a
hat.
big
I
present
like this
that has
one, that
entitled
kind of
cousin's name on it.
over it
Open this
now.
one.
Timmy Turner
whatever,
hat.
you jerk. Entitled cousin opens the present and
I'm gonna
shuts
keep
up.
this one.
But then entitled aunt grabs my arm and pulls
Champion
me into the
hat.
kitchen. Hope you have no right to be selfish like that. I invited you
I like this
here,
one too.
so learn some respect. Me.
Diva
Entitled
hat.
aunt, the present was for me. If I don't want to give it away,
Keeping
entitled
this one.
kid
I
should
love this
accept
one. It's
that.
got like holes in it.
Entitled kid is my daughter. If something is bothering her, I have to play mom
My Trump
bear.
hat.
I don't want my daughter upset.
I didn't get a chance to
I'm
do
going back
any
to the parlor.
ironic photo
Remember
sets in
what
this
I
one. I'm
told
sad.
you. It's now 10 p.m.
I also have
and we're
a
about to open
Trump
presents.
2020 fuck
There are
your
like
feelings
30
shirt,
people
which
there.
I was gonna do
We
an
all
ironic
gathered
photo
around the
set in,
Christmas
but
tree. My mom
again,
was
I
inside
just
chatting to other
didn't.
people who didn't want to freeze.
I'm
as
gonna
we
get
were
rid of that.
outside. Of course, entitled cousin got a ton of gifts because she was youngest,
another
which
military
meant a bunch
hat,
of
which
wrapping
I
paper.
have
Entitled
multiple
aunt.
of. I should
And
probably
this is
not
for
have
Hope.
that many.
It was the present
Who
entitled
are you?
cousin wanted from before, so she glared at me while I was
I
opening
love this
it.
hat. I still need
It
to
was
do
a
this
gaming
cosplay.
laptop, a new one. I was so happy. I hugged my nice
Adidas.
cousins and
I like
thanked
this
them a
hat
million
too.
times. I got some other stuff as well. I got a crochet kit. I
This
got a
one
box
says
of
a girl
jewelry,
can
and
dream
2
on it,
plushies
but
of
I'm
me
kind of
and
meh on
Cookie.
that one.
I got some other things, but I don't
This
really
looks
remember.
exactly like the
These are the
champion
ones
hat.
that matter. Entitled cousin.
This
I'll
is
put
my
everyone's
platelets
presents in
hat,
the
which I'm
house.
gonna keep because I
Entitled
might return to
That's
that.
so sweet of you, entitled cousin. Me and
My
nice cousins
autism
were
hat.
talking, but then entitled aunt walks towards
Good
us
shit.
mad. You all should help clean
Ugh.
up instead of making your poor
I don't think
cousin
I ever
do it.
actually did this
Nice
cosplay,
cousin.
but I made the hat
But
for
Mom,
it.
she just volunteered to do it. Son,
Ah,
you will
that meme's
clean
dead
up the
though.
mess out there. Entitled Dan, you girls will
My
help
Pew
too.
News hat.
Me and nice cousin too. Fine.
I
we'll
have
pick up
the
rabbit
mega
meat.
hat, the classic.
After we were done, we went inside.
Keeping that one
and
for
chatted a little
posterity as
before
well.
Entitled cousin made a mess.
I wonder if I have a Bernie hat. Do I have a Bernie hat or just a
Can you
shirt?
come here, please? I walk over to Entitled
I think it's
Dan,
just a
who's
shirt.
next to Entitled cousin's room.
2 blank random
Entitled
hats.
cousin
Don't
needs
need
your
it.
help cleaning up a mess she made. Why do I have to help her?
My
Because
police
it's your
hat.
jewelry box she made a mess with.
Well, sort of.
What?
Crossing guard.
I'm looking to see
Taxi.
my jewelry all
Top
over her
hat.
floor.
Whatever the heck.
I got mad
I like
when
this
I saw
hat,
some
though.
of it was broken.
I love hats that are this
Entitled
shape.
cousin, what the heck?
It's
You
great.
stole and
Such a
broke
good
my
hat.
jewelry? Entitled cousin starts to cry because I yelled at her. Then I noticed my
Cheap
computer was
Santa
open on
hat
the
with
floor,
cat ears.
with it
I've already
grainy
done stuff
dangerously
with.
close to it. Entitled
Another
cousin,
Santa
how
hat
much of my
that's
stuff did you
cheap that I
take,
can
you
get
little
rid of.
jerk?
Ah!
Entitled
My
cousin started
Louise
to cry this
hat!
time. It was kind of my
Oh
fault.
my gosh, I
Entitled
love
Dan,
this one.
Help!
I'm gonna just wear
Say that
this.
to Entitled cousin. At this point, I burst into
Power
tears
Rangers.
and started screaming. Everyone heard and came to
Pink
see
Power
what was
Rangers
wrong.
hat,
Mom, Hope, honey, are you okay? What's wrong?
which I still haven't
I
done.
told her everything
but-
that happened. And
yeah.
now Entitled
Dang,
cousin
I need to
stole
wear
my
this
new
Louise
jewelry
hat more
and broke
often.
it. Nice aunt over
It
her.
also fits
She
the
bought
bunny
me
ear
jewelry.
hat.
Nice aunt.
I love
What
bunny ear
happened?
hats.
Entitled
They're my
aunt, discipline
freaking
your
favorite.
kid. I see how she's been acting tonight.
Like, my confidence
Why
level
should I?
normally is high, but when I
Maybe
have a
should've
bunny
put
hat
it
on,
inside
it's like
cousin's
times
gift.
10.
Nice aunt. Entitled
Should I
cousin
keep
said
the
she
Power
wanted to put
Rangers
the gifts
hat?
inside, and
I
you
like
let her,
it, but I'm
so
also
that
like, am I ever
technically
gonna
makes
wear
your
it?
fault.
Probably
It's just
not.
a bunch of dumb jewelry. Clean it up and
Elf
move on.
hat. I can get a new
It
one.
wasn't dumb to me. Mom. Entitled aunt,
A
you owe
pussy
my
hat.
daughter some money. Hope,
Meh.
grab your stuff. I'm ready to leave. Entitled aunt
Anarchy,
called and
beanie.
apologized the next
Meh.
day, but entitled uncle called and yelled at me.
Another
but
Santa
I am
hat.
happy to say, me and entitled aunt
Another
are on good
Santa hat.
terms, and she isn't that entitled anymore.
Next
we've got
MG.
entitled grandmother makes
MG
everything
Ronald.
worse again
Yes.
and again.
Ha!
Some little
From the
backstory.
Devil's a
I've
Part-Timer.
dealt with entitled people
Keeping
my
that one.
entire life. My grandmother
Ah,
on
yes.
my father's side is
My
the entitled grandmother in this story.
666
I have so
beret.
many stories about her. If you enjoy this story, I might
My
post
normal
more.
beret, which I'll
Yes,
just put in my
we've got
normal
me.
closet.
I'm a 29-year-old woman. We've got entitled grandmother.
Fuck is this, a veil?
77-year-old woman.
Eh.
We've got nice dad. He's 56. My dad, an entitled grandmother's son, and my nephew, who is 7. Okay,
Yes.
on to the story. Yesterday, my nephew
Creepy
and my
mask.
entitled grandmother came over to hang out with my
Doesn't
dad
really
and
fit
I.
me though.
My nephew had some homework that he needed to get done. So
Ah,
we went
yes,
to
the
my room
jack
where
o'
it was a bit more
lantern.
quiet.
That was a fun
Well,
one.
being 7 and hyped up from
Get rid
seeing
of
his
that though. I
auntie,
already used
my
it.
nephew had trouble concentrating.
Jason.
When I finally did manage to get
I think
him
I'll
to
keep the
concentrate
Jason
on his
mask.
either entitled grandmother or nice dad would come in to check up
Scary
on him
pig
and
mask.
break his concentration. So I had to go through that about a half dozen times. But that's not what this story is about. My nephew is rarely allowed in my room. He was
Goodbye.
very interested in everything I had lying around.
Ah,
He
yes,
thought
the
my son's
purge.
screwdrivers were lightsabers.
Purge
That hurt my
mask.
soul. So he's
that
not
still
concentrating
on?
on homework. He's looking around, poking and examining
No,
things
it's
here and
dead.
there. He eventually finds a random wiffle ball.
Creepy
You know those
Goma.
plastic baseballs with the holes in them? Nephew. Auntie, look what I found. Let's play catch. Me. I'll play with you
Another
some more
purge
as soon
mask.
as
I
we
like this
finish
one
your
better.
homework, I promise. But right now, I need you to look at number
This
2.
is definitely a
and
better
tell me
purge
what
mask.
52 minus 14 is. Nephew walks over to where I am.
I cut off
Wiffle ball
the
still
thing
in
that
hand.
lights it up though,
He
because it
suddenly
was just annoying.
stops and looks at me with an uh-oh expression. Me.
I think if I'm gonna keep
Nephew.
any of them, I'm gonna keep
Nephew
this
holds
one.
up his hand, and the wiffle ball is perched securely in his pointer finger. Me.
Ah,
I like
another
it.
gas mask. I
What
like
did
the
you
one
do? Nephew.
the other one I have
I put
better
my
though. This
finger
one
in
looks
it and it got
cheaper.
stuck. Me, still chuckling.
My
Okay,
scream.
let's see what we can do. I
Scream
should
mask.
explain here that my nephew can be very sensitive. I mean,
Keeping
if you
that
use
one.
the wrong tone of voice or look at him like you're mad, he'll break down
And
and
then-
start crying. It gets much worse. if
Scary
he's
devil
scared
mask.
or
I don't need
in
this
pain.
one.
At first, I started just pulling the wiffle ball off the
Okay,
speaker.
I'm gonna go through the rest of these.
Next, I take him into my bedroom and slather hand soap all over the stuck finger.
Another
and
Irish
around the ball.
hat.
Try to slip it off.
Eh.
No. Nephew starts to get scared.
Ugh, Master
His
Chief
heart
helmet.
is having a
Keeping.
panic attack. Now I'm gonna have to live with this ball on my hand. I
Oh,
lay
this was
down,
for my
take him by
Russian
the
guard
shoulders,
outfit.
and say his name repeatedly until he focuses on me. Nephew.
Police
believe me, I
hat.
would never let that happen, buddy. Okay?
Man.
Let's rinse off this soap. And
This
we'll go ask
awesome
Grandma and
ass
Grandpa
fucking
if
hat,
they
look
have
at
a better
this.
idea. Okay?
Look at
These
this!
sniffles
I
and
love
nuts.
this hat. This
We
is
go
great.
outside to where Nice
I still
Dad
need
and
to do an
grandmother
outfit
are
in
talking
this.
over Nice Dad's train set. Entitled
My,
Grandmother hears Nephew crying
witchy
and rushes
hat.
over. Entitled Grandmother.
As much as I love this hat, I think I'm gonna get rid of it just because, like, I'm not gonna reuse it, and...
Entitled Grandmother sighs. Like this is a
Yeah,
major
it takes up a lot of room.
She calls
I
Nice
love
Dad's
it, though.
name,
I love
and
this
we all
hat.
go to him so he can see. Nephew is still scared and crying, so Entitled Grandmother decides
this
it's
is
the
a
best
hat
time to say,
that I've had forever, and
"Don't worry,
it's
Nephew.
definitely old.
We can get it off.
Goodbye.
We just have to cut off your finger."
Giant
Nephew
witch
whimpers,
hat.
and his cries start all over again.
I'm gonna keep
I
this
give
one
Entitled
because I'm gonna use it for
Grandmother the look she
Halloween.
deserves.
Like, look at
Nice
this.
Dad kneels down
It's
to Nephew's
fun.
level. "Hey, Nephew, look at me. Shh, it's all right. Just
Mario
take a breath
hat.
and look at me."
I think I
Nephew
already
is
did
finally
something with
able
this,
to
so I'm gonna
take
get rid of
a
it.
ragged breath. Nice Dad smiles and points to Nephew's hand. That is pretty
Nurse
funny,
hat.
isn't it? I catch on and kneel down next to Nephew too.
Another
"Hey,
beret.
Nephew, did I tell you that this exact thing happened to me when I was about your age?
I'm gonna put
Guess
this
who
in my
saved
normal
me?
closet.
Nephew, Iron Man? He loves
Sailor
Iron
beret.
Man and Spider-Man." I shook my head, scoffing.
Keeping that.
"No, Iron Man
Bob's
doesn't hold a candle
Burgers.
to this hero. Want me to tell
Ash.
you who it was?" Nephew nods. I point to Nice Dad.
Mickey
"It
hat.
was your grandpa. Let's help him
I'm gonna
save
toss
you
this
too,
one though
okay?"
because I didn't get it at
Nephew
Disney,
weakly
and
says,
eh.
"Okay." Nice Dad leaves to the garage. to
Little
find something
tiny
to
witch
fill the plastic
hat.
with. So we're left alone with Entitled
I
Grandmother,
love this witch
who has
hat.
her phone out. Great.
I might keep this one
Entitled
just
Grandmother.
because
"Nephew, hold up your hand. I want a picture."
it doesn't
Nephew,
take up as
hiding
much
his
room.
hand behind his back, cries,
Another hat.
"No!"
My diva
Entitled Grandmother,
Head
come on.
thingy.
He's scared. Now isn't the time for a picture.
Cowboy.
Entitled Grandmother, I don't understand
And
why
then
you won't just let me
Mickey,
take a picture. I never had a problem
train
taking
conductor
pictures of my son.
hat, which I'm gonna keep because I got this at Disney.
Nice Dad returned, saving me
Okay.
from Entitled Grandmother.
Well, I definitely got rid of a lot of
Okay,
hats.
come here, Nephew.
Let's
I
see if
need
they
you to
all
stay super
these
still,
all fit
okay?
back in here.
Entitled
Or
Grandmother.
something.
Yeah, stay still, or Nice Dad will cut your finger off.
What?
Nephew whimpers, obviously scared, not understanding that she was joking. I rub his back and try to comfort him. "Don't worry, sweetheart. Entitled Grandmother is just joking because she doesn't understand that now isn't the time for them." I look at Entitled Grandmother pointedly as I speak. She gives me a nasty glare. Nephew nods and stays still as a statue while Nice Dad cuts the plastic. So there's only a ring of plastic around Nephew's finger. I notice Entitled Grandmother snapping pictures with her phone as Nice Dad worked. Nice Dad makes the final cut and pulls the rest of the plastic off Nephew's finger. Nephew's mouth drops, and he literally jumps with joy and gives me a huge hug. Me, laughing. "Make sure to thank your grandpa, Nephew." Nephew runs to Nice Dad and hugs him and thanks him. He's ecstatically happy that he won't have to live with a wiffle ball stuck to his finger. Me, "Alright, Nephew. Crisis averted. Back to math." As we both are walking back inside, Entitled Grandmother stops Nephew and shows him her phone. "Look, Nephew, I got pictures for my book." Nephew grumbles unhappily. "No, Grandma." He marches off to open the front door. "Why are you upset now?" "Because you took pictures." Happy ending ruined. Me, going to help him open the door. "I know, hon. She has a million embarrassing pictures of me and your dad. It's basically a grandparent's job description." We both go inside, and I tell him to forget about her, and to help, I gave him a popsicle. Happy ending restored. Later, I tried to talk to Entitled Grandmother about taking pictures when Nephew is scared, crying, etc. Entitled Grandmother, "He just needs to get over it and suck it up. I've never had trouble taking pictures of my son. He just needs to let me do what I want." She was never a fan of autonomy. Next we've got Entitled Lady wants me to fix gas pump. I took my escape to the local Ford shop outside the dealership to get my oil changed. I go in, and I sort of vaguely know the guy behind the counter. I tell him what I need. He says it'll be about 45 minutes total. Cool. I'll wait in their little waiting area. I barely got myself set down when an older lady rushes in and, for reasons completely unknown to me, starts complaining about gas pump 3. But she's the type that is flighty and going to keep talking right on over you.
I think the rest of these will
she
fit on
starts
the
talking.
shelf.
"Oh, I'm sorry. I managed to say before she goes on and on
Alright,
about
let me
the
put these
little hook thing
away.
on the end of the deal. You know, and she can't get it to go. But that little hook thingy, etc., etc. I know nothing about gas pump maintenance, but her rapid-fire, meandering descriptions weren't doing anyone any favors. An overly excitable parakeet came to mind. Sensing the briefest of lulls in her ramblings, I said, "I'm sorry, I don't work here." Naturally, she starts chirping again as I'm saying the word work. She's looking off in every direction, at every person waiting for their cars, at the guy behind the counter, just chattering away, saying a lot without ever really saying anything, you know? Mostly this is directed at me, but she's pivoting her head and just talking to the whole room. There was nothing wrong with her, just one of those elder Karens who emote a level 10 threat over a level 2 issue. She ends it all by looking directly at me and saying, "So, pump 3, thank you." And she walks back out to her car at the gas pump. Guy at the counter needs some more info from me, because since the last time I was there, I got a new car, but also moved. After our exchange, I kind of patted the counter forcefully and said, as if I were his boss, "And if one of you could get on pump 3, that'd be great." We had a chuckle and I sat back down. Lady comes parakeeting up towards the door again, and I took a deep breath, ready to tell her that I don't work there. She doesn't come in, but looks directly at me sitting in a chair, then parakeets back to her car and stands there. A mechanic came in from the shop. Guy behind the counter tells him the story as best he could with what little information the lady gave. He says he'll take a look ASAP. They were busy. It was 2 days before Thanksgiving. Assuming people were getting their cars checked before travel. Also, it had just snowed, so maybe winterization. But I also don't think he knew there was a lady actually out there. I could see her pacing around like a maniac, craning her neck and looking at the storefront. Counter guys run ragged booking new people in and going over the bills with others they have finished.
Okay.
Cue me getting an important phone call
Cool.
about my disabled
Puppies
mother's
walk out
SSI
again. Hi,
benefits.
puppies.
It was just a number, so I answered it
Meow.
inside. But once I realized its importance, I took it outside. As I'm telling the SSI rep to hold on a sec, Lady comes back in and looks at me with daggers in her eyes. She's simply
Okay,
yes.
let me think.
I make it a point to tell the SSI rep that I was at the shop getting my car worked on, hoping that would kill 2 birds with one stone.
Let me put
But
these
that's not what I
hats
needed
that
to
I'm getting
say,
rid of
and
away.
let
Ah,
her
let's
know
do
that I
that.
didn't work
Yes.
there. As I'm walking out the door,
Also,
I
what
hear her
time
just
is it?
exclaim,
3:10.
"And now he's on the
Let me
phone."
check my phone.
Unbelievable. She storms out after me. I think because she thinks I'm heading to her car in pump 3. Obviously,
Okay.
I'm not. I continue off the property, across a small access
Okay,
road,
well-
and into the empty lot next door. I'll take the call.
No
with
text from my
delicate
dad
personal
yet,
information
so we still
while
got
also
time.
having his phone, I figured. All in all, I'm, I don't know, 100 feet away. Lady starts storming my direction. We're about halfway there and throws up her arms in disgust, like she's waiting for me to notice her. Finally, she turns on her heels and stomps back to my car, paces around it, stares at me, looks at the store. One of the mechanics goes out there. I obviously couldn't hear them, and I was preoccupied with my phone call anyway. I did see him do something at the pump, which took a millisecond, and the rest of the time she was clearly angrily animated, talking at him while gesturing and occasionally looking at me. She fills up her car and leaves by the access road I crossed. I get daggers from her as she drives past me. I get done with my call and go back in.
Leave the hat
The
out.
mechanic and the counter guy are both talking, so I asked where the deal was. She didn't pull up the little lever that would activate the gas pump. She was just trying to pump gas to no avail. Face palm. But the mechanic goes, "She really hates you." He goes on to say how she read him the riot act over me. I was lazy, incompetent, and more preoccupied with my phone and going on break than I was with helping her. She ended it with demanding I be fired or she'd take her business elsewhere. Counter guy says, "So, sorry, but we're gonna have to let you go." Dang, we laughed hard about that. So, Karen, what did you think of today's stories? They were horrible.
Oh, we reached the end of it?
How dared you? These were some of the best we've ever read. Oh, shut up, Mr. Reddit. It's
Guys, we made it to the
ridiculous what
end.
people like myself have to go through. Dealing with stupid people like yourself and your subscribers. Look, Karen, you can say whatever you want about me, but don't you talk about my free army. Free army? Most of your viewers aren't even subscribed to your channel. 70% if I'm correct. Well, I can't argue with that. That's true. Most of my viewers don't actually subscribe for some reason. It's because you're stupid, Mr. Reddit. No, I'm not. Alright, guys. Let's prove Karen wrong by making sure you're subscribed to the channel and turn on notifications.
Okay.
Not going to listen to you. And if you'd like me or Karen, to record a special message for you, come visit me on Fiverr. Link pinned in the comments below. Never. And
There.
join as a channel member today, and Karen will
Okay,
give you
there's
a
still a
special
lot of
shout
stuff
out
we're
in the
getting
next
rid of.
video. Like heck I will.
I'm gonna smoke. Take a slight break here. Yeah. Woo!
Hey there, Mr. Reddit here.
Holy good, I
Welcome
almost
back
dropped
to
it, though.
another episode of r/entitled parent stories. Today
We're
we
good,
have a
we're good,
very
we're good.
special episode for you. A compilation of some of the greatest entitled parent stories we read over the past year. So sit back,
here, let me
relax,
link.
and enjoy a few hours of the most entitled parents you've ever heard of. And by the way, Karen assured me that if this video gets 1,000 likes, she won't try to speak to anyone's manager for an entire week. So please smash that like button. And if you're new, subscribe
Grab
and
the
turn on
link.
notifications for new stories from
Let me
Reddit
post it in
every single day.
chat.
And become an official member of the Re-Army today, and I'll give you a shout out in an upcoming
Good,
video.
I think. I think it helped.
R/entitled
It kept
parents.
me going for the
time
pretty much the
entitled
whole
aunt tried to steal my
up
Super
until
Nintendo.
now.
I have an entitled aunt who is so evil and toxic.
And
It's
it's
unbelievable.
3:14, so it's been a while. I think it held me over pretty
I'm in
good.
my 40s, male, so I've
It wasn't
got over
super
3
high or
decades of
anything,
crazy,
but-
selfish antics to share, like ruining weddings, ruining holidays, telling kids they're adopted, breaking up relationships, getting people sacked, demanding money. You can't earn more money than her kids, selling stuff that ain't hers.
Yes, I'm
and of
Louise if
course,
she was
lying
not
with almost
Italian.
every breath. The list goes on. I'll start with one of my earliest memories of her entitled behavior. First, some light backstory.
They're Italian,
My
right?
entitled aunt is the eldest. Let's
They're
call
like
her Ruth,
really
of
Italian.
5.
I'm pretty sure.
We've also got my second aunt, who is slightly entitled but manageable. My dad and 2 brothers. Except my youngest uncle, Kev, the rest worshipped my entitled aunt. They will believe anything that comes out of Ruth's mouth. Or they did, until one by one, they were on the receiving end of her BS. Entitled aunt has 5 kids. She does not discipline her kids. All entitled brats. The sort of kids who constantly fight and shout, cause problems
Okay.
wherever they go. Plus the lying and stealing, roughly similar ages to me. It's early 90s. It's my 10th birthday. I
Ah.
grew up kind of poor, and I knew my youngest uncle got me a Super Nintendo.
Okay.
This
let me
was a
think.
huge deal for me. My first games console. I was beyond excited. Party at my place on Saturday morning. I opened the door for my entitled aunt and her broods around 10 a.m.
I'm
Her
trying to
kids
put
came
off the
crashing in,
shoes and
pushing me
clothes
out
till the
way as I
last
chatted to my aunt.
last
My
bit
lovely
here.
cousins went into the living room and started unwrapping
Because
my
there's a lot
birthday
to go
presents.
through.
I protested to entitled aunt, but she
Maybe we
just
should
said
call
her
it for
kids were
today.
helping me, and how kind her kids are to help me unwrap. I remember her telling me to get a broom. I remember watching my cousins ripping the box of my Super Nintendo and fighting over how to set
I'm
it up.
tired.
These animals were fighting, pulling each other's hair, biting one another. I was that skinny, quiet, nerdy kid with glasses, so I just kept my distance. My mother shows her face and shouts, asking why the presents have been opened before the other guests have arrived, especially my youngest uncle, who was bringing a camcorder. Entitled aunt told my mom I just went crazy with excitement and ripped everything. Also,
Oh, I know.
hit
Is there
one of the
anything
others,
anyone
and they
wants
were
to
wailing in the
claim
corner.
right now?
Obviously,
I'm gonna
my
write
mom
down.
knows how I behave, but
I'm gonna write
entitled
down a
aunt was
list
massive
of
into it
stuff that
and
people
told my
want.
mom I go crazy and show off in front of my cousins. I tried to tell my mom the truth, but entitled aunt cut in with,
How does that
"Let's tell
sound?
your dad
If
about
anyone
your
wants
life."
anything I've gone
Even at
through
that age, I knew my
today
dad
or the other
would be
day
entitled
that I
aunt.
haven't
So I
marked
was put
down,
on timeout by my mom
Uh,
because entitled
let
aunt
me know.
suggested it. I sat in the corner
Dick, I
silently crying
wanted-
whilst watching my cousins fight over my presents. I remember
Shoot,
entitled
which one
aunt
did
telling
you
my
want?
dad what a rude host I was, how I was hitting others and not listening. To my horror, my dad tells me to face the wall and that he didn't raise me like
I
that.
forget now.
Uncle Kev turns up about 20 minutes later and goes ballistic as to why I'm on timeout on my own birthday. I loved my youngest uncle. There's a reason why he was my favorite. He was cool. He was about 20. He had tattoos.
Okay,
He
Nightwalker,
gave
you
no
want the
looks,
Mario
and
hat?
best of all, entitled aunt knew not to cross him.
Okay.
I remember Kev handing out backhands to my spoiled cousins to
Okay.
get them to stop fighting and to shut up. I remember his hug and him sitting down and playing Mario with me. Best 10 minutes of my birthday. That 10 minutes made up for the rest of the crappy day. Uncle Kev had to leave soon, and things went to crap.
Oh yes,
again.
the
I
pillow.
had the control pad ripped away from my hands not long after, so I pretty much just sat and watched. The adults were in the other room most of the day, and entitled aunt would come to watch us like a hawk every now and then. Obviously, she would always ask me to do something like, go get cousin 2 a drink, or cousin 3 can't find your bike, go get it for him. Also stuff like, what moisturizer does your mom use? What does she put in her hair? How much was
Yeah, I
that
have the
dress, etc.?
Polaroids
This
all
bit may not
down
happen on
for
this day,
you.
but my entitled aunt would always ask me questions about my mom's products and other similar stuff that I had no idea about or understood.
Okay.
About an hour later, entitled aunt announces it's time to leave.
Do not text me your address, you don't have my number. Like I've said before, and like it says on Discord and Twitter, if you want to get any of this stuff, I will be doing a separate stream at the very end of all this once the room's all put back together, and I will be figuring out the logistics of that stuff, like getting your addresses and everything. Right now we're just claiming stuff for later, because it's first come first served, so we're calling dibs now.
Took the Super Nintendo from my aunt, who had it tucked under her arm by this point. I should add, my cousins break things almost instantly.
Alright,
They
alright.
already broken their Sega. Entitled aunt was saying how I said my cousins could borrow,
Okay.
how she didn't see me play the
Alright,
thing,
cool.
and I obviously didn't like
Well,
it.
let me know if there's
Then
anything
Uncle
else
Kev got it for
that you
all
can
of
think
his
of.
nephews to
If
share.
I'm
Whoa,
off by the time you
I
think
see
of
my
it,
dad coming,
tweet
and I
it to
just
me.
grabbed the box from my mom, ran to my room,
Maggie?
and hid it. I can't remember the rest
I know
of the day.
there's
I remember my dad later
a
telling me
few.
off for getting my cousins into trouble and how rude I was to my
I
aunt.
need to write
That's
down
one
from
of my
Twitter.
earliest memories of my aunt's
So far,
antics.
the only
Shit
things I
happened with
have
this event won't even
set
make it
aside
into
are
our top
stuff
30
for
worst
Katie.
antics. Fast forward 30 years, and everyone's kind of sick
and
of
then
entitled aunt's antics, including my dad. Everyone except her kids.
With these
We're
two, the
also
Mario hat, the
making
body
more
pillow,
I'll
then I
be
have
sure
the
to write more about
Polaroids,
Crazy Ruth.
and
My
the,
blood boils just thinking about the things she's
where
said
did
and
I
done
put
over the
it?
years.
Wherever
Quick
the
little
heck it
story.
went.
After Uncle Kev turned up and
The
gained
Polaroid,
control,
oh, and the
he
hair.
did
That's,
indeed
those
pull
are the
out
other
his
things that
camcorder.
I've got.
The footage starts with me playing Mario for the first
Those
time.
are the things
and then
I've
it
got.
pans around to show my cousins all sat down.
Those
with
have been
tears in
claimed.
their eyes, and Kev narrating, "These are the worst kids."
Do you
I've
wanted
ever
a shirt?
witnessed."
Okay,
Then
okay.
shows my entitled aunt's
I don't know if we've
face.
gone through shirts
I
yet.
last saw
Have
the
we?
clip around 2002. And
No, we
Uncle
did a
Kev's
few
house.
shirts, I
He made
guess.
it into a DVD with other funny family clips. Our entire extended family would laugh at that clip. That DVD mysteriously
Yeah, I am
disappeared
also
after
downsizing, so I
entitled
feel
aunt's
that.
family visited one Christmas. Speaking of video games, what was the first video game you ever played? Please let
Yeah,
us know.
I'll have.
Legend of Zelda Ocarina
I'll
of Time.
just tell Dude to let me know.
He
He can text me
cut my pay? Okay.
what he
This takes
wants.
place in the before times, when people could go out to eat and gather in large numbers. I used to work as a chef for an owner who liked to micromanage things and was a bit narcissistic. I had been
You've
working
decided
there
to
about
finally
3
watch
years,
all of
getting
One
good
Piece.
reviews. Customers loved
You're
me.
more
One
brave
thing
than
that
I am.
Made
Can't
everything
do
from
it.
scratch. People used to think the place was open
What do you
box
think?
slash heat and serve food.
Should I go through the pile one more time? I feel like I should.
And
I should be more critical.
To 1.4 million. About
Go through the
maximum
pile
capacity
and
for
be
the
more
space.
critical.
The increase in sales and income went to the owner's head.
I just need to
He
get
was
rid of
always
things.
spending money on
It's
frivolous
too big.
things and
It's too
squandering
big of
cash.
a fucking
Sound
pile.
system, stage for the event space, etc. One example, I needed a new Alto
Yeah.
shed. A used one would have sufficed. Nope, he bought the top of the line one that could be used as a smoker too. $12,000 versus what I wanted could have been gotten used for $1,500. Granted, I enjoyed that piece of equipment, which after I left, they no longer use the smoker function. Years later, I still occasionally get email invoices from a vendor and see they bring in pre-cooked smoked meats now. I was hourly, but then the owner realized during the busy season, I and my sous chef put in 70 to 80-hour weeks. Doing this,
Oh, yes,
he realized
Alien.
I made more take-home pay from his business than
Thank
he did.
you.
At peak times, he'd maybe work 40 to 50 hours a week. So, to save money, he puts me and my sous on salary, effectively cutting my pay by about $10,000
Okay,
a year.
yes.
My sous netted a loss of $2,000 a year if we were to work at our current level of effort. During all of this, the owner is saying he is not
Oh, yeah,
expecting
didn't
us
you
to
guys-
work over 40 hours a week.
Was
ever.
it you? Was it
He
Peterman
has his
and
written
Dickhead
term
who
contracts.
were
So
fighting
the
over the
extra time
alien
off at home
and
with
the
family, it is okay.
clip?
I still like the job
And
my
did you
staff.
guys decide
During
whether or
school
not you
time,
wanted
this was
to
great.
split that
Also,
or
during this
keep
time,
it
I
as
won a local award for my
a
cooking,
set?
and the narcissistic
Did we
owner
decide
was not too pleased.
on that?
He was no longer recognized as a creative force in the kitchen.
I remember that was a
was his
thing.
name. So his meddling and micromanaging increased. It had gone from, "It's your kitchen, cop chef, do what you want," to, "It's my name and my kitchen, Do it this way.
Yeah, I'm gonna go through the
Morale
pile
and quality
again.
began to suffer.
I
Just
think
prior
that's
to the
a
holiday
good
season,
thing.
my Sue wants
do.
to go back to his home country for
Come
2.5
here,
months.
bitch.
November, December,
Oh, I have
and
hats. I have more
January.
hats.
Crazy time for us.
That needs
I
to
have
go.
good help, and I'm good with it. Owner approved the time off. Owner, thinking I am going to save him
Speaking
some
of
money that holiday
aliens,
season by working
this says
my usual
alien on
70
it.
to 80 hours a week. Nope. Cue the malicious compliance. I start writing the holiday schedule. Sue is
I
on
forgot to
vacation.
put these into
I
my
have my
hats.
40 during key
Look.
prep times
Oh, well.
and peak business times. The rest of my staff gets serious overtime. Basically, the Sue and I carried a lot of the weight in the kitchen and could outperform most of our small staff. So with Sue on vacay and I only pulling 40,
Okay.
full-time staff is now working 60-ish hours a week, and part-timers
We're gonna go through it again.
40. Things are running pretty smoothly.
More
until
critical.
the owner realizes I'm not
More
there
critical.
like I have always been during the holiday rush.
I need to make myself
He's
some
in the
rules.
kitchen more,
It needs to be
trying
good
micromanage
quality.
my staff, giving
It
them
needs
poor
to be-
advice, contradicting my directions and timing for the events, messing up the small parties my staff could handle.
It needs
while
to
I am
fit
off.
into the style
After
that
a
I
few weeks
normally
of this,
wear.
He realizes he's going to be paying the staff out more in overtime than he saved on moving me and my Sue to salary. He starts
It needs to
demanding
fit well.
I work more hours to stop hemorrhaging OT to the kitchen
Those are
staff.
the rules.
I show
Okay.
him my contract, where I am not expected to work over 40 hours a week.
This.
Now he says it's just a
Okay,
guideline.
fits into what I
hold him
normally
to
wear.
40 hours a week.
It
It's
fits.
Christmas, and now I can for once spend time
What was
with
the
my
other
family.
rule? Shit.
Now with my Sue
Good
returning,
quality.
I'm
Yes.
burned
Okay.
out from
We're
the
good.
constant
That one I can
micromanaging
keep.
and gaslighting by the owner. I
Keep.
hand the reins to my Sue and change careers after
Okay,
25
panties.
years in the industry and never look back.
They have a hole in
Speaking
them.
of
I should get
restaurants,
rid of
what's your
these.
favorite restaurant of all time? Please let us know. I could really go for some Outback right now. Am I the jerk for wanting to sue my cousin for a prank?
Okay, get rid of
I, 31, male, recently had
Okay,
my cousin,
this top
male, 21,
fits in
moved
with
in
what I
me
normally
after he
wear.
got
Good
kicked out of his
quality, and
college
it fits.
dorm
Okay.
And had no job to pay for rent. My parents told me I needed to step
Merch.
up and help
Keeping, because
because
merch.
I own a house, let alone with my 2 golden retrievers and
Okay.
2 birds that I had since last year. My cousin would make
Good
fun of
quality.
me whenever I
Fits
call
in
my
with what I
pets
normally
fake
wear.
and thinks I'm crazy. He has a bad sense of humor.
Shit, what was the
Thinks
last
he's
one?
Funny. He calls me funny nicknames like Robot, Terminator, or Optimus
Why do I keep
Prime,
forgetting?
and
I have
others
3
because I
rules
wear
on
a
it.
prosthetic leg that I've gotten after I had an infection 2 years ago.
Yes, do text
I've
me.
been patient with him.
What are
causing a mess,
my 3
and not even
rules?
doing his own laundry.
Help.
It's been 3 months,
I'm in-
and it's too much already. So recently, he started doing pranks and using personal things in his pranks, like
Help me.
clothes, my phone, stuff from the kitchen,
Help
etc.
me, chat.
I usually take off my prosthesis before going to
Someone
bed.
write them
and
down.
since
I'm
I
gonna
work
write
all
them
day,
down.
I get to bed
Okay.
early, unlike him,
Rule
who stays up until 3
1.
or 4 a.m. He decided to do a prank and
Good
hide my prosthesis somewhere.
Quality.
I saw that it was gone in the morning. He did it twice before
Rule
and hid it in his room
2.
in the garage. I had had enough of his BS. I asked him where he
Fits
took it,
in
and he
with
joked and said that it was
what
inside the
I
fridge. I
wear.
was livid. I started screaming at him to stop
Rule
it and to tell me where my
3.
prosthesis
Oh yeah, it
was before I
fits.
kick him out.
It
He
fits.
realized I was
well.
being serious.
Okay,
and
okay,
told me that
okay,
it was
okay,
in
okay.
panic. I let him
Whew.
go. And
Now
when
we
he got
have
to me,
them,
he looked
and we
worried
can
and started
remember.
apologizing
So,
when I saw the socket had cracks.
Good
He
quality,
had just been
fits in with
irritated
what I wear,
by
and it
more
fits.
damage.
So we're good.
He told me he hid it under the old TV and
Keep
didn't
that
think
one.
it was this fragile. It was there overnight, so the damage
Ah.
has already been done. I
Okay.
lost my crap.
Kitty.
I yelled at him while all he did was apologize.
This one's
saying
harder
it was just a
because
bro, which
it's
made
good
it worse.
quality
I
and it
told him to
fits.
leave and
But
called
I don't
my
know if
aunt
it
to
fits
tell
in
her
with what I
about her
normally
son
wear.
did, and that she needed
I
to
actually
pay for
don't
the
feel like it
damages.
does.
Her reaction was shocking.
Like,
She
I
said
really
it was
like
my
it, don't
fault
get me
Because I
wrong.
knew how her son is.
But I
decided
kind of
to
feel
take
like I
it
should give this to
anyway,
Katie.
And that she won't take responsibility for his actions. I told her
I
I'd
feel like
seriously
it would
sue
fit her
because
clothes
I'm
better.
broke and have no money to pay for a prosthesis.
I'm giving it to
Crutches are
Katie.
unbearable.
This is
I
Katie
was
Kyle.
so angry. I kept lashing out at everyone, especially my mom and dad, who argued with me
the
and
chair.
said that I can't sue family. And this is my cousin, and he meant no harm.
Okay.
I told them that he created
Okay.
this situation, and he needed
This
to fix
panty,
it. They
panty
called me
set.
awful for refusing to wait till Christmas is over and family
Good
gathering
quality,
is over.
fits in with what I
Then they'll
normally
figure
wear, and I
something
think
out.
it fits
I
me.
told them to stay out of it.
I
But
think
until
it does.
now,
I'm pretty
they're
sure.
telling me
So
not
we'll
to
keep
cause
that
an
one.
issue. We're in the holidays, and suing
Okay.
my cousin will make them look bad to everyone.
Now
I'm
this,
stuck here with crutches, feeling
it
awful after
fits
they
in with
all
what I
tried to
normally
shut
wear,
me
and
up
it fits
told
me,
to
but
wait
it's
until
definitely not
holidays
good
are over.
quality.
Then they'll
However, I
raise
might
money
make
for me,
an
and my
exception
cousin gets
for
away with
this
it.
just because it's like a
My
classic.
dad offered to fix it himself.
It's a
but
classic.
This is ridiculous. He thinks
So
that this
I'm
is some
gonna
object like a
exception
CD
to the
player or a
rule
TV
for that
he
one.
can fix. I called him ridiculous to his face,
Okay.
and I didn't let him touch it. He clearly thinks it's no big deal.
This.
I stopped taking his calls after that because he doesn't realize how big of an issue this is.
This.
Well, what do you think? Should OP sue his cousin?
Okay.
Please let us know. Definitely. And kick him out too while
It's
you're
good
at it.
quality,
The guy sounds
and it
like a real
fits.
jerk. Park and employee parking
I don't know if it
versus
fits in with what
I'm
I
not
normally
an
wear.
employee. I've been reading these posts and it reminded me of this.
I don't
Hope
know
you
if
enjoy.
It's like I'm not a huge fan of red. Like it looks good on me and stuff, so I'll wear it.
I was
But
working as a construction/design engineer for hospitals, plumbing and air conditioning. I work for a company that's hired by the hospital, not for the hospital itself. My company had been hired to do an ER renovation on an old hospital, and the plans for the existing buildings were really old and damaged, or just didn't exist anymore. As low man on the totem pole, I got the fun job of going out to the hospital
what do you think,
to
chat?
document/investigate the existing building. Lots of going up on ladders and looking above the ceilings to
What do you
track
think
down
about
pipes
this
and
one?
ducts and such. Because this was an ER, and therefore 20 hours a day, we had to time our investigation for non-busy times, namely 3
How can you
a.m.
buy
to
it?
7 a.m. and
You just
2
want to
p.m.
call
I was
dibs
also
on
working my
anything I'm
normal
getting
office
rid
hours
of.
because my
Just
job
say you
offered
want that
overtime
one, and then
or
at the
overtime
end of
hours,
this
and
whole
I needed the
week,
overtime pay. College
when
loans.
everything is
So for
put
all
back
these
together, we're
interactions,
gonna
I
do a
was
stream
exhausted.
just
It just
to
didn't
go through
So,
everything I'm
onto the
getting rid
story.
of
I
and
walked
let
to
you
the
guys
hospital
call
parking
dibs.
garage on the
And
top
I
floor
have
to
it
be out
set
of the way of
to
patients and
price
visitors.
is
I
whatever
finished
you
early
want to
because
pay,
the emergency
as
had
long
come
as you
to
can
the
cover
ER,
shipping.
and I had to get out of the way. I had some extra time, so decided to close my eyes for a bit before driving
So
to
I
the
think I'm
office.
gonna get rid of
When I
this.
was woken
I'm
up
gonna get rid of
by a
it.
tapping on my window.
I'm gonna get rid of
A
it.
man was peering in the window. We will call him parking.
I don't need it.
I waved at
I
him.
think if I
He
question
just
it, I
made
should
sure
just
was
get rid of
alright.
it.
I was sleeping in a hospital parking lot.
I think
Parking
that's
dude
the thing.
gestured for me to roll down my window.
Okay.
So I cracked it to hear him better.
This.
He gruffly declared that employees are to park in the back
This.
lot or on the street if that's full. Next time,
It's good
I'll
quality.
Let you towed.
It
He then
fits.
turned and marched
And
back
it
to his
fits in
golf
with what I
cart,
normally wear.
which he blocked me in with. As I called out, I don't work here. He left. I left and went to work thinking it was a one-time deal. Little
It's
did
good
I know.
quality and it
Over the
fits,
next
but
few
again
visits,
with
I
the
came back to
red.
my car to find
I just,
increasingly angry parking tickets about parking and
Wow.
employee parking from now on.
I
They
feel
were
like I
written
only
on
keep it
4A
around for
and very
like
obviously homemade with a blurry
Christmas.
hospital logo and word art parking enforcement across the top. The notes threatened booting, towing, and demands for my supervisor's name so I could be reported.
I'm gonna just
I wish I still had them to share with you. My coworkers and I had quite a laugh over them. I even left a note on my dash saying I wasn't an employee.
Just no.
And the next, ticket
No to
and
those.
a rant about lying.
Okay.
You will be
This
written up for lying once I
It's
get
good
your
quality.
supervisor's
It
name.
fits. I love
Then,
yes.
one morning,
that one.
I came out to find parking dude waiting for me. He had blocked my car in with his golf cart
Okay.
and was grinning at me like a cat.
Blue
who got the
version
cream.
of
I
the
walked up to him,
pink
and
set.
parking
I'm gonna
dude
keep
said,
this one because this one's really good for
You are in so much trouble.
cosplays.
I demand to speak to your manager.
Yes, he really said it.
Give me
Panties.
their name and number. And
Let's
the
see,
department
they
you work
fit.
for. I won't let
They're
you
good
leave
quality,
until you give
and
me your
these
manager's
ones fit
name.
with what I would normally.
He did have
Yes,
my car
okay.
blocked in. I tried to explain that I wasn't an employee. I pointed out my outfit. Work boots,
This
jeans,
bitch
safety glasses, and
obviously
a tool belt
keeping
with
this 'cause
flashlights,
this is
tape measures,
sentimental.
lasers, and a clipboard with my drawn plans, and told him that this is where the hospital
This
at,
one,
and told
it
us to park.
fits, good
But he
quality, it
insisted
fits
that
with
my
what I
disguise
normally
wasn't
wear.
going to trick him,
Keep
and demanded to speak to my manager. I was so exhausted.
This one
and
fits.
wasn't really up to arguing, so I
This one
just pulled
fits.
out my
It's
business
surprisingly
card and my
good
boss's
quality,
card and handed
and
them over.
it
I had
fits with
told
what I
my
normally
boss
wear,
about
so
this,
keep that
and
one.
he just told me to ignore it, as he had confirmed with the
Ah.
hospital that's where I was
Your
supposed to work.
jacket,
This dude pulled out his
my
phone
awesome
and called my boss
666
and reported
jacket
me.
that I
My
love.
boss, an older
The
gentleman,
heavier,
who was
dudier
also
one.
president of the company,
It has. I think
later
this is
told me
real
he
leather
told
or
parking dude
maybe
that
vegan
he had to
leather.
let me leave, or he was calling the police. When the dude hung up, he
Oh,
told me,
so
I'm letting
epic.
you leave this time. But next time
Such
you
an
park
epic
here,
jacket.
I'll
I
leave
love
your
it.
car and find your real
I think maybe I should like
number
hang
and
them up
report you.
somewhere.
Some trick with your friend won't work.
he got in his golf cart and zoomed away.
Okay,
Luckily,
these
my
ones,
boss found this
good
whole thing
quality,
hilarious.
fits with what
It
I
was
normally
about a week
wear,
before I went back. Bad
and
weather
it fits
equals
me,
busy
so
ER
yes.
and no work for me. And I was almost done with my
Are
task.
these
I would be
tights?
back
What's
after
happening
construction
here?
started, but it's all on
They're all
hold now
ripped?
because of lockdown. I had finished for the day once again and headed out to my car to
Are
find
they,
he had sort
the
of
tights
done what he had
down on
threatened.
them.
There
You
was
should
a
just
big
go in my
chain
normal
looped through the
closet.
handle of my driver's side rear door and a cinder block, all
I
tied
think
together
I'm
with a large paddle.
Put the
I
fish
knew this
nets in
guy
my
was a
normal
bit
closet
nutty,
too.
but I also had figured out he didn't have any real authority. So to find this half clever, half poorly thought out ball and chain attached to my car was a bit of a
Okay.
surprise. Now I got into engineering because I like solving problems. I actually didn't really like math,
They
even if I'm not
fit,
that bad at it. And this
but
was a
and like they're
particularly
pretty good
complex problem.
quality, but I
I
don't
simply
know.
rolled my back window down and lifted the cinder block and excess chain into my car and then drove
Like
away.
I think I already did a
passed
video on
Pancake
this,
Dude
didn't
on my
I?
way out. To say he was shocked was an
I could
understatement.
probably get
And I
rid
gave him
of
a
these.
jaunty wave as I drove by. It was a cold drive back to my office with the
Yeah,
window
I
open,
don't think I need
but it
these.
was worth the look on his face. When I got to the office, I had to go in and sign out the bulk
Ah,
notice,
these.
and
These
was
are from
followed out by a
Lululemon,
parade of my coworkers to see it for
and
themselves. I had to go
They're
back in one
kind
more
of
time.
old. They're
I was
really
eager
good
to
quality.
see what
Like,
Parky Dude might
I mean, they're
do
from
after his
Lululemon,
last
so they're
plan
really good
failed.
quality. They were
I came out to
expensive,
find he had tried the chain and cinder block
and they
yet
make my
again.
butt look really
This
good.
time, he had wrapped
But I
the
don't know
chain
if it
around
goes
the
with what I
bottom
wear.
a few times, and had the
Like,
cinder
unless I'm
block
gonna
tied
film like a
pretty close
yoga
to the
video
window,
or
and the
something,
chain
I think I
through
should
the
give these to
handle again.
Katie.
It was definitely chained in a way that would take a lot
Yeah,
more
Katie Pyle.
ingenuity to get out of, or a pair of bolt cutters I hadn't returned to the office.
Okay.
You know, just in case. I cut through
This.
the chain, unchained the car, and then loaded the whole lot into my
I
trunk.
wanted to use it for a
Parky Dude must have been
cosplay,
harassing some other person because
but
he only pulled up
I
as
mean,
I was backing out of the slide. He blocked my
I don't know.
car
Like, it's
again
okay.
with his cart and jumped
Quality.
out. He
It's
came
not
to my
great.
window, and I did roll it down just to see what he had to say.
It's
Hey,
I think a little
where
bit
are
big
all
on
the
me,
chains? How did you
so
get those loose?
I should probably
This is
find something
stealing.
better.
Is it stealing to take stuff you attached to my car?
I will have
This
your job for this.
I'm gonna spoil it to you guys. I'm working on doing like a white raven,
Magic.
you know, and she has the white outfit.
During a pause
I'm
for
working
breath,
on that
I drove around his
as a
car and away.
cosplay, so that's
It
what
was
this
the
is
most
for.
dramatic exit of
So,
my life, and will
this
probably
one I'm
never be
keeping,
topped. It was
but
my last day there
yeah.
for now, and I've since gotten a new car.
This
so I'm
one,
not sure if I'll run
it
into
fits.
Parky
It's
Dude
good
again.
quality. I
I'd like
just
to
got
think he's
it.
still puzzled
Keeping.
over how I managed to unchain my car. My boss did lodge a complaint,
Okay.
but I don't think anything
This
came of it.
one,
Anyway, that's my I don't work here story. Hope it was worth
it
the
fits
read.
pretty
We
well.
all want to go home, Karen.
It's pretty good
This happened
quality.
about 2 hours ago. I was there,
It's definitely my
but not a direct
style.
participant. A friend took me grocery shopping. My vehicle isn't running at the moment. I struggled to shop because all the motorized carts are taken, and
I'm gonna
I
get rid
need
of
way
it.
more
I don't think I need
groceries
it.
than the motorized carts can carry. I have to lean on my standard cart for support as I
This
shop.
good
This
quality.
means that by the
Fits.
time I have done
It's
all
my
the
style.
bending, lifting, and
Keep.
walking, my back and hips are on fire.
These
I have
ones I
degenerative
love.
disc disease.
They're not the
I
best
shop,
quality, but I don't
and
give a
checkout
shit. These are
line
good
behind
first
a woman
steps
that
into the
separated
video.
her shopping slowly into 3 separate
This
transactions.
is also for the Raven
I'm patient,
video.
as just standing still gives my back a little bit of a rest. I let my friend, who's waiting in the car,
Is it this
know
one?
that I am on my way out.
Yeah.
She tells me that I need to hurry because the weather is getting bad and it's starting to rain heavily. It took about 20 minutes to get through the
Okay.
checkout and start out the door. and
Santa's
this is where
favorite
the breakdown
hoe.
happens.
I feel
We've
like
got
I
a
should
tiny
just get rid of
person,
these because I've
Karen.
worn them
We've got the
already
worker.
for
We've got the
videos
impatient
before, so
customers
I'll just get
and the
new
police.
Christmas panties.
I'm standing in another line that's about 8 people long, waiting to exit the
This
store.
one is
The store
very
is the
good
entrance
quality.
and
It was
exit separated
handmade
with
by
barricades consisting of poles and canvas
someone on
stretched
Etsy.
between them to help guide
And
people through the correct doors.
It
and keep
fits
people
very
warm.
well, and I
My
love
back
it.
hurts, so I'm a little annoyed at the delay getting out. All I want
Alright.
to do at this point is sit down.
This
I
one
can hear
fits
Coral
me
going
better
off at the front
actually,
of the
so
line, so I
this
step to
is
the
gonna be
side
the
to get a
onesie that I
look.
keep.
There, I see Karen, 50 to 55 years old.
These
blonde
panties, I
ponytail
love
sticking out of a
these.
baseball cap, and sitting just outside the exit doors.
These
where there
ones
is
are
an
the same as
overhang
the other
on awning
ones.
on a
They're
motorized cart that's parked sideways.
okay
She
quality.
has the entire double-door exit completely blocked off.
I could
No one behind her
do
can get
better.
out, creating a traffic jam of carts.
These ones are better
Ma'am,
quality
can you please
and
move so
they
we can
fit,
get
so
out?
I'll keep those
Karen.
ones.
I'm not moving until my ride gets here. It's raining.
These are good quality
Customers,
and they
ma'am,
fit,
we're all trying
so
to get out before
those.
the weather gets any worse. Worker, ma'am,
This
you're going to have to
one,
move.
same
Karen.
thing.
No, I'll get wet. My
These,
ride is coming.
my Nike
With
Pros,
all my
obviously
shopping,
I'll
get out
keep
of
these
your way.
ones.
Customers, lady, move.
Black
Karen
corset
turns in her
for the
seat
same.
and glares daggers at the people. There are at
Rainbow
least 6 more
Doo!
people now behind me waiting to exit. The woman behind me asks if I know
Thank
what
you.
the holdup is, and I explain what I think is going on. The woman rolls her eyes
Okay,
and says,
let's see.
"There's always one in every crowd." Worker,
This is
ma'am,
not good
if you don't
quality.
move, I'll have
I
to call the
shouldn't
police
do
to move you. Karen, I'm not going anywhere.
This is good
I
quality.
called my
It's a
husband and he was coming to
top.
get me. I'm not going out in the rain and getting sick. Just go out and paint.
These are not good
Customers,
quality.
We can't get our shopping carts around.
They came in a pack.
Karen
so.
gives everyone a one-finger salute.
These-
And continues to sit on her cart while
I
people
only
still
have
inside
these
the store
because
are
they're
complaining.
for
And the
Umaru.
people at the front of the line are
So
shouting
I'm
at the
keeping
woman to
them
move,
just
but she
because they're
ignores
for
them.
Umaru.
The worker finally decides that she's had enough and radios customer
These
service to
though,
call the police.
honestly, like
She disengages one of the barricade straps and starts
they're
ushering
kind of
people
old.
to exit through the entrance door.
I should probably just
I
find
make it
different
outside
shorts.
and head to my friend's car in the pouring rain. We get
This
everything
is
loaded
super
in
good
and
quality.
see that the police have shown up. An officer was talking to Karen.
This is
I
pretty
see her
decent
shake her
quality
head,
too.
no, and fold her
I'm gonna
arms
keep
over her
this
chest.
guy.
Then I see the officer grab the handle of her cart and move it out of the doorway and into the downpour. I have no idea what happened after that, as I was on my way home to get out of my wet clothes and put this on Reddit. Am I the jerk for lying to my son about his grandmother giving him money? I have 2 kids, a 9-year-old son and a 7-year-old daughter. My son is technically my stepson.
Oh yeah, I'm
When I married
made
my
tons
husband,
of excuses
he had a
to keep
1-year-old
shit,
baby
which is
and I
why I'm
adopted him.
having to do
My
this.
son's biological mother has never been in the picture. We are very open about this with him. We've told him that I used to be his
Oh, shoot,
stepmom
hold
before
up.
I adopted him and answer any questions that he has about it. My mother has always seemed to prefer my daughter over my son due to the fact that she is my biological child. Both of my kids received Christmas cards from my mom. Gabrielle, my daughter,
I
had
might need to
$20
get off
inside
if
her
Katie
card.
needs me.
My son didn't have any money in his. Logan, my son, asked me why there was no money in his card, and I didn't know how to explain it to him. So I took my own $20 and pretended to pick it up off of the floor. I told him that he must have dropped his money on the floor. Flash forward to a couple days later. My kids are talking to my mother on FaceTime. My son said thank you for the card and the $20, Grandma. And my mother basically told him that she gave $20 to Gabrielle because she can only afford to give biological grandkids money. Logan was very confused and kept insisting that there was money in his card.
This goes
So I
fucking
basically
shorts.
had to end up telling the truth.
These are-
I pretended like she gave him $20.
My books. These are
and
not
the money
good
was
quality, so I'm
actually
gonna
for
get rid of
me.
them.
Now my kid is upset at me
This is
because
good
I lied to
quality,
him.
and I love
And he is
them.
very
They
upset in
fit.
general because he knows that his grandma thinks less of him
Merch.
because he is not my biological kid. I also think he's
This
very
is good
confused
for
about
under
why she
stuff,
thinks
so
less
I'll
of him.
keep.
I probably shouldn't have lied to him, but I didn't know what else to do. I just can't tell my
Chicken
kid,
nugget, I
Grandma
keep.
didn't give you money because you are not my biological
Gonna
kid.
go there.
I have always raised them both
This
equally,
one, good
despite
quality,
him not being
it fit,
biological.
it go.
Him not getting any money makes it seem like he is not as important
Quality,
as his sister.
fit,
But
go.
that is not true in the slightest.
Quality, fit,
He is
go.
100% as important as
That
her.
goes for the
And a
tail.
lot of people have said to go no
Yes.
contact, which I will do. I have mailed back both of the cards along with the $20
This doesn't
she
go
gave
with
my
my
daughter.
stack.
I gave my daughter a new
Okay.
$20 bill to replace it.
Okay, so
that
I've
it's
got
for
rid of
me and not from my mother. Now
a
they both
few
have
more
$20
things.
that came from me and not from her. I've also sent her an email explaining how
A
she
few
can't
more.
just pick a favorite grandkid and that she will say neither until she can learn that. Well, what do
Okay.
you think? Is OP the jerk for what she did or not? Please let us know.
Sorry, hold on.
No, she's actually very sweet. But that grandmother, though, she's got to go. Am I the jerk for telling my girlfriend she can leave if she doesn't want my niece and nephew staying with us? Me, 33, male, and my girlfriend, 27, female.
Guys, I gotta
We've been
go.
together for 7 years and have a 7-year-old son. Recently, my brother,
There's a
35,
situation
passed
and-
away, leaving his son, 7, and his daughter
Okay,
is also 7.
I will.
Currently, my niece and nephew are living with me. since
I
we have
will,
nowhere else to go.
see you guys tomorrow.
They're good friends.
Okay?
But my girlfriend isn't happy that they're here.
Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Thank you for helping me go through shit. I'm gonna keep going through my closet tomorrow, so I will be back with you tomorrow, okay? Okay. Okay.
I told her if she doesn't want them here,
Yes, okay. Thanks, guys. I will see you soon. Yes. Okay, thank you guys. Love you. Sorry to leave you so quickly, but something just came up, so I gotta go deal with it. Okay, goodbye. Bye. Mwah.